The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Monday, August 15th, 2022, and this sports show on the internet and radio begins now.
Here we go, atta baby.
Here we go, atta baby, into a great week of sports talk. I mean, this week we are packed to the gills with fantastic things. Tomorrow, Omar Khan, the new general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, will join us in the first hour. Tomorrow, Jack Carr, Navy SEAL that wrote the Terminal List, will be joining us in the third hour. Wednesday, we'll be live from training camp. I do believe we're getting a MCDC sighting.
Whoa.
Also, many of the Colts will be there, and I think the owner, Jim Irsay, will be stopping by. Can't wait for that. Thursday, we have a packed day because Feel the Beat will return to this show. And on Friday, we'll be mailing it in a beautiful Feel Good Friday manner, in which I will then be hopping on a plane for Montreal, Canada, for SmackDown. So this week is glorious. This week is beautiful. Today, Ian Rappaport will join us in about 15 minutes to chit-chat about all the news and insider scoops coming out of the first real preseason week 1. Can't wait to hear about the quarterback battles, injuries that have happened around the NFL, and who's going to get paid and who's not going to get paid. Also, Darius Butler will join us in the second hour. AJ Hawk will be drunk on a golf course today. In lieu of this show, he'll be partaking in numerous adult festivities for Brady Quinn's Fourth and Long Foundation.
Nice. Good guy.
So we'll get AJ Hawk back tomorrow. But this should be a fantastic week, and we can't thank you enough for joining us. This hoodie was sent to me by the people at Unreal, which is the group that Thielen works with in Minnesota.
Right.
Rich Eisen, I did not tell them to put this on there.
Sorry, Rich.
Don't sue me. It's not a segment. It's not a segment. It's not a segment, Rich. They sent it to me. It's a great quote. It's real. Partners are humans. Some partners probably getting cut after their first week of preseason. But there's a lot to react to. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. The men who hold down the toxic table. I'll start with you, Connor. It's just preseason. Everybody needs to relax.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of overreaction sometimes, but, during the season, that's fine. During the preseason, let's just take a step back. What wasn't an overreaction, though, is Mac Jones being a top 100 player. I mean, we all saw it last year, and here we are, him going into his second year already a dog.
Okay, Justin Tucker also in the top 100.
Yeah.
The internet, Reddit, to be more specific, has got a list of 50 to 100 already, even though NFL Network, I don't believe, was ready to debut all of that. We will dive into that conversation if this show ever slows down to a point where we have nothing else to talk about. Because the top 100 definitely matters. Mac Jones being on there, incredible. Justin Tucker making his way on there, well-earned, well-deserved. He's at 94. The first time a kicker's been on in 7 years. Last time was Vinatieri.
Whoa.
And I don't want to act like I had a role in that, but I put Vinatieri as the number 1 player in the NFL. So I don't know, on my list. I was actually
swung the weight, swung the scale big time. Yeah, you kidding me?
I don't know how many points number 1 is, but I said, excuse me, if the NFL is obviously the greatest league on earth,
of course,
and it involves a game that has scoring, and the team that scores more beats the team that doesn't score as much. That's how we signify success and greatness is scoring. This dude went on every time he stepped on the field last year, he scored, except for one time. Probably my fault. To be honest, I'll take the blame for it. Every single time he stepped on the field, he scored. He has scored more than anybody in the history of the game. He has been a part of moments that'll be remembered and memorialized forever. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer as a kicker.
Yeah.
If that's not number 1 player of a game that revolves around score, I don't fucking know what is. So Vinatieri was 1. Now let me figure out the other 99. So he makes it on the list. He deserved it, by the way. Hell of a year. He almost had a perfect year at the age of like 40-something. I mean, that is alarmingly good. But now Justin Tucker's in there. He fucking earns it too. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple kickers in the next couple of years that make their way into there because Evan McPherson hit from 56 and 58 the other day. What is that? That means that he has a massive leg that going into year 2 after what he did in year 1, it seems like it's not a fluke. The pressure of being great has not got to him in the offseason. He looks like he's great. There's a lot of great kickers out there. There's a lot of bad ones too. I mean, got to see a lot of bad ones. There's kids that are just now getting introduced to what life is like in the NFL, a little heavier ball, a little heavier pressure too, with careers being on the line and everything else going on at a massive high speed. Some kickers and punters don't just transition. It's not time to talk about those guys. It's just one preseason game. I would like to talk about the stories that are coming out of these preseason games, though. For instance, Aaron Rodgers calling plays on the sideline. What a hero.
What a hero.
What a good guy.
That's right. Hey, he knows the offense, I mean, just as well as anyone. Why not let him have a shot at calling a couple plays?
Why not let him help Jordan Love a little bit?
Exactly.
Jordan threw an incredible ball. I mean, what an absolute stallion that guy. Now, he threw 3 picks as well, but that's going to happen in preseason. It's preseason.
Exactly.
It's preseason.
Calm down.
Aaron showing up with that hair, that mustache, that relaxed attitude, does that make you feel good or not feel good?
Makes me feel great.
Yeah.
Feel great. Like with the Packers too, like I was excited to watch Love because you did see a little bit like why physically he's got a lot of the skills and everything, but it is the inconsistency. I mean, he threw 3 picks. One of them wasn't his fault, but
Hey, listen.
3.
Bills threw 5 picks to the Indianapolis Colts.
Sure.
They're
That's true.
Super Bowl favorites.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Josh Allen didn't play.
No.
And Matt Ryan and the boys weren't able to put up as many points as I think we all thought we're going to be able to put up against the 2 or 3s. But Jonathan Taylor wasn't in the game, so that's just. But I like these stories that are coming out of camp almost. The one about Aaron being comfortable and being a leader, a little bit more vocal around the younger offense and the younger team. That's awesome news. Yeah. Mac Jones has the photo of 47-17 when the Bills just said, "Hey, Patriots, get the fuck out of here," with his head down in the locker room. That's a story. Matt Patricia and Joe Judge talking about, "Hey, Bill, tell us what."
Not the head coach.
Whatever Bill says.
All right, we show up. Bill tells us what to do. Are you competing against Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, for the play calling duties? No. We are literally just trying to fucking find air here. We are just doing whatever the hell Bill tells us. It's all these storylines that are really what make preseason. Because on field, we have no idea who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. We have no idea how much of an offense is being used by the team that is playing in the preseason game, even if their ones are in, how much they want to give away for anybody else on what they're potentially going to do, a la the Indianapolis Colts. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping. I assume the Patriots are doing the same exact thing. But the on-field play, not that much you can really take away from it. I don't think. You can't really overreact at this point. You got to wait till regular season. There's a lot of preseason heroes and then regular season duds. And on the flip side, there's a lot of teams that look like shit in preseason. Then for whatever reason, you put a couple star players back in the lineup. Everything changes during the season. So we have to remember that as we go forward. Is Kenny Pickett a first ballot Hall of Famer? Is Kenny Pickett a first ballot Hall? With saying everything I just said, is Kenny Pickett a fucking guy? What a moment. Mitchell Trubisky comes in, plays great football. I think all of Pittsburgh was excited for that. I heard Yinzer singing Mitchell Trubisky's praises for about 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters. Then all of a sudden it became standing ovation. University of Pittsburgh football team's here. All of Pittsburgh is here for Kenny Pickett. It reminded me of when Mac Jones went onto the goddamn field last year after Cam Newton got subbed out for that preseason game. All of Pittsburgh went bananas for Kenny Pickett. Thought this guy was going to maybe stink. Maybe the moment was going to be too big for him. They kept the offense pretty simple for him early, let him get a couple completions. Kenny Pickett looks like he's got the swagger. His hands do look interesting with both gloves. When he's walking back into the huddle, it's like, that's an interesting look. We're going to have to get used to that. But if he uses gloves and he does what he did against those third stringers alongside third stringers, which also has to be a part of the conversation, I think everybody will be pumped. 10 seconds left in the game, take the snap, go through a full read, hit a guy. That guy doesn't choose to get out of bounds. No. He actually turns inside. Seattle Seahawks corner, who literally was making the right play, he's going to break on the outside of wide receiver named 10, whatever his name seems like a good player. He breaks inside though. Seattle corner thought he was making the right play to keep him in bounds, tackle him. I'm going to make the team. Instead, miss game-winning touchdown. Could it have started any better for fucking Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh? And are you guys picketing for Pickett right now outside of Mike Tomlin's office? That was awesome to watch. NFL Network, the fuck?
What we doing?
Tough. We got Drew Lock competing with Geno Smith for a starting job. Drew Lock had meaningful minutes. Dog. Player. He's competing against fucking Kenny Pickett live, competing for a job. First quarterback taken. They're getting that. And they go to Cooper fucking Rush And
Josh Johnson.
And what are we doing?
Can't
How
have
is that even decided? I get it's the Cowboys, so you got to do what you got to do. It was fourth quarter, meaningful game. They were actually scoring points. And NFL Network goes the other way. I know it's not an easy decision.
Sure.
I got Jerry Jones breathing down your neck or whatever. Put the fucking Cowboys on. But there was really one of the only two storylines that are going through camp: quarterback competition in Seattle and fucking Kenny Pickett playing, happening, meaningful minutes of preseason game. And they just cut off and said, see you later. Can't have it.
Can't have it.
No. I didn't get to hear Pompiani, Charlie
Come
Batch
on.
do any of this stuff.
hell?
They even had Rudy on for a couple minutes. Almost missed that because the NFL Network went to some lame-ass game that nobody cares about. Broncos, Russell Wilson, Cowboys, Jerry Jones, none of them fucking played.
No.
Keep them off. Nonetheless, what a fucking game for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kenny Pickett. I assume you can't start any better than that.
No, Kenny looked. My biggest thing was that he looked like calm, like cool, calm, collected. He knew where he wanted to go with the ball because in that situation, you had Narduzzi there to congratulate Kenny on getting and
take pictures with CFO Phil.
Yeah.
And CFO Phil's kids.
Shout out.
Narduzzi knew the task. He understood the assignment. He did.
But
Take pictures with little CFO Phil.
first round draft pick, everyone's chanting your name. First preseason game with the Steelers in Acrisure. My biggest thing was that he looked like super calm, and he's definitely. It feels like Kenny's a gamer. Like once the lights go on and the fucking we're ready to go, Kenny's ready to go. Now Mitch looked really good too, so it's definitely them 1-2. Not even a doubt.
Rudolph came in there second.
Yeah.
He's got meaningful minutes too.
That ball to Pickens.
He did throw. Well, anybody. Could
Rudolph has more meaningful minutes in the NFL in recent memory than Mitchell Trubisky.
Still want to have a beer with
What
the
do you
guy.
mean?
Didn't he play some games last year?
Started a game last year.
Yeah.
Meaningful.
Lions game.
Got bashed in.
Mitch
That
did
wasn't.
not.
the
Mitch
Lions
did not.
one
Mitch
wasn't.
was sitting behind Josh Allen.
Entire year.
Might have been learning, but who has the most recent veteran reps in games that matter?
It's Mason
Rudolph.
By a lot.
How come you guys are just ruling him out? I think you guys, the Yinzers, have gotten a hold of the TV execs too. They're leaving fucking Mason Rudolph off all the graphics.
Yeah.
It's just Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett won like 14 of 15, by the way. Game-winning touchdown.
Pretty good game.
That is.
He balled out.
It was such an incredible start. A game means nothing, but I feel like Pittsburgh, that meant a lot. Now he can go out and shit the bed next week and everybody will forget, but you always have that moment where he debuted as a Steeler. Not a single peep about fucking Mason Rudolph.
Well, he stinks.
No, he did okay.
He threw one good ball to George Pickens. Other than that, he almost fumbled the ball as soon as he came into the game.
Pickens did all the work too.
Yeah, he did.
He's not athletic. He can't move in the pocket. He just throws balloon balls. That's all
No
he can
moxie.
And so I didn't get to see all of Pickett's performance because once again, NFL Network gave us Cooper Rush.
Right. Yep.
And what are we doing? Can't have it.
Won't have it.
I actually, people like tweet airline companies and like politicians and like other things that are never going to change. But I'm going to put a tweet out there. I'm going to let people know that I am not happy with these. And I respect it. I appreciate it because you think you're changing the world. Just like the people that say they're going to move. If this happens, we're going to move.
out.
They never move. That does happen. But you put your tweet out there saying, hey, there's a potential. First time I thought maybe I could sway the vote a little bit. I'm going to tweet NFL Network because I can't be the only person that's sitting here thinking, not just Steelers fans. I think there's a lot of people that want to watch fucking Drew Lock too.
Yeah.
He's competing against Geno, who's named the starter. Geno had pretty good game. Excited to see what Drew Lock does. I thought this tweet was really going to sway the thing. They showed him picture in picture one time. Then he went. Kenny was driving. I think he was trying to stiff arm somebody as if it was college football. And they said, oh, this is the men's league, pal, and dumped him on his face. And then there was another one where he thought he was going to get the edge. Hey, this is the men's league, pal. Boom, dumped him on his face. But those were in picture. I thought we were going to be able to see it. So I'm not sure if we got a good, accurate read on it, but it seemed like a great, productive evening for Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, we got to see the 2 touchdown drives. 2 of the 3 drives were touchdown drives. That one, it was just they were backed up, bad position. There was nothing he could do about that one. But no, it was a dream start for him. Dream start for the Steelers. I mean, it's Super Bowl or bust at this point.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
Nice.
Defense is going to be good. I mean, TJ Hyde just chilling, coming out, having a good time. Cam Hayward looks bigger than he's ever looked. Mike Tomlin seems to be very happy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking laughing on the sideline during that whole
And
thing.
he said this weekend that the defense should be dominant, which I've never really heard him talk like that.
It's like Goodell saying predatory behavior.
Right.
And Tomlin's like, yeah, we should
need to be dominant.
Yeah, we should be good.
And the world got to experience George Pickens, which the Steelers fans have heard for the last couple weeks, and
remember, if you listen to this show in the Feel the Beat segments, we learned of a man who put a Rudy sub in his pocket for 4 or 5 hours
That's right.
and then ate that thing later in the day.
Didn't even have to microwave it.
We learned of a man who tore both of his Achilles in a couple months span.
Yep.
We learned of a man that got a golf cart ride because Steelers give him a run.
Never turned down for a ride.
We learned of Mark Caboli, who's obviously the beat reporter for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who joins us to Feel the Beat. He has been saying, if Pickens ain't a guy, I'll be more surprised.
Exactly.
Talking about the highlights day in, day out over there. Now, I know Chase Claypool is going to be a guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's good news for him that Pickens has arrived. Pickens has the incredible catch. Obviously, Mason Rudolph drops it in a goddamn bucket.
Yeah.
He gets both of his feet
Almost
in.
threw him out of bounds.
Yeah, but he didn't. It ended up being perfect. Pickens gets both of his feet in somehow. And then not only that block. Now, they have it on film. Every corner now knows. Okay, this guy
He's one of those.
He's going to do something during, because there's a lot of wide receivers just go, hey, we're together. And neither of us are making a play. Them knowing that's going to be a whole new ball game. We'll talk to Darius Butler about that in about an hour. But yeah, Pickens is awesome. And he glides.
Yeah.
Like he fucking.
Easy runner.
He runs right by people. And they have no. When did they draft him?
Second round.
How did he fall to the second round? Because 11 wide receivers or something like that won in the first round. How many wide receivers won in the first round? I think like 11. It was a shit ton.
A lot.
It was why the Cardinals traded. Remember the Cardinals,
Yes.
wherever they were sitting, they said they liked however 7, 8, I forget how many wide receivers it was. We like this many wide receivers, but we don't think any of them will be around by the time we get up to draft. So they actually send their pick to Baltimore to get Hollywood because they wanted. Pickens was sitting right there.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Could have got Pickens.
Could have gone.
What the fuck are Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury doing?
Good question.
Steelers know how to draft wide receivers. We watched him make a hell of a diving catch in the national championship last year.
Of course we did. Because he played for
Georgia.
Yes, he
National
did.
That's
champion.
why he was born a dog. He was raised a dog. He's always going to be a dog.
Yeah, he's a guy. That was fun to watch. There's other stories around there. Let's put up the preseason results. Let's put up all the games as Rappaport is probably getting ready to join us here momentarily. It's awesome to have these games to be able to turn on and watch.
So nice, even though they stink.
Incredibly frustrating.
Yes.
Whenever you're putting on a shit game instead of the good game. For
sure.
But here's what happened this weekend in the preseason if you were not able to keep up. Obviously, the Giants get a big-time win off of Graham Gano's foot. That was on Thursday.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens get a win 23-10. Lamar Jackson has given a deadline for his contract extension first week of the season. You can go. You just keep the, yep. All right, good. Mitt's in for Foxy, by the way. Send Foxy some positive tweets if you get a chance to. Mitt, you're crushing it. Zito's back there. Nick's back there. Falcons get a big-time win. Let's go. Hey, Desmond Ritter's going to be a guy. You just kind of rolled to his right, 4th and 9, the last play of the game, threw one up, kind of said a prayer, I assume, while the thing was in the air. Touchdown. What a play. What a win. Good for the Falcons.
If the first couple drives of Mariota was any inclination of what the season's going to be like, too, Ritter's going to have to play because Mariota is going to be in a body bag.
He's running a lot. Yeah, a lot of running. Mariota's a freak athlete, though, and they know that. The Browns win 24-13 in Jacksonville. Interesting start to that game. All of the Jaguars fans seem like even children and grannies were chanting, "You sick fuck," to Deshaun Watson. Yeah,
Sure
No
were.
way.
Yeah, first huddle, he was in there. He made a play, and they were a little backed up. Seemed to be a good punt there for Jacksonville. Logan Cook got him backed up, and he breaks the huddle. And as he's lining up, lo and behold, if you open your ears, there's a very vivid and clear, "You sick fuck, you sick fuck." Yeah, our old lady even doing the whole.
Wow.
Yeah. That. Hey, by the way, probably gonna happen for the rest of his career.
Yep.
Oh, that'll.
He
You think it's going
apologized.
to keep going?
I seen him apologize with the Didi. That video was interesting too. Obviously, that got the reaction that everybody expected. Jets get a big win, but big loss at the same time.
Uh-oh.
And although Joe Flacco has been talked about in a positive fashion by the New York Jets this entire training camp, maybe for trade bait, who knows? It seems like it is Flacco time. I feel maybe Mike White makes an appearance again for the New York Jets. Zach Wilson tears meniscus and bruises bone in knee in a non-contact cut. He goes down preseason game. Never want to see that. Especially, this is the first time Zach's been like, I think,
Hyped up.
Getting a lot of juice around him.
The whole
I'm sitting
team.
next to Michael Cole at SmackDown when that happens, by the way.
Oh, no.
It was awesome. It was absolutely, he goes up. By the way, never awesome when a player gets hurt. Happy he didn't tear his ACL. Excited to see how fast he can come back. He's getting surgery tomorrow or today in LA. He will fly back with the team. Meniscus, a few weeks, 3-4 weeks, I think is probably a good guesstimation. Maybe 5-6 with the bone bruise on top of there. They're thinking he'll be back. Joe Flacco, leadership time. Michael Cole and Jets fans, they'll go, of course. Of course. Of course. This guy jumping jumping, sidearm, no look, dimes. Everybody's talking about him being a dog. We got a cool quarterback again who seems to be good. Preseason game, only supposed to play one series. Throws a pick, comes in the next one, cuts on nobody. He's out 2 months probably.
Bad.
That is just so sorry.
Football.
So sorry to the
Right
Jets.
after losing their left tackle for the season.
Sorry.
And then Bob Sala. Cardinals win 36-23. Trey Lance appears to be a guy, 28-21. Bears get a big-time win on a terrible football field. Panthers 23-21. Bills beat the Colts.
Uh-oh.
Colts.
5 picks. Colts defense, 5 picks. Fuck off.
True.
Steelers
Fourth down
obviously get, what's that, pal?
Fourth down looks eerily similar to last year's fourth down.
Yeah, but it's
and
going
the
to
year
turn.
before that fourth
No,
down.
it's going to turn around.
Bad.
Dolphins get a big win. Congrats to the Dolphins. McDaniel gets his first win. Texans, Dougie Davis-Mills, Lovie Smith get a win. Broncos 17-7. Rams 29-22. And the Raiders beat the Vikings 26-20. What a weekend of preseason football. Joining us now, hopefully breaking it all down, maybe giving us some inside information after one game has been played for everybody but the Raiders and
Jaguars.
They played 2. They're a little bit deeper into this entire preseason. The senior NFL insider for the NFL, the network, the league itself, and on the internet, a man whose wife had a New York Times
Post.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Same
exactly.
Maybe press article because
Post
she's
is
such a
older.
badass. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the weekly wrap up of Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, he being the Rap Sheet, Ian Rappaport.
What's up?
Hey, how are you, pal? There's a lot of shit going on in your world now. This must be a lot better than the times you're just sitting on a golf course and nothing was happening in the NFL.
Yeah, there's some stuff. I mean, the best thing is, like, it's all starting to mean some things. So, like, you're talking about games. Like, you're going through, like, you know, Kenny Pickett looked good and this guy looked good. And, like, we can actually see people do real things instead of, like, even training camp, which I love training camp. You're kind of going against yourself, so you can never tell, like, all right, well, this quarterback stinks, or wait, maybe his defense is actually good that he's going, like, you can't tell anything. So at least we're starting to get closer to being able to tell some things.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Although coaches and evaluators, I think, take practice reps very serious, almost more serious than the games. It is nice to see, like, New England go out there and their offense not be completely inept. Because the way that narrative was being talked about is as if they were stepping on each other's feet, falling on their faces. Steelers. Now, let's just dive right into it because Kenny Pickett obviously was awesome. So was Trubisky.
Yeah.
There's quarterback battles happening around the NFL. Pittsburgh seems to be one of them. Carolina's another one. What are your thoughts on them after this first preseason week, Ian Rappaport?
All right, well, we'll start with the Steelers. I thought Kenny Pickett looked really good. And I was at Steelers, was it a week or so ago with Mike Garafolo talking to a bunch of the coaches. Everything Kenny Pickett was really good. It still feels to me like this is Mitchell Trubisky's job to start with, which, you know, would be
Caboli
expected.
said you could rubber stamp that Trubisky's going to be a
That's right.
starter.
Bingo.
Mark Caboli
Right.
said that.
Right. I mean, and that makes sense. He's a veteran. He's done it. He knows the play. But he's had many, many, many more months to deal with the play. But all that stuff is good. And it sounds like Trubisky, for what Matt Canada wants to do, kind of be more athletic, I guess, than Ben, who was awesome, but definitely not a fit for Matt Canada's more college-style offense. I think Trubisky makes sense. The best thing, though, is at some point, there is a chance, maybe good chance, that the Steelers will play Kenny Pickett. Maybe injury, maybe Trubisky struggles, whatever it is. Seeing him go out there and just look like regular, like just look like he was in control. I mean, it's not like they were asking him to do a lot, but everything was on time. He was accurate. Like, that was best case scenario for me.
Okay, so let's dive into Carolina as well. Carolina's got a lot going on. Is Sam Darnold potentially back to the Jets?
Wow.
No, I'm joking.
I don't sense that's coming.
Okay, but come on.
But actually, I heard you talking about the Joe Flacco love before. You know, as soon as Zach Wilson gets injured and, like, his knee buckled, and so everyone on the internet was basically, like, writing his obituary. And we'll see what happens. He's got surgery tomorrow from Dr. Neil Elatrash. The hope is that Zach Wilson gets a trim rather than a full repair of the meniscus. There's a lot of optimism that it's going to be just the trim along with the bone bruise, which is not surgical. So they think he's going to be okay earlier in the season. But when it seemed on Saturday night that he might, or whenever that was, I think Saturday night, that he wasn't going to be, you know, I wondered about Jimmy G, but it seems like it's going to be Flacco. Like, they really like where Joe Flacco is in this offense especially.
I can't wait to see what Flacco does. Jimmy G there and Carolina. Which one do you want to go towards first?
Talk about Carolina first.
Okay.
So it seemed like Baker and Darnold both had some good moments. Darnold with the touchdown, but took over a short field, I think inside the 15, if I remember correctly.
Oh, making excuses.
Had an opportunity through a nice touchdown pass. Some good, some not good. I think Baker looked fine, more than fine. It still feels to me like it's leaning Baker Mayfield. He's been more impressive in practice, rep in and rep out. I was there with Garofalo a week or so. We talked. Mayfield looked better, definitely better, and probably a better fit for this offense. So it feels like that's the direction it's going.
Okay, so now Jimmy G, I seen and heard the Jacksonville Jaguars fans, okay? And I want you to put your muffs on you and your kid that you just got back from a 3-month vacation in the woods and any of your other kid, whatever. They were chanting, "You sick fuck. You sick fuck. You sick fuck." And I'm not talking about just like 5, 6 people. I'm talking like there was hundreds of people in the video that I got that was chanting that to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson didn't go out and have his best performance. It's preseason football. He hasn't played football in years. I'm not sure on the field what we were expecting, but we assumed that the appointee from Roger Goodell, after Roger Goodell has said things that we've never heard him say, predatory and all that stuff, we assume he's going to be out for an entire year. Is Jimmy G going to Cleveland, or is that not in the conversation? Because we saw Andrew Brandt tweet, if you think Cleveland's just all of a sudden interested in Jimmy G, like almost confusion. But it is different now, right? That Deshaun's probably out for a year and Jimmy's still available. Do you think that's going to happen, or what do you think is most likely there?
First on the Deshaun, I heard the chants. This is what it's going to be like for a while for him. It's going to be, going into visiting. I mean, we'll see when he ends up playing. If he plays this year, this is what it's going to be like. Opposing fans do not care and do not hold back, and unless there's some sort of directive from the NFL or from the teams that they need to clean it up,
then it gets even worse, right? Then it gets even worse.
Probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just knowing humans. Probably right.
Yeah.
None of it was,
I'm all allowed to. Okay. All right.
I'm sure some. No, I'm not gonna say it. All right. I was gonna make some equivalency, but I'm not gonna do that.
Very nice of you, I guess.
So,
good guy.
First of all,
what a hero.
I don't know if we can assume that Deshaun's going to be a year. We know that Roger Goodell has said very publicly that he believes it should be a year. He called him predatory, as you mentioned. Came out really, really strong. I think a lot of people thought that we might get the ruling before Friday. We didn't. So similar to what we were talking about with Sue Robinson, it seems that Roger Goodell's designee is on his own time frame, maybe to see if the two sides can get together on a settlement. Don't sense one is close, but perhaps at some point, or maybe just because he's not ready. So until and unless that happens, it's still going to be limbo. But to answer your question about Jimmy G and the Browns, I've seen some reports. I just don't get the sense that the Browns are that interested. I just don't. I mean, they signed Jacoby Brissett for a reason. If they trade for Jimmy G, it's $20+ more million. Not the money's the biggest concern, but I've checked with everyone. Maybe something will surprise me. I just do not get the sense that there's that much interest there.
Fascinating. Good for Jacoby Brissett, by the way, who has proven in the past he can play great football. That roster seems to be loaded. The NFL, the lawyers that are representing the NFL in this appeal against the NFLPA's lawyer, who's the lawyer that's representing Deshaun, the guy that started the union to begin with, right? What's his name? The lawyer?
Jeffrey Kessler isn't. That's who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the NFLPA's shows. Yes.
Jeffrey Kessler. Him and Rusty Hardin are sort of combining, but yes.
Okay, so Jeffrey Kessler and Rusty Hardin are representing Deshaun Watson for the NFLPA. Who's representing the NFL?
The NFL's, they sort of have retained outside counsel. The name escapes me.
But they're under direct initiative from Goodell?
Yes. I mean, he is the boss, and they are under, right. But that's one side against the other side.
Yeah, but so if they agree upon, if the judge that has been appointed, the district attorney, what is he? Who is he from Jersey? The guy that's the new judge?
Right, the AG from Jersey, Harvey, right.
Yeah, so he is waiting for a potential settlement between the two, but that would have to be a settlement between basically Roger Goodell and Rusty Hardin and Deshaun Watson, right?
Right, so there's sort of two sides of this, right? On one side, a settlement would be the NFL accepting less than a year, right? And it would be Deshaun Watson and his team accepting more than they wanted. Remember, there was, he got 6 games. I know there were some people that, thought, well, it should be less. Remember, they argued initially, the PA did, Deshaun Watson's lawyer did, for a lot less.
Oh, Kessler and Russ.
So a settlement, though, would basically end the story. That's the upside for the NFL. They want him to be suspended a year, but if they get to a settlement, they settle, and that's the end of the story. It's not. Whereas, like, if they get a ruling from, AG Harvey, former AG Harvey, then Deshaun Watson probably sues, and then he's out 6 games anyway. But then, we're still talking about federal court as this kind of goes and gets debated at the highest levels. Like, this is a story for most of the season. That, I know, is something the NFL does not want.
Okay, so very interesting that it seems like all outside parties are the ones handling this for the NFL.
Yeah.
Kessler, Harden, neither of them are in the NFLPA. Mm-hmm. They are lawyers that are representing the NFLPA. The NFL was appointed an outside party to represent them. We got an outside judge to do this thing. It's getting appealed. Another outside judge to this thing. And then Goodell's just that's fascinating. That's probably.
And remember, it used to be the opposite. It used to be they would rule like it was just Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Which I know the union took major issue with and ended up with this mutually agreed upon system.
Yeah, mutually agreed upon. Make sure you hit the talking points, Ian. Make sure you hit the talking points.
I mean, it's a negotiation.
Yeah. Just hit them. Make sure you hit them. Make sure you hit them. I've heard this from every inside. Mutually agreed upon. Mutually agreed upon. There's no way this is what the NFLPA. How did they not have projections that this is exactly how? Not that this. By the way, we're not saying that the case that is being chatted about shouldn't be the punishment, whatever it is. Not saying that. We're just talking about the process. We're just talking about the process. We're the only ones that are talking about it. The NFLPA took a victory lap whenever Judge Hugh Robinson got hired. Mutually appointed. We did it. And now it's like, well, actually, Roger Goodell doesn't even have his own lawyers doing it. Yeah, he's telling other people.
Still lands on his desk.
Yeah. I don't even. It's why. Anyways, let's move on. Shall we? New England offensive coordinator thing is awesome. We talk shit to Connor about what everybody else is saying about the New England Patriots. Yeah. The word around the street about the New England Patriots is on offense, they look terrible. That's everybody that is basically a pundit is saying. I liked watching the game. I feel like there was a lot better performance by the offense. And Zappy, I mean, that guy slinging it all over the place. Yeah. They didn't look as terrible as everybody's saying. Bill Belichick afterwards goes, we're going through a process. Well, I was just wondering if we get some clarity. Great. Fuck off. He says to that person that's asking it. It's a full process. Matt Patricia's come in and said, Bill Belichick's the boss. Joe Judge has come in and said, Bill Belichick's the boss. We're just doing whatever the hell we can do. Do you have any clarity on that entire situation, on who's going to be calling plays, who's not going to be calling plays, and how it's going to look in the end?
So early in training camp, remember, it was kind of a big thing where it looked like Matt Patricia was the one reading the plays into the quarterback, and everyone was like, well, he's obviously the play caller. I would say for those of us who've been around New England, things are never, ever, ever quite as they seem. Yeah. So my sense now is Joe Judge will call some plays, Matt Patricia will call some plays, Bill Belichick will call some plays. They'll go through it in the preseason. They will, similar to like I believe it's similar to just like rotating offensive linemen. Like, take a look at this, see how this goes. Take a look at this, see how this goes.
Love it.
We'll come up with a system that, works better than probably a lot of others, and then we'll just roll with it. And I think it's interesting because, they're probably taking the offense back a little bit. Remember, Brady did it for 20 years. Josh McDaniels did it for not 20 years, but a lot of years. Yeah. He leaves, and they get to kind of reimagine it with a new play caller and a much younger quarterback. So I would imagine they're simplifying things and kind of just redoing it. And so here's my guess as to what happens. One, we'll probably not know for sure who the play caller is. Two, Bill Belichick will be very, very involved. And he kind of does this where, like, if there's one side of the ball that needs a little bit maybe more help, he will dive in and, like, I think it's pretty safe to say he could probably call an offense himself, so he'll be heavily involved.
Do you think that Bill Belichick, because you just talked about reimagining the offense now that McDaniels and Tom Brady's gone and they got a young quarterback that has a different skill set, is it like a beautiful mind, you think, this offseason, Bill Belichick maybe tripping on some shit, drawing like what they could look like on the offensive side, and that's why the process is like, we're still trying to figure it out, basically. We're still trying to figure out do you think he's at that point where he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do, or do you think he is trying to initiate what he came up with this offseason for that offense?
I think he's probably still trying to figure it out. I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised. Like, if you look at the Patriots, there have been plenty of times where in September, they've kind of been like, like rotating some guys, showing some looks, like not good, mediocre. And then by the time you get to October, they really figure it out. Like, feels to me like Belichick is totally fine taking his time, trying some things. How about this? How about that? Like, is it going to look different for us? my guess is probably not. But I think for them, it's gone in so many different iterations. It's been so complex with Josh and Brady there that I think taking it all the way back probably in the end helps everything, because I think when Brady was there, it was so complicated that like receivers probably had a hard time catching. Like it was hard for everyone, but very successful.
Yeah, I will still continue to beat the drum of Bill Belichick's going to figure it out.
It's Bill.
It's football. It's Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I do wish he would come out there, though, when they'd ask him questions, and he would just say, I'm still trying to figure it out. I got 10 pieces of window that I've drawn marker on. It was Sharpie, not dry erase. I made a mistake early. Like, I just wish he would be so transparent, Like, we are trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We don't know what it's going to look like, but I feel like he just hates everybody and he knows he's going to take his lumps, and then inevitably they're going to figure it out. That just feels like that's what the Patriots are going to do. We shall see. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt. Last couple questions. We can't thank you enough for your time, Ian.
Rep sheet, the Packers removed Elton Jenkins and Christian Watson from the pup, but they didn't take off Bakhtiari, and we've kind of heard that, it's no big deal, but is there starting to become some cause for concern within the Packers? Like, when do they expect him to actually be back?
Yeah, first to the first two, I thought really significant that Elton Jenkins, who I believe has been practicing at right tackle,
hell yeah,
that he was activated because he got injured late in the season. And like in my head, as I kind of try to keep track of this, I'm like, all right, well, that's a guy who'll probably stay on pup. Like he's practicing and seems like it looks pretty good. Really positive there. I would say, for a rookie receiver, being activated off the pup list with 3.5 weeks ago is good. Probably enough time to get ready for the season, also good. No Bakhtiari is at least a little bit concerning. And like one thing we know from last year, I will never ever just kind of go, he'll probably be fine. Like in my head last year, there was a while when I thought, he'll probably be okay. When the bell rings, he'll be out there. He's had a couple surgeries. He wants to be out there extremely bad. If he gets activated by next week, I'd say it'd be close for him to be ready for week 1. But there obviously now is a possibility that he's not, and that's, if he's ready for the final 13 games, that's okay. You just want him to be fully ready and raring to go.
Yeah, rap sheet. With Lamar Jackson, now that he has a deadline for week 1, have there been any numbers like thrown out? Are they working through kind of the nitty gritty, or are they nowhere close?
235, 240 guaranteed?
Would the Ravens go there fully guaranteed? I would be a little surprised based on their contract.
Nobody Deshaun got it. Deshaun got that. Hey, Deshaun hasn't played in
Deshaun
years.
had more leverage.
Did
I
he?
know. I know. Everything that's happened with Deshaun, everything legal, everything, a lot of teams wanted him.
Oh, you're talking about Atlanta was in the ballpark, the Saints were in the ballpark, and the Browns were trying their best.
Yeah, everybody wanted him, and it's, obviously there's a lot of people that do not agree with that. Absolutely understand. Leverage is, unfortunately, leverage, and so that's, the market determines it. That's what the Browns are willing to do. Would the Ravens go there? I'm not so sure. I know they are having talks. I don't know if a deal is going to get done. I would imagine the Kyler Murray deal will be the floor. From what I understand, the Ravens are willing, as they should, willing to go more than that. So that was 46-1, if I remember correctly, right, in new money. They're working. I don't think we'll get any clarity until probably 2 weeks from now, like right up against the start of the season. But at least they are talking and having real conversations.
And now, listen, Lamar represents himself. He's put on like 18 pounds of muscle, too.
Yeah.
Looks good.
He's about to. He's
going to go.
I'm excited to watch him this year. But like saying the leverage thing, and that's real life, that's reality, that's business. If you have 3 people competing for your business, that's great news because obviously the number's only going to go up. Or if you're trying to get something done at your house and you have 3 companies competing for it, that number's going to go down. It's just natural business, supply and demand. The fact that he's never going to be a free agent for like 3 years is why his leverage is nothing. So I just think, like, if Lamar was to be a full asshole prick about this and create, like, I want out of here, I don't want to play, he would end up getting more money, which is like, it's a shame that is kind of,
probably right.
As a human, isn't that a little bit of a shame just to talk about?
I mean, and like, Lamar showed up in great shape, ready to roll. Handled questions fine.
Positive.
But he's always like that though. And like, I don't know where this is going to turn. But knowing the kind of guy he is, the way people look to, the way the organization loves him, I would be a little surprised if he was someone that just turned it all on his head and just became a jerk. Like, he's a good guy and he does everything right. So, like, I mean, I don't know if that hurts his leverage or not.
It stinks because
yeah,
if he was to say, I want out of here, and the Ravens were to agree, like what happened with the Texans and Deshaun, and there'd be more than the teams that were interested in Deshaun Watson would be in Lamar. And he'd be able to run that thing up. But there's, like, no reason to have to do business that way, especially, that's wild. That is wild to me. But I want to let Lamar know. I hope you get 235 guaranteed.
That's right.
230, 40, 240 maybe guaranteed.
Give him 250.
Hey, whatever the hell you want, Lamar. We hope you go get it, even though business is an interesting thing. Last question here before. Oh, that was your question. Ian, we can't thank you enough for joining us, pal.
Thank you for having me. I'm sure we'll be chatting soon.
Anything? So something's coming out.
Okay.
I mean, one would hope that we would get a Deshaun Watson ruling, but as I've learned over the last 6 months, anyone who says they know about the timing really does not know. So over the last 6 months, you learned, like, how to putt better.
Yeah.
Right.
How to hit your
I
drive.
did actually learn how to putt better. I'm a 2-putt machine now.
Are you doing the claw like Will? Are you doing longer putt with the claw like Will Zalatoris to become the best putter in?
No, crosshand. I putt cross-handed now.
Oh, like this. Keep it a little bit more steady.
Which is actually really, like, kind of embarrassing, but so is 3-putting. So
no, it's not. There's a lot of people that that cross
going in.
Hey, wait till you see the shit I'm debuting next season, the golf season.
Long putter.
I'm going fucking hockey.
Kind of like the.
I'm doing it. People talk about it all the time. I'm going long putt, long grip. I'm fucking hockey in that thing. I'm looking at the goddamn hole, and I'm putting that thing. I'm hockey.
I tried that. I love that Spieth does that. It does not work for me, but it's a very cool trick.
Spieth does that?
What?
Didn't Spieth look at the hole instead of the ball?
Inside like 5 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about the hawk.
I'm grabbing my putter like this right here. You see? I'm fucking. Huh?
Yeah.
I
like it.
You know what I mean?
Feed him. He's in the slot.
Who's to say it's wrong?
Well, everything else I've tried has been wrong, and it's fucking looks like everybody else's putts. So anything to get I lost 14 balls on Saturday.
That's tough.
I'm never golfing again. All right, Rap, we appreciate you, pal. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. Thank you, man. I'm doing it.
Might as well.
I couldn't bust it out this weekend, though. I haven't been practicing enough. Nick and I played with a college golfer. This guy shot a 5 fucking under.
Yeah,
Sandbagged us.
Really?
5 under, this guy. So we went to play on a super yup course here, probably the most yup course.
Nice.
The gate wouldn't let us in, obviously. We get to the gate, can't get in.
Who are you
Classic.
two jabrones?
Who are you two? Well, we're here to play with insert name of guy. Chad was his name. We're here to play with Chad. What's his last name? I don't know. I've never met him. Oh, you never met the guy. So now it's a full, full thing, and it's a gated community, gated course. And we're in Nick's Jeep that has Captain America thing on the back, and we're just sitting there, and this is like a good 3 to 5 minute conversation. This is everything I hate about everything, bro.
Sure.
It's like, all right, I'm not getting into this on why this thing is. We're invited to be here. Why is this a problem? Anyways, we get in. That guy, I guess, he's just trying to save the world, save his. I understand. He's trying to do what he's doing.
Right.
But they created a tee time for us to get on there because, it was brought up via Chuck and whether we would play. So they're trying to keep us off the tee time list, actually. This guy, your name's not on here. What's your name? I gave my name. What's your name? So I don't got Chad on here either. It's like this place is trying. They're so yup. They're trying to take care of it. Nobody told the security guy. So that was a whole scene coming in.
Sure.
So I hated the place upon arrival.
Yeah, hot start.
Now, not their fault. Not the security guy's fault. Not the whole thing. Just a full thing. We get in there. I don't know where all this money's coming from. There is 200 houses, multi-million-dollar houses at this place that just line the entire course. Nicest houses I've seen. Brand new build in Indiana.
Big boys.
Fucking huge, beautiful homes. I'm like, damn, okay. This place is really nice. Had no idea it existed. Had no idea this place existed until Chuck told us about it on the call. So we get on the golf course, by the way.
Beautiful
gorgeous.
golf course.
Pete Dye's last course.
Oh, there you have it.
His dying wish was to make me 10 putt on this one green that he put together.
Pete, he had some tricks.
Pete had some tricks up his sleeve with the way he designed this course. Beautiful course we're playing on there. Chad, the guy, awesome.
Nails.
Cool guy. Anytime you're playing with a random, well, you have to play with a member. It's like, well, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And the guy that set me up with this guy was like, cool dude. Chuck played with him. So I asked Chuck. He is super cool. That guy was fucking very cool. One of the coolest, nicest guys I've ever been around, to be honest with you. Younger, professional, successful, good guy to be with.
Good golfer.
First tee box, we say, so you a good golfer? And he goes, okay, or whatever. We get 2 holes in. Oh, I play at Purdue. Golf did this. My sister also a college golfer. My family. And then it starts making sense. This guy goes fucking 5 under right in front of our faces.
Okay.
I mean, no problem at all. He was throwing darts at the green. I don't know if that's how he always plays. He should be proud of himself, though.
Oh, yeah.
We did not. I did not play that well. I
Maybe
lost
of course.
Yeah, I haven't played in
Pete Dye's last course. What do you expect?
I lost-
He's going to go out on it.
7 balls, 6 holes. First 6 holes, lost 7 balls. I mean, that's a tough start. That's a very tough start. Nick played pretty good.
Really?
Nick.
Couple,
Did he beat Bruce?
couple members bounces.
Well, that's the thing. If we would have kept score, I would have lost to the guy that lost to Bruce. And that's something I got to bear. You know, that's a cross
live
I
with
got.
that.
But you weren't keeping score.
Weren't keeping score. There was a couple times I could have dropped and kept playing the hole and maybe saved like something.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
not.
You don't want to be keeping score if you're playing with a guy who's shooting 5 under anyway.
Well, we didn't know that until about hole 3 or 4. He had already had 2 birds or whatever. It's like, God damn, this guy, is this all the time?
Yeah, Chad, you're
what the
okay at
hell?
golf, I guess.
Oh, I'm pretty good, he said.
I like that. That is a sandbagger's move.
Yeah.
We didn't bet any money, though, thank God.
Yeah, well.
He did want to do some beer chugs in there, though, which I had respect for. But also, dude, you're a fucking pro golfer.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, I'm not just blacking out on you. All right, I haven't put one in the fucking fairway yet, pal. He was cool. Big thanks to Chad. Chad, you're a good dude.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Very, very good dude. And who has all that money in Indiana? I have no idea. I don't know who's living on that course.
Possibly no one, it sounds like.
Well, they're building a lot of houses.
Yeah, good luck.
Who is buying all those houses? I couldn't help but wonder while driving around. We got fucking 300 people that can buy multi-million-dollar homes in this part of town. I had no idea. Good for Indiana, fucking killing it. There's numerous tee boxes you step up to. Does not feel like you're in Indiana.
Really?
I'm talking like big trees, hills, fucking mega mansions around it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was very, very nice. Couldn't get in, obviously.
Right.
Couldn't hit a ball in a fairway.
Sure.
Chad's a great guy.
Yeah.
And I have no idea who's buying all those homes. But I'm happy for everybody that has
Very
them.
happy.
find
They're doing
out.
quite well.
Brand new homes. Big,
Mega
huge,
mansions.
big
Pools,
homes.
the whole 9.
Not a lot of pools, huh?
No,
lot of
not really.
pools.
Small yards, big houses, not small lots.
Oh, the fairways. Sure. Yard,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
basically. It seems to be a very tight-knit community,
Yeah,
too.
it's
Everybody's
kinda-
kind of meeting up around there.
Yeah.
They're building this clubhouse that's, I don't know what that look like, Nick? Actually 50,000 square feet, maybe?
Yeah, it was monstrous.
Like the White House.
70,000 square feet, maybe? Basketball courts.
It looked like an Amazon warehouse.
It was unbelievable.
Where are they getting all this money?
Where's all this money? That's all I kept thinking is, who has all this fucking money? This is unbelievable. Look at Indiana on the come up.
Yeah, that's
right.
Speaking of Indiana, we'll be at training camp 2 days from now for the
Hell
Indianapolis
yeah.
Colts and Detroit Lions joint practices. A lot of teams have joint practices. We'll talk about that and more. AJ Hawk will not be here today. He's getting blacked out drunk on a golf course for a good cause. Brady Quinn's Fourth and Long Foundation. We'll talk to Darius Butler in the next hour. Can't wait for that. And your phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. We'll wrap up hour 1 on the other side of this 4-minute break. See you then.
Appreciative of celebrity fans that come out, but there are just simply some that are like, oh, we're from here, this is what we do, we root for this team. That's not the case here, and that's why I wanted you on here.
Nobody wants to play the Blues in the playoffs. We're a heavy team, we're mean, and we're relentless, and that they don't play hockey like that anymore, especially the the high flying teams. And all of a sudden the playoffs happen, and you guys see it. The heavy teams, all of a sudden, nobody wants to play them. Nobody likes playing the Sharks a couple years ago. Nobody liked playing, the Blackhawks back in the old days. And it's just, it's a different beast, and we're built for it.
You know what, Hammer, I love the way you do this. You talk. He knows his shit, guys. I told you this. Like,
And then like the 80s happened, and Hully happened, and Shanahan happened, and Scott. We had so many great players come through our organization that. And lost them in the weirdest, most Byzantine, awful ways of stupid trades and bad arbitration, and and then we lose Shanahan, we get Pronger, and everybody hates Pronger, and then Pronger becomes an all-star, and then we of course we don't win with him, but he wins that Anaheim or wherever he won, and you're just like, we can't. We're snake bit, and then something like 2019 happens, and it's all worth it. So I just been around long enough. Like that's really it. Through Steiner, I was inducted into the Blues alumni, kind of unofficially / officially. They gave me one of these bad boys.
Oh, look at that! Got you one of these.
I feel pretty strong about that.
Hey, can we see that one more time? That thing was beautiful. Look at that thing.
I genuinely enjoy going to hockey games. I never played. I mean, I played pickup hockey. I can skate. I can go forwards and backwards. But I never really played. I was, you know, I wasn't raised with a lot of money. Hockey equipment's expensive. We're not in Canada where it's like, you know, everybody's got 10 brothers and hand-me-downs and whatnot. I was an only child. I just love the game, and I love talking about it. I love watching it. I've turned my girlfriend on it, and her sister and their friends. They love it. You know, they've become Blues fans. It's like, of course, the first year that they're Blues fans, they win the fucking Stanley Cup, and you're like, okay, listen, this is not how it goes.
You don't know the pain.
Like,
you don't know the pain. You don't
please let me disabuse you of that notion. Too sweet.
You kind of played the heel at the All-Star game, and I loved it. I loved it. I like, what
the absolute best.
There's quite a bit of backlash from that.
I took a little heat, but, you know, I think, first of all, that, you know, it's a ridiculous thing, whatever that thing is. It's like, you know, it's a Carrot Top's involved. So there you go. Done.
Oh, no.
I mean, come on. There's literally a ventriloquist dummy next to me. I'm sorry. The credibility is completely shot.
Yeah.
But
John, Gumpy's got his request with a sequel to The Town. I have a rather simple, adequate request, I hope. And I'm begging you, I'm asking you, man, please start rocking some underwear more, because you're putting the rest of us out here to shame. These paparazzi pics and everything, and the chatter online, it's a lot, and I'm happy for you and I'm proud for you.
Hey, look,
you're killing
we all have our cross to bear, man.
Ooh, this beat goes real hard.
Damn.
Keep your eyes peeled this afternoon, maybe tomorrow morning, depending upon how much time it takes to create, for my first top 3 5-10.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know the number yet.
Figure that out.
Don't know how many we have with actual NFL footage from our friends at NFL Films. Once again, remember that going into this season, we have footage rights.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Love footage.
Huge deal.
Not game rights.
Not game rights.
Now we have footage rights.
Much different.
Think about all those suits.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ.
The fuck? How much is he paying? All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Eddie in Cincinnati. Eddie, what's going on, pal?
Hey, Pat. How we doing?
Hey, not too shabby. Keep it moving. 5-Energy phone line. Go to 5energy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order of 5-Hour Energy's glorious shots of energy. There's tropic
berry, tropical berry.
There's a cherry. There's a watermelon burst.
Pineapple.
There's It's delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Eddie, what do you want to talk about, pal?
Well, firstly, I want to give a shout out to Boston Connor. I think there's too much hate for him on the show.
Had it, baby.
Nice guy.
Had it, baby, Connor.
Nice guy.
I'd like to ask how you think Mac Jones is going to progress in his second season.
Great question, Eddie. I mean, right to the point there. Mac Jones is going to progress how? New offense? I think he has a lot more input in it. I think he spent the entire offseason with Bill Belichick trying to piece together what this new offense will look like. Ian Rappaport said it's still evolving, though. What are your thoughts on Mac Jones? He's in the top 100, a lot of pressure. He's at the Pro Bowl. Everybody seems to like him. Is he going to have a sophomore slump?
I don't know if he's having a sophomore slump, but he's definitely going to be spinning the ball. They threw it 40 times in that first preseason game. If they showed you anything, it's that they're going to sling the rock.
Oh, he said fantasy football.
That's right, yeah. Maybe an MVP bet. You know, why not?
Wow, what is he sitting at currently?
Plus 4,000, but so is Trey Lance. Probably another guy to throw on.
Yeah, it's a good odds. It's great money. Somebody had Straka at plus 45,000 to win that thing yesterday.
Oh, no.
And then he obviously hits one in a drink, does what he's got to do, and Will Zalatoris, who's cold as ice, wins a major with the bogey run. Happy for Zalatoris. That was good golf. Yeah, there's some long odds right now if you really want to hop on them. But then as soon as we get to the middle of the season, we'll go, of course, why didn't we?
Bitch, Rodgers again.
We thought that was going to happen.
Josh Allen's throwing 35 touchdowns already.
We thought so. He's like plus 400 to win the MVP. Yeah, those are great odds.
Herbert.
We're back for hour 2 in about 6 minutes. It should be better than hour 1, I think. That's kind of what our show does. Gets better.
Hour 1 was pretty good.
I don't know. That's a great way to end it. Let's go to some more phone calls here. Let's go to Zach in Texas on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Zach?
Hey, Pat, I just want to talk about Joey Burrow and the disrespect the Bengals are getting.
Whoa, who's disrespecting Joey Burrow and the Bengals, Donner?
All I see in the news is about Lamar Jackson and his new contract, the Browns and how they're going to navigate what's going on with Deshaun Watson, the new Steelers quarterback. It's all trash. No one's giving the Bengals the respect they deserve. They're going to win that fucking division.
All right, Zach, thank you for that. You know what happens on this show? A lot of people call from another state and they're a fan from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know why they call in? Because they're used to just battling with people all day, every day.
Makes sense.
Because if they live in Texas and they're a Bengals fan, they've taken it on the shins a lot.
Yeah,
A lot. Now it's time for them to get back. So I think they call a show because they're used to projecting their case because they're getting into spats on a regular basis. So I just want to let you know I appreciate everybody that calls into this show. With that being said, Joe's had appendicitis.
Yeah, hasn't
He hasn't been practicing. He went in yesterday, and they asked him if he wanted to do the 7-on-7. It was 100% up to him. He took both the 1s reps and the 2s reps, had 2 good deep balls, and is all the way back. Joey Burrow feels like a lock to have another great year.
Yeah.
Especially because they invested in the offensive line. Obviously, Chase has another year under his belt. They got Boyd. I mean, they got a team over there.
Oh, yeah.
They got an indoor facility getting built. They got new naming rights for their stadium. They've come into 2005 post the NFL season.
Exactly.
I think the Bengals are a lot of fun to talk about. The only reason why nobody's talked about them is because Joey Burrow hasn't played in practice or in a game in like 2 weeks. Now that he's back, look for them to, burrow their way back into conversations.
Also, don't you think it's kind of different? Like previous years when you wouldn't talk about the Bengals, it's because they stunk. Like they're. Right now, I don't think it's people like disrespecting them. I think everyone expects the Bengals to be very good. They went to the Super Bowl last year.
Lamar Jackson getting $200-some million is a big talking point because it continues to set the quarterback market, which will affect the Bengals, by the way.
Right.
Pittsburgh Steelers not having a quarterback that they know is going to be their quarterback for the first time in 18 years, and the Steelers being like storied franchise all around the world. That's going to get talked about. Of course. Quarterback who might be missing an entire season, who just got the biggest contract in the history of the NFL, that's going to be talked about. I think no news is good news for the Cincinnati Bengals, honestly. The appendicitis could have been talked about a little bit more, but I would say from our standpoint, not talking about the Bengals now, to echo Ty's point, is good news for the Cincinnati Bengals. And once the season starts, can't wait to watch them boys go again.
Agree, but I did think it was actually a little disrespectful that they were not favored to win the division. And when the odds came out, I believe it was Ravens, Browns, and Bengals. But now the Browns have obviously fallen off after the suspension news. But now it's still Ravens and then Bengals. I would have had the Bengals favorites to win the division.
So, coming at the wrong people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
It's just like Kofi coming at me.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Just because everybody else is attacking the Patriots doesn't mean we are.
No.
Just because other people aren't giving the Bengals any love for whatever reason, we're not. We're just giving them no love because they're. I mean, to be honest, your quarterback hasn't fucking started training camp yet. Now, Tampa Bay, we're not talking about them. You know why? Quarterback left training camp.
Exactly. Hopefully he's back week 1. I do wonder how often that happens, though. Like, what do you think the last time it was that a team that went to the Super Bowl wasn't even favored to win their division?
Who returns their quarterback?
Damn near everybody got better.
Adds to their team.
Who'd they lose? Bates? Is Bates signed a deal?
He has not signed a deal.
They lost
Uzoma.
But he's going to have to play.
To the Jets.
What's his name?
I forgot how you pronounce his name, to be honest with you. He plays for the Jets now. So, you
never going to talk about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoops.
Now, there's the team that never gets talked about unless something terrible happens, a la Zach Wilson tearing his meniscus on a non-contact second series drive in the first preseason game, once everybody's starting to say, this guy's a dog. Golly. I was excited to talk about Zach Wilson this year.
Yeah, but
He'll be back. He'll be healthy whenever football matters.
Yeah, in week 1. I mean, we got footsteps Flacco against the Ravens. Are you kidding me? Revenge game right off the bat.
Flacco said he would be lying if he said he hadn't thought about that.
That's right.
Won a Super Bowl for that team.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he has a photo just like Mac Jones in his locker of the Ravens from when they won the Super Bowl.
Probably on his mirror, too, at
That's
home.
right. Yeah. They quit on you.
Brushes his teeth.
In quotes.
It's just the Ravens.
these guys.
Went to the Broncos. I finally became a starting quarterback and spoke up. They fucking set me on back and showed
Yeah, that's not how it works, pal.
old Yeller style. All right, we're back in like 2 minutes with hour 2. Darius Butler will join us in about 15 minutes for good conversation. We had some more phone calls and we'll cover all the top headlines around the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be a glorious Monday, August 15th before a massive week for us. We can't thank you enough for joining us. See you then.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 2 of this glorious Monday, August 15th, 2022. Sports Talk resumes right now.
Here we go, atta baby.
You guys are getting good.
Uh-huh.
I can feel a little bit.
Thank God AJ's not here to fuck it up. Too.
Well, he wouldn't be here normally, and he's definitely not here today because he's with Brady Quinn in their Third and Goal Foundation.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not fourth and long, obviously.
Well,
No.
you get it, though.
It's third and goal. Both very important plays
Yeah, crucial.
Money down.
in football. Brady Quinn has done a lot of great things alongside his Third and Goal Foundation, and AJ Hawk is currently blacking out on a golf course in Ohio in Spore Troops.
That's right.
In Spore Military.
Thank you, Troops.
Hell yeah.
Hey, thank you, AJ. Thank you, Troops. Thank you, Brady Quinn. Thank you, Third and Goal Foundation.
Thank you.
Not Fourth and Long.
No.
Fourth and Long Foundation, completely different foundation, probably founded by somebody else.
They do something else.
Probably.
Let's dive into some stuff here with the Talks Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, 10 digs. You look good, Tom.
Thank you.
Still got that COVID cowboy hat on?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Still being an outlaw?
Absolutely.
And still being a maverick?
Only one way to live, Pat.
Still being a misfit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still
Yeah.
saddling that horse of
Yeah.
being an absolute badass?
Yeah, you know
Marching to
me,
the
pal.
Sounds like you guys had a great gambling weekend. I don't
Yeah, we
know what
did,
you
actually.
were, but Gumpy was like 11-3-6 or something on the weekend whenever we're talking soccer bets and footy bets and everything else like that. Are you guys betting on preseason games, and how are we doing?
Preseason football was awesome. I think I went 6 of 7.
Oh!
I believe it was 6 of 7. And I would have won $5,000, but the Colts fucking stink, okay? And they can't hold on to a lead. And then soon as that fucking guy, Jack Cohn, came in, who wasn't even good in college, I don't know how he's on an NFL roster.
All right.
Tony.
So it's preseason.
Come on.
Listen, just because you're putting too much money on these preseason games doesn't mean you need to attack these guys that are trying to have their dreams come
Colts
true.
was the only one that lost because Frank Reich doesn't know how to convert a fucking fourth down.
All right.
Okay.
We'll punt the ball.
Ellinger is a absolute stud. He saved us in the second half, and then fucking Jack Cohn comes in. He doesn't know his ass between that and the hole behind you in that wall. Okay?
Well, that's a glory hole, they say. I don't know about his ass, what's going on there. Probably some glorious shit. But the thing about it is, it's just preseason.
Come on.
Preseason.
And I put out a tweet, because I was being attacked in that Colts-Bills game by a lot of people, talking about how the Colts look with their ones out there. Definitely ones without Jonathan Taylor, but everybody else, ones out there. Matt Ryan out there making plays and not scoring a lot of points. All right, not scoring a lot of points against the twos and the threes of the Buffalo Bills defense. It's not about that. It's about, these are preseason games, these are preseason reps. So I put a tweet out that just said, hey, it's just preseason, everyone relax, all right? Yeah. And it seemed like a lot of teams kind of made this, a lot of retweets from a lot of people, a lot of fans that are getting attacked by people like, hey, everybody needs to relax. I will say, with about 2 minutes left of that fourth quarter, I had an entire tweet about sports books maybe changing the odds. Colts just knocked off the Super Bowl favorites, Buffalo Bills. Everybody panicked. Everybody go crazy here. And instead, we end up losing. So wasn't a lot to kind of ride home about other than 5 interceptions for the Colts defense. But that's the things that you have to start taking away from these preseason games. You might lose $5,000 because you're betting on teams that you live in and because you think, they are going to play Matt Ryan a lot and that team should beat the team that doesn't play their quarterback, that they just pay more money and all their stars and everything like that. That's smart betting, but preseason football is always up in the air. Speaking of up in the air, Matt Ariza punted a ball. I mean, that thing was 72 yards from the line of scrimmage in air, then rolls into the end zone for an 82-yard punt. Now, only 62-yard net, obviously, is what some idiots were saying on the internet. He fucking murdered that football.
It's wild.
That ball was absolutely slaughtered. Now, some people might say there was a wind behind him. There's a lot of people making excuses for why that wasn't a good punt. I'd like to let everybody know, even if you got a fucking jet stream behind you, it's hard to hit a ball that far. He did a little rollout with a jump punt, kind of like Aussie rules punt almost. So he's going to try to change the game a little bit. Not sure if he's going to be able to do that in December in Buffalo. Doesn't matter because there's not a lot of motherfuckers doing what he did ever. So I think he should be excited. The punt god said hello to the NFL in beautiful fashion while some other punters and kickers did the complete opposite. But Buffalo's got a team up there. And they're deep, is what I learned from playing the Colts. That's another thing you can take away from preseason games. How deep is your team? We can run through some teams that got some wins that might have surprised us a little bit, or we can not waste our time completely. Because, that Broncos-Cowboys game that was cutting into the Steelers-Seattle Seahawks game. By the way, Steelers-Seahawks, actual good game. A lot of players that actually understand football, a lot of positions on the line that are of importance, so people are trying really hard. They were going back and forth. Pittsburgh was electric. Nobody left the game because they were waiting for Kenny Pickett. I mean, it was awesome. The NFL Network went to the Cowboys-Broncos game, and I thought maybe that was because Russell Wilson was playing. And I thought maybe that Russell Wilson was playing strictly because, did you see this guy walk out of his house casually, get caught candidly, got into his Rolls Royce in which he almost walked right by? If I had any bet on any preseason game, it would have been immediately on Denver Broncos as soon as this fucking video hit the internet. Go ahead and play that beautiful thing, Emmett McMahon.
First game.
Okay.
Let's go. Broncos country, you already know what it is. Let's ride, baby. Let's go. Can't wait.
Pass your car.
Love you guys.
Over here, Mr. Wilson.
Hey, Russ, we're taking the Bentley today.
Rolls Royce. I don't think it's a Bentley.
He was heading to the Bentley.
By the way, he was heading to, or maybe that truck in the back that he arrived was on the other side. I love Russell Wilson.
So do I.
It's awesome.
All white, like a fucking angel coming down to save the goddamn day. Walking out confidently. He's got a cameraman. He's got a video guy, cameraman in there. Somebody was shutting the back of that truck, the trunk of the thing as well. And somebody had the door open, and he's just heading to a preseason game. As soon as I saw it, I said, it's time to go to work. It is time to go to work. Hey, Broncos country, I can't even see this fucking Rolls Royce I'm supposed to hop in. Let's ride, he said. He was so excited to get there. Then there's clips of him coming out in warm-ups. He's fully suited and booted. He's throwing the ball around saying, there's nothing like game day, baby. I'm like, holy fuck. Russell Wilson's about to hang 50. I put money on the Broncos, because he walked to his car in an incredibly confident fashion. He warmed up a great. He didn't play Dahn.
Didn't play Dahn.
He didn't play a single Dahn. If that's what Russell Wilson's doing for a game he's not playing, I can't wait to see this motherfucker actually saddle that horse. He might show up on an actual horse.
He might.
That first week where he's playing. I love the Broncos all of a sudden, the AFC West that is completely packed. But Russell Wilson is winning me over with every single fucking post he puts on the internet, from wearing his own goddamn jersey, from the Broncos country. Let's ride. Let's ride. Bronco country. That's right. Bronco country.
Let's ride.
I love everything about it. He's a whole new man. Where was this in Seattle? He hated Seattle.
Yeah,
Is that what it was? He hated Seattle?
Yeah, it's not nice weather. It's not for somebody like Russell who's the chosen one. We all know it. But I assume when it does come down to it, when it is real game day in
Why are you
Denver,
calling him the chosen one? What's that all about?
Why am I calling? I mean, he looks like Jesus Christ coming out of his house. That's why I'm calling him the
Did
chosen
you see
one.
that fucking good man brand shirt?
Yeah, he looked awesome.
Yeah, I did. I saw the double V.
Linens. I mean, this guy's legit. But like, he's probably gonna what?
Quick! How many takes though? Because that door closed. And
That's a good point.
How many
He's
takes?
walking out of the door, but the door's not open.
Yeah, what do you mean takes?
So I don't think it was any takes, but I think he did open a very nice door that looks like it's to a vineyard.
Yeah.
Shut that door, and then they had to go.
Russell, we're not ready yet.
Yeah, they had to run around and get him in.
See, I assume he just moves his hand like this, and there's a sensor, and then the door opens. So he just basically opens it with his mind.
Yeah, but I'm talking about how to close that quickly then, because that would have been the fastest closing door of all time. Because there's not even a crack in that door.
Yeah, it senses him leaving.
He could have like shape shifted through the door.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Oh, you think he went underneath it?
Maybe slithered underneath it, popped back up,
Walked right through it.
Yeah,
Doesn't see walls. He just knocks him down.
This guy's awesome.
I love Russell Wilson.
Here's a guy that'll never ever be on this show.
Probably not.
No.
What do you mean?
Never, no chance. Russell Wilson comes on this show.
Doesn't have enough time.
True.
I don't know.
That's why.
I feel like there's a chance that yes, because he's riding all the time.
Say, yeah.
That's
He's
right.
riding and working all the
That's
time, thinking of new ways to motivate the boys. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. He can use a lot of the same stuff I guess he used in Seattle for a long time on this group of guys.
Oh yeah.
But this is a whole new Russell Wilson.
It is.
Yeah.
Whole
It
new
is.
Russell Wilson, and he's the richest owner, 10x. The owner's the richest owner in all of sports. Broncos are about to become the team that are about to be. Jerry Jones had a kind of a grip on that for a long time, and maybe we shouldn't just blame Jerry Jones for that Cowboys-Broncos game, cutting off the Steelers-Seahawks game, preseason game, which was actually good and meaningful happening, and they just go to that. I think it's actually Rob Walton and Russell Wilson saying, hey, we got the big dick now.
That's right.
Could be.
We got the massive hogs in the NFL.
Our league.
The Broncos are about to take everything over, aren't they?
They might. I mean, from everything we've heard about, basically, it's like, hey, if you have enough money just sitting there, like you can do whatever you want to do. And he has 10x, 15x more money than everyone else. Like he can just be like, oh, hey, what do you want, Russ? What do you want today? I'll go get it right fucking now.
Hey,
You name it.
he's sitting in the back of his Rolls Royce thinking to himself, we need another wide receiver, don't we? Yeah. Rob Walton's like, well, we'll just fucking go tell a team. We'll go tell a guy on another team, like, hey, listen, you saw what Stephen Ross was trying to do for like 3 years. Nobody found out. I'm sure that I could just say, hey, Tyreek Hill, you hate Miami, don't you? Yeah. We got $700 million for you, cash over cap, no big deal. Come on over.
About OBJ.
Oh, come on in.
Hey, Buffalo's going to give you $10 million. I'll give you 2 years, $185 million.
They have so much money. Cash over cap is a real thing for them.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson knows it. He knows they're about to go on a run. That's why he's so confident. That's why he's so out there. If he's going to be public like this, he thinks they're going to be good, right?
Yeah.
Because Russell Wilson can't be let's riding in a white angel good man brand suit if he thinks they're going to stink. That AFC West is a problem. They put up that schedule.
Exactly.
That is a tough fucking out. Everybody's got in the AFC, though. It's going to be a tough out for a lot of people. Let's go bounce around the NFL a little bit. Mac Jones keeps a photo of the 47-17 loss to the Buffalo Bills in his locker. This is obviously motivation for him. It's a picture of him with his head down. Head down, walking off in shame. Now, is it a black and white photo?
Maybe.
Is it the worst photo of all time? Is that on purpose? Or do you like what you're seeing out of Mac Jones? Is he not able to get past the things in the past and move on? What's going on?
No, he's not Ryan Tannehill, but I am pumped for Mac
Jesus.
Jones to,
Jesus.
look at that every single day and say, you know what, we're not worried about anything except for one team. That's Buffalo. That's why, some of these other teams in the division, not calling out Miami or New York, but they want to beat the Patriots so bad. It's like, what are we talking about? Just because we won the last 20 years doesn't mean anything for this upcoming year. You got to beat the big bad wolf that's Buffalo now. And it used to be us. That was a good time. But Mac understands, no. It's the Bills. We're not thinking about any other, teams, any other division. We're thinking about beating the Bills when we play the Bills, twice in 1 month. So it's very important that he remembers what that taste of defeat feels like.
Follow up, Mac Jones killing it in 7-on-7, right?
Yeah, he's ripping up 7-on-7, walking down the field with the offense.
And if you looked at a lot of the offense from Hoyer and from Zappi, it's a lot of the quarterback making throws making people open.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times where it's like guys are covered, but it's those back shoulder throws that like Devontae and Aaron were so good at. And I'm not saying there's anybody on the Patriots that are at that level, but that's kind of the style that they're looking for.
A lot on the shoulders of Mac Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Not guys, you're throwing them open more so than them actually having separation. Putting the ball. Where
if you have a guy that can throw darts, though, and you can protect him, which is what they can't do, right? That's
exactly.
The thing.
That's been the trouble is the offensive line.
But if they can keep him up, Bill Belichick, you think what Bill Belichick is thinking is we got a guy that we can make people open if we have to.
His biggest strength, more than anything, aside from being very smart, and it was probably his accuracy. Like he can put the ball basically wherever. And Collinsworth said last year he throws the ball so soft it's like catching a pillow. Think about that.
Well, DBs think the same thing.
That's true.
Other news around the world of football: Jack Collinsworth and Jason Garrett will be calling primetime Notre Dame games this season. Congrats to those boys. Yes. Jason Garrett goes from clapping and smiling on Cowboys sideline to clapping and smiling while losing on Giants sideline. Straight into Football Night in America on Sunday, the biggest show in all of football. And also on Saturdays, he'll be calling the games alongside Chris Collinsworth's son, Jack Collinsworth. I assume that these two have worked together in the past or have been working together and kind of build up chemistry. Should go great. Should be fantastic for the national games every single week. Congrats to both of these fine.
Yeah, nothing like going Tirico and Drew Brees to those two. That'll be
I can't imagine Notre Dame's too juiced.
What are you talking about?
No offense to them, but like Tony said, you go from fucking Tirico and Drew Brees to Jack Collinsworth and Jason Garrett.
Notre Dame might join a conference because of this. Just so that other networks can call their games.
I would like to let everybody know that the opinions of others do not reflect that of their employer or their coworkers on this particular show.
Bring back Tom Hammond and Doug Flutie.
Exactly.
Be sweet.
Jack and Jay? Are you kidding me?
Geniuses.
Jack and Jay has actually got a pretty good ring to it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to erase everything I just said. I'm
Jack
back.
and Jay.
If they refer to it as the booth as Jack and Jay.
Welcome back. It's
I'm
Jack
back.
and Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're talking. Yeah, you're right. I reacted too quickly.
You guys are overreacting to this. How do we know if Jack Collinsworth isn't the next fucking Tirico unless he gets an opportunity to be the next Tirico?
Is
He
his
might
name
be.
Mike Tirico?
His name's
Then
Jack
he ain't the next
Collinsworth. Come on.
fucking Tirico.
You
You,
don't
know
know.
how good Tirico is.
Tirico's super smooth, but at one point, Tirico had to get an opportunity to do a game that actually mattered.
That's fair.
Drew Brees did a couple games that mattered, and they kicked him off TV.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
That happened last year.
Did.
Drew did not deserve that.
No,
I just
he did
seen
not.
his ass on the World Pickleball League. Okay, he was holding up a jersey. He owns a
Pretty
team
good.
over there. They kicked him off of TV. He called a couple games that matter. So now Jack and Jay are getting an opportunity to call very important games every single week, and you never know if you don't know. And now they're going to find out if they know or not.
Yeah, and Jack and Jay sounds like the next Happy Madison Adam Sandler movie, like the documentary with Kevin James about Sean Payton with like Rob Schneider and some other guy about their road to, calling games in the booth for NBC.
Exactly. Jack and Jay are about to become, pillars of Saturday Night Football.
Names on the marquee.
Yes. Congrats to Jack and Jay.
Congrats,
Happy
Jack and Jay.
Quick follow-up. That's a lot of travel. Those dudes are going to be exhausted by the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
Notre Dame games on Saturday, right? Primetime every week?
Sometimes,
Not every
sometimes
week,
3:30,
but
12.
So you got to travel to that game. Then they got Football Night in America on Sunday.
It's a late finish.
And then they do the wrap-up over there. Jack does right on the field with Ronnie,
Yeah.
I guess it's 4 or 5 days. And then you just chill in the other two, I guess.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday.
Excited to see old Clapper on Sunday Night Football. Fucking.
He was good, I thought.
was.
When he did the Hall of Fame game. He needs you to fill a fucking hour. Yeah. And we got a little storm coming through here, brewing. So our kickoff event with new director, new producer, because they went without Michaels right to Amazon.
Yep.
New talent, new host, new everything. And now you got to fill for at least an hour and 10 minutes about a Hall of Fame class that nobody really knows anybody.
Yeah.
And you're at a high school field
Which,
with, what's that?
Dion wasn't too happy with that.
Oh, so yeah, I heard about Dion Sanders talking about that. And I don't think this is the first time Dion's talked about it,
Probably
but it is
not.
the best promo he has cut about it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of conversation about the Hall of Good as opposed to the Hall of Fame. And I don't know if it's necessarily from pundits or from players or from Hall of Famers, but I think this chatter has started to happen a little bit over the last few years from players saying, does that person deserve to be in there? Does that person deserve to be in there? Wait, I played against that person. That person's not in, but this person is in. I mean, that has started to happen amongst Hall of Famers. And Dion Sanders cut a promo like,
Yeah.
He said, my bust is in there at night looking and go, how did he get in here? That is awesome. These Hall of Famers, by the way, these guys make the Hall of Fame, and they're so happy, to be, well, we're part of the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
And then they wake up one morning and Dion Sanders is sitting in his office going, my bust is disgusting. What do they call it? He said, my head. My head is looking over there being disgusted. How did he get in here? What a promo by Dion. And Dion, by the way,
Can do it.
Dion can say whatever the fuck he wants forever. And I don't know if everybody understands that because some people on the internet go, oh, here's Dion grandstanding, blah, blah, blah. It's like, motherfucker hit a dinger in the fucking World Series.
Yeah.
He returned that. He can do and say whatever he wants. But I like the fact that he said, my jacket needs to be a different color then. There needs to be a separation of this whole thing because the Hall of Fame is supposed to be a celebration of the sport, celebration of the league, who has contributions to the league that deserves to be remembered forever and memorialized forever. And there's been a couple people that have got in that have pissed a lot of people off. And the Hall of Fame's got to be happy that's pissed people off because people hold the Hall of Fame in such high regard. But now that Dion, I believe Ray, there's some other guys that are like, we got to get a little bit more picky. What if they do create their own wing of like, all right, here's stalwarts. Here's these people. Here's these contributions to the game. Don't want to forget this guy. But here's the actual guys. And how will that change the entire voting process? I can't wait to watch it unfold.
Yeah, it's tough. Because Dion's just going to continually be, not impressed or not happy because he's one of the 10 greatest guys ever. So it's like
athletes of all time.
Yeah, exactly. Like his scale is obviously much different than a lot of other guys.
Joining us now is a man who might have at least an opinion or two on this entire topic. He was a 9-year NFL vet, played corner, nickel, and safety. A man who'll be joining us all season. Can't wait for that. That should be a blast. Friend of the show, host of the Man to Man podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
Fellas.
How are the Marlins doing? They suck, I assume?
Stink.
Yeah.
What, 50 and actually I saw it on the background of your show. 50 and 65 right now, I think.
There it is, actually.
50 and
Just
65.
Jeter's out of there. So
They're playing Padres there.
Good luck. Well, actually,
Padres lost that guy who was juicing.
Tatis.
He was eating
Come
steroids.
on, Tatis.
And then he came out and lied, right, about what happened.
Yeah,
And-
kind
Yeah, and then the
Marlins
teammates
doing
were
the Cy Young
Ringworm.
today.
Ringworm treatment.
Well, you can't be wrestling on those mats from high school.
That's right.
Come on.
You gotta be getting ringworm. The color looks awesome, though. So great hat. Happy you're putting on for them. We were just chit-chatting about the levels to this shit type conversation that Dion Sanders was having. How great of a promo was that? And do you think if enough guys start chatting, they will change some things up a little bit?
I mean, it's tough to change it up. And it is a small number of guys that have gone in. But if anybody, can talk this shit on the subject, it's obviously Prime. He's put that work in. And I wonder if, I'm sure amongst each other, they look at each other different, if you're first ballot or if you have different distinctions. But somebody going in is pissing him off. But he's been on this hill for some years now. I want to say at least 3-4 years I've been hearing him talk this way. I got a chance, the fortune to get to know Prime coming out of college. I actually trained with him to get ready for the combine, so spent a ton of time with him in Dallas. And he obviously takes great pride in, what he did athletically and what the other guys have done athletically that have entered Canton. So he doesn't want it to be watered down. So I get him. I get where he's coming from. I'm interested to know, what type of guys or what guys specifically that he's speaking on, though.
Yeah, I fear that this conversation really grew louder when Ray Guy got voted in. Punter got voted in. It got real loud. Got real loud. And, Ray Guy changed the game, trailblazer at one position. He's the only punter that's ever gone in. And it feels like after that happened, guys started getting...
So what did Ray Guy do? That was and this is a real question. I don't know. Like why was he? How did he change the game?
I think he was the first guy that started punting like spirals on a very consistent basis, and he had a massive leg. So he was like he became like he was the most consistent, and he had a massive. So he started becoming like an actual game changer, and he was an athlete, So like there's numerous like big time one-handed grabs, and he wasn't just your stereotypical punter, and he had a massive leg and would flip field position for the Raiders.
Okay.
So I think
he deserves it then.
I think so too. Like he was a trailblazer at his position. So like I think that is something that's warranted. But it did get real loud after he went in on like not only from the players, but a lot of media pundits that were like, who deserves to go in there? And everything's comparison too, right? Like AJ says this. AJ goes, yeah, I'm considered a rich person, but you put me next to a billionaire, like they literally piss on me. Like my money.
Oh, it's all relative, yeah.
These Hall of Famers, they hang out with their friends back at home. They're a Hall of Famer. Then they go to Hall of Fame parties, and it's like Dion and them are like, oh, this guy fucking stinks. How's this guy even allowed here? It's a fascinating world. All right, let's bounce around and see who the next Hall of Famer is going to be. Lamar has set the deadline for week 1 for his contract extension. We talked to Ian Rappaport in the last hour. He said that the Ravens, he believes, are certainly willing to pay him more money than Kyler. The internet's reaction to Ian saying that was no shit. He said there's no way, though, that they beat Deshaun Watson's guaranteed deal because Deshaun Watson had more leverage than Lamar Jackson currently has. Deshaun had the entire NFL. There's 4 teams that were bidding for him, so the numbers got run up. Lamar can only negotiate with one team. How do you see this going? And do you think it's inevitable for Lamar to be a Raven forever? Darius Butler.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got to do everything they can to keep him in the building, and obviously he's such a, I mean, he almost does things, too much, the right way. He's showing up for things, not making it, I guess, messy on their end. But this is who Lamar is. And this is obviously what football and, the Ravens mean to him showing up and knowing all this money that's being given out to these quarterbacks. And he's more than earned it. So I think the last time I was on here talking about it, you give him a 4-year, $200 million, fully guaranteed deal. And, he's breaking the averages. He's leading the league in averages, 50 a year. He's not guaranteed up until 230, but he's still over Kyler and it's still all guaranteed. And he's back at the table probably before he's 30 again. So I think you make everybody happy and you handle it before this season kicks off.
And also, it's an easy contract to read through. This is
easy.
Hey, 4 years, 200. All right, here's all the standard bullshit that we're going to talk about. If we fire you, you cannot bury us, okay? We will still pay you. That is in every single contract. You can't do this, you can't do this. We're paying you 4 years, $200 million. Now, the NFL lawyers will lawyer the fuck out of that thing. But if he's representing himself, probably has a lawyer that he'll call to read through it and all that. That's an easy contract to get done. Hey, that's an easy deal to get done. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. How you doing? $200 million, you think they're ready to put that in escrow, though, right? That's what it would have to be? Yeah. $200 million bucks?
Sure, they should. I mean, you look around the league at their quarterback position, so even watching the preseason games, it's half the teams who need a guy. You have one of, guys, I mean, he's shown us already, unanimous MVP. He can go in. Has he done everything that everybody wants? Has he had the Patrick Mahomes start? No, absolutely not. And it's a bunch of room for growth, but that goes for, every quarterback damn near that's in the league outside of probably 3 or 4 of them. So I think you invest that money, not only for that team, but kind of who he is and what he's been in that community, just all around. I see clips from practice and, how the kids interact with him. And just Baltimore needs a Lamar Jackson to be the face of that franchise going forward. Historically, they've been, led by defensive guys, the Ray Lewis's, the Ed Reeds, Suggs of the world. So now you have Lamar Jackson leading them to this next charge, and I think he can get him to a Super Bowl.
I think so, too. I'm a big fan of Lamar. He put on 18 pounds. That scare you or help him?
You know what? I'm sure he put it on the right way, and I doubt he'll lose any speed. But I mean, shit, he was already special. If he feels like he needs to bulk up, maybe to protect himself, as you start to get more and more hits as the season goes on, I'm sure he made this decision. But he was just fine how he was. But 18 pounds of muscle, I don't think that can hurt.
I agree. I enjoy it. If he thinks he's still going to be able to outrun everybody, which, by the way, Lamar has a better feel on that than all of us. I mean, that's something that he would know better than anybody else. He gets a little bit bigger. I don't want him taking more shots.
No.
Like, he should not feel more comfortable taking shots because he has an incredible ability of missing those. You know what I mean? That's what we're
it's hard to get a good lick on him. I mean, as you go into the season, as the season goes on, most people don't end the season weight-wise as, what they started. And hopefully, Greg Roman and offense, they continue to allow him to develop as a passer because the offense, the type of offense that they have, once it really gets to nut-cutting time, it is a simplified offense that you can lock in and take away a lot of the things that they like to do. And now you're in a position where you're going to have to drive down a 2-minute situation. You're going to have to air the ball out, maybe for the whole second half of the fourth quarter. And that offense isn't built scheme-wise and even personnel-wise to do that. So they need to continue to help him in that department and let him grow and evolve as a player. as a passer, because that you're going to have to do that in this league regardless of who you are. You're going to have to pass the ball to win big time games. So I think they need to help him kind of help himself in that department.
Darius, we talk about this, how we'll see somebody do something and we're like, yeah, that might win some games. But at some point when a big game happens, there's going to have to be like a 22-yard out that you're going to have to hit. And you know what I mean? Like, that's real, though. Don't you think? Like, an NFL quarterback, we're talking about Trey Lance, I think, because we're watching Trey Lance do all this shit, and it looks unbelievable. And Shanahan's talking about him. The team's talking about him. They're going to be patient with him. He's got growth. His upside is forever away. I think his ceiling is still forever away because of how young he is. But it's all going to come down. There's going to be a moment where he's going to have to make a fucking throw, and whether he makes it or he doesn't is going to be how he's judged all offseason, right? Don't you think that is kind of how it goes? And whenever it gets to like nut cutting time, you're talking about all these things that are chatted about having to make a throw, We're not talking about during the regular season. Like, there's going to come a time, if you want to get to where you want to go, where the quarterback's going to have to fucking deliver. And I think you know if you got a guy or you don't know if you got a guy, not until that moment comes, D. But don't you think?
I mean, absolutely. We used to have a D coordinator, Greg Manussi, and he'll tell us that Saturdays before the game, hey, this game is going to come down to a 2-minute drive, and most NFL games do. It's not that often where you see teams, running a 4-minute drill. You may see 1, maybe 2 every Sunday, but most of the times your defense either got to get out there and make a stop, or your offense got to push the ball down there and put points, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. And a lot of times that happens before the half too, and people kind of forget about it because it's before the half, but that's what Brady has historically done so great, is right before the half, he's always going to put up 3 or another touchdown and get that ball back to start the second half. But you're going to need that. Am I frozen? You guys are?
No, he's just smiling.
Oh. What in the...
I was trying to freeze alongside.
Pretty good.
Oh, there it is.
Are you back or not?
Yeah,
sure.
I don't believe you guys. I don't fucking believe you.
Hold it in a poop.
We'll call you back. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, though, whenever we talk about some of these young quarterbacks and whether or not we have high optimism for them. It's hard not to be like, yeah, that guy's athletic enough. They'll win some games. They'll win games with them. But when it gets to the playoffs, when everybody knows exactly what you're, this is the Kyler Murray conversation.
Yeah.
This is exactly the Kyler Murray conversation. Whenever it becomes the most important time of the year, when everybody knows exactly what you're going to do, can you make the play or can you not make the play? And I guess in Kyler Murray's situation, do you know what the fuck the other team is doing, like everybody else is? Joining us again, Darius Butler. We're talking. You were giving us. Hey, welcome back. Great to have you.
There it is.
All right, we're back.
It was on both of us. But, like, I think the conversation came up around Kyler. Because, like, at the end of the season, his stats, his everything kind of goes down. When the defense knows exactly what you're going to do, can you make a play? Can you make a throw?
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing that people still question about Lamar, right? Is that warranted, you think, or not?
It's warranted because, you are what you put on film. And like I said, it's not only Lamar, but it's just as much as the system and the guys you have around you.
Yes.
I don't care who you have at quarterback. You got to have guys that can get open and make plays. You look at Brady when he went to Tampa, one of the best receiver corps in the league. Same thing in L.A. With the Rams and Stafford. Same thing with the Bengals who were playing against them in the Super Bowl. Like
Chiefs, too.
Who's that?
Chiefs got a bunch of
you got these weapons. Like that's how the game is ref. That's how the rules are. Everything is to help the passing game. So that's what you're gonna need to win in this game. And like you mentioned earlier, towards the end of the year, the book is kind of out. Like everybody knows, what you do well, what you don't do well. You just have to execute. It's all about executing. It's all about winning these different one-on-one matchups. And as far as Kyler, when I watch him play, special talent. But at quarterback, it's about the other guys being on the same page with you as well. So it's not just about you were a punter, I was a corner. I could just go out there and just lock in. All right, as long as I get my studying in, as long as I do these things and I'm ready to play and make plays when my time comes, I'm good. As a quarterback, you have to go further than that and make sure everybody else is on the same page as well. So that's where Kyler obviously can mature and grow. And then as far as Lamar, I feel like that system and the personnel around him needs to help him kind of show that he can, throw the ball all around the field and make plays when needed.
We're all pumped to watch Lamar continue to evolve. He has been a lightning rod for the league, and I hope he gets all the money he deserves, man. Good luck out there. Now, let's talk about, taking command almost, and leadership is what you're talking about at the quarterback position. Matt Ryan. Hey, Matt Ryan and the Colts took on the Bills. And the goods, the defense got 5 picks. The bads, playing against 2s and 3s, Matt and the boys didn't score a lot of points. There's a lot of that going on. What are your thoughts early on the Colts team that we played for before the boys get their questions in for you? And, Jonathan Taylor, right? No Jonathan Taylor. It's different. We don't got an MVP in the backfield, right?
No JT. It's preseason, so obviously you don't want to, overreact. But we are watching it for a reason. It's like we're getting a good glimpse of practice reps. And like you said, it was our 1s against their 2s. And in the league, you got to beat one-on-one. You got to beat press coverage. That's what most receivers struggle with coming into the league. And we got a young group. We got Pierce. We got Pittman. We got Paris Campbell, who's missed a bunch of time. We're going to depend a lot on, not only them, the tight end room. We got some young tight ends. Mo Alley's still kind of learning football. We got a young rookie. So all those pass catchers are going to have to develop fast and on the fly because you got a 37-year-old quarterback who's going to be in the pocket. And when he gets back to that 5th to that 7th drop, he's going to need you in your spots making plays. It's not, I know people, throwing you open and all this stuff. You got to get open, you got to win, and then you got to catch the ball. And we didn't do a good job of that, but it's early. It's preseason.
We got time.
And thankfully, we got another month before, we kick off the real thing.
We got nothing but time. Matt Ryan's holding everybody accountable.
Yeah, that's right.
We got nothing but time. That was a tough watch. They got nothing but time. You got nothing but time. That was
I saw you try to calm everybody down. You probably was talking to yourself.
Yes.
With that tweet because, it's the first, everybody's been hearing about, Matt Ryan and his leadership, and I've been watching some of the mic'd up stuff and just hearing him talking and pulling the guys to the side and coaching guys up, and that's what you need at that position. That matters. But obviously, you got to win. You got to get open. You got to make catches, and that's something you got to learn. You got to go out there and get jammed up. Elam jammed Pierce up, made a play, and I'm sure Reggie's been talking to him about that. Hey, when we get out there on Sunday, it's going to be a little different. So now they got a little taste of it. Hopefully, continue to improve and learn from it.
Well, Gus Bradley's defense looked good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're flying around. Hey, do you think like Shaquille Leonard's watching this going, I can't wait to get in there? Because he doesn't know Gus, right? He doesn't know Gus. He doesn't know this system, and he hasn't been able to play yet, and there's no timeline, no timetable. But I assume Gus at night is thinking, like, our defense is flying around. We also got Shaq coming back. Yeah, right? That's not ever forgotten, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, and Shaq Leonard, he has a great feel for the game. He gets out there, he's going to make splash, but he's going to get a turnover every Sunday, damn near it seems. And another guy like that, a young guy, Isaiah Rodgers, 34, young kid, Dominique Rodgers, Cromartie cousin. And every time I see 34 on the field, somehow, some way he ends up with the ball in his hand. So we got to find a way to get him on the field. Somehow, some way, because those splash plays, those turnovers make all the difference in the world when it comes to winning big ball games. So I'm definitely excited about this defense. Yannick coming off the edge, another new piece of this defense. So I'm excited about where we're going. We got time. We got time. I'm relaxed, not going to overreact.
Well,
but we need more out of those pass catchers on offense.
I had a terrible time watching that game. I was very excited. We got time. I had a terrible time, but we got time. Who had to pick in the end zone on a 2-point play? In the corner, one-handed. Was that Isaiah?
Oh, I missed that. No, Isaiah picked off like a back shoulder and he scooped up a fumble. I think McLeod had the tip pick. Nick Cross too, rookie out of Maryland 20. He's a ball player too.
Somebody had a one-handed on a 2-point. It didn't count because it's 2-point conversion. Doesn't count as an actual pick, but it was great play. A lot to be excited about. The boys have some questions for you. Darius Butler, go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, D, but you just mentioned the Cross rookie out of the Colts. Is it easier to tell with rookies on how they're going to kind of adapt to the NFL game in preseason, or is that just another thing where you can't really tell until they're going up against the ones?
You could tell. So preseason obviously is very simple from a play calling standpoint. So if you're, even if you can watch the second half of a preseason game and you can kind of tell how well these guys are being coached based off how they're moving. Are they running to the ball? Are they tackling with leverage? Are they communicating pre-snap? And it looks like Cross he's doing all those things. And that's something else you look for from the young guys. Are they doing those things? Because, you get drafted, you get signed, whatever it is, because you have the talent. So the talent is undeniable. Everybody out there is talented. But what's going on between your ears pre-snap? And seeing it from Cross it seems like he has everything together up top, and we know he has the physical tools. And then he's around other good players. You're around Stephon Gilmore. You're around Kenny Moore. You're around guys who played a lot of ball. McLeod's played a lot of ball. Obviously, Shaq Leonard when he gets in there. And Gus Bradley, that's called defense for a long time. I think the sky's the limit for him.
Whenever you talk about rallying to the ball, I think that's what I saw with the Patriots defense. There's like 10 in the frame every single tackle. 10, it was like 10 or 11 in the frame every single tackle. It was like, okay, so they're going to be fine. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what I thought. As soon as I watched it, I'm like, okay, the Patriots are going to be just fine. What do you think about the whole, how it's all kind of unrolling up there? Bill Belichick ain't giving media shit. Matt Patricia says Bill Belichick's the boss. Joe Judge says Bill Belichick's the boss. Ian Rappaport says they're still figuring things out. What do you think about what's going on up there? The narrative is that they stink. I didn't see that at all in the first game, and Mac Jones seems to be very comfortable on the sideline up there.
Yeah, on the sideline, you know, they didn't feel, uncomfortable enough for him to get out there and get reps. So I think they'll be fine. And obviously, I'm gonna trust Bill Belichick's the boss. I'm gonna trust him until proven otherwise. So I think they'll be fine. Is it like an offensive coordinator battle in camp? I don't know. That's interesting. As a quarterback, if you're going back and forth from guys in your ear calling plays, that's wild. But I think Matty P, if Bill Belichick is trusting Matty P to call plays, then I got to trust it too at this point. Now we get to week 8, week 9, and they absolutely stink. Now we got to start talking about, maybe it's time for Bill to do something else. But
Lombo,
right now, we all good. I trust Bill.
Lombo had a great tweet. Michael Lombardi said, it was very obvious that when Hoyer was in, Matt Patricia was in his ear. Yep. Whenever Zappe was in, Joe Judge was in his ear. Not complicated. When Mac plays, I'm sure it'll be something else.
Ooh.
What's that mean? So, but Michael Lombardi,
what does that mean?
Who knows the NFL very well. I believe his son is coaching for the Raiders now, but he was with the Patriots for like 2 decades, that Lombardi family. Rewatching the Patriots game, and it was rather clear that when Hoyer was in the game, Patricia was calling the plays. When Zapper played, it was Judge. Not complicated. When Mac plays, I'm sure it'll be something else. What does that mean, D? But if you had to break down what the wonderful Lombardi just tweeted.
No clue. No clue. But it seems like the guy with the pencil on his ear is going to be the guy. I think Matty P is going to be calling it. And they do, obviously, everybody knows they do a lot of cross-training in New England. You had Nick Caserio on here, GM out of Houston. He talked about all the different things, the different hats that he wore over there in New England. So I think they'll be more than ready. And Mac Jones, he's a smart kid. And at this point in the game, going into your second year, a lot of things should slow down for you. You should have more of a dialogue and more of an input on the game plan that's going in and week out. So once again, I think they'll be fine. It's Bill Belichick running the show, so I'm not worried about. You can't really put Bill's not gonna give you shit. Nobody in the organization gonna give you anything, so we really won't know until the real games start to be played in September.
And Bill's figuring it out. Yeah. And once again, Bill will figure it out. So all these people taking victory laps right now just need to understand that when they lay their little heads on a fucking pillow at night, Bill Belichick isn't. He's wide awake. He's still trying to figure it out. I mean, that is. I was on Get Up there for a bit, on ESPN, and they were asking me about the Patriots, and everybody in the room, producers included, are like, showing signs of weakness, aren't they? I'm like, I'm not saying that on TV.
No way.
I'm not. Are you? You're going to go say Bill Belichick's not going to figure it out? Okay, good luck. Sounds good. Orlovsky comes walking out. They lost it up there. Like he goes out, everybody's doing it. It feels like that is the thing right now. Like, get ahead of it. This is their dying year. You want to look like a genius in November, December when the Patriots are out of contention. Like, now you jump on it. And I'm thinking the complete opposite. Like, Bill is just reading all of this. And he's like, every one of them can go fuck themselves. Like, I'm scared to say anything negative about Bill just because Bill's going to figure it out.
That's a safe bet to make at this point in our lives. The entire time we've been growing up, he's figured it out. He's had it figured out. So I got to bet on him. And it's not like, they're trotting out some bums out there. Like, they got good players on offense, on defense. And Matty P hasn't been an offensive guy in the league. Judge hasn't been an offensive guy in the league. But they've been around great coaches. They've been head coach. They have head coaching experience. So I'm going to trust them at this point. So if I look stupid in November, December because I trusted Bill and staff to figure it out, hey, I'll down that hill. I'm cool with that.
Here. Me too. Yeah. Tell Kofi Kingston that, you fucking asshole. Hey, Kofi, I'm on your side here. Not everybody else. Go ahead, Diggs.
But there was Montana to Rice. There was Aikman to Irvin. There was Brady to Gronk. There was 7 to 84.
There's Peyton to Marv. Peyton to Reg.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Raj to Jordan.
Montana.
Well, those aren't a thing.
Raj to Devontae.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. What about Pickett to Pickens, okay?
Hey, the kid looked comfortable. It's the second half preseason game. Too early to get beside ourselves, but I like Mitch. I think they should just name him the starter. I think he's their best option. Even Mason looked good, honestly.
He did. Mason looked good.
Watch the tape, dude.
Almost fumbled the ball.
But I like Mitch, man. I think you give Mitch that opportunity. But Pickett looked good, man. He's obviously comfortable. That's where he's been. That's where he played his college ball. He's a Pittsburgh guy through and through. And Pickett, George, Steelers never missed on wide receiver draft pick. It doesn't seem like he looks like everything he's been built up to be. AB, Antoine Bethea, obviously my co-host in the Man to Man pod, he actually said he thinks they should go with Pickett. They should just go with the young kid out of the gate. And he's usually with the sit and wait until they're ready. I don't think you go with him out of the gate. I think we go with Mitch. But Pickett's look good, man. You got to be happy with that first round pick as of right now.
Mark Caboli, who's beat writer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, on your side, he said you can rubber stamp Mitchell Trubisky being a starter.
That's right.
You can basically rubber stamp it, he said. And then he took a Rudy sub out of his cargo shorts from 4 hours before that and ate that entire thing. But I think everybody's kind of just understanding that Trubisky's going to start and then Pickett's going to come in at some point. But there couldn't have been a better start for that fucking dude than what happened in preseason game 1 in Acrisure Stadium. And I want to go back to the last play, the game-winning throw. 10 seconds left on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Pickett goes through his reads, throws to that guy. Seattle corner thinks he's making the team because he's shooting on the outside shoulder of the wide receiver. Keep him inbounds, clock keep running. This game's over almost if he makes that play. Instead, guy turns. I don't even know if that wide receiver had any idea what he was doing. I don't know if he knew that there was 10 seconds left or anything. He turns inside, game-winning touchdown. What that could have went very bad. Like decision making that could have went very bad. Instead, it goes great. It's almost like the Yinzer gods are breathing down on him. But
thank you, Marco.
What a game 1 for that guy, and what a touchdown by Pickens. Steelers got to be excited. The Pickens doing that block to that corner. Like now, every corner knows going forward, right, that he's going to do that. Isn't that a thing? You think?
Yeah, that's a tough spot. I think like most corners have got like that because obviously you're a pass defender first, so you kind of everything's backwards. You can't be on your heels. And receivers, especially good blocking receivers, they know when to catch you slipping. I've seen it. Somebody showed me he did it in college too, but obviously he's a strong kid. But that corner, hopefully he's learned his lesson. That was early on. Got him, put him right on his ass. But, I feel like a lot of us has got like that.
Do you think going forward, though, that ain't like Pickens is going to be in for it now every single play, right? That's this is going to happen
Nah. I mean, I think he's going to be a good fucking player. Obviously, but I think he's going to be a good player. But the whole blocking thing, I think probably as he matures in his football career, he's still going to block through the whistle, but nobody's going to be coming at his neck like, oh, this guy, he blocks hard. I'm going to try to do this or do that. Like, nah, he's trying to get open and catch passes. That's what you get paid to do in the National Football League. And then as games go on, receivers and DBs is kind of like, we block, we go through the motions sometimes. And then you got a few guys but he'll learn. He'll be all right.
Hey, neither of us are making a play on this one. Neither of us are making a play. I had a couple of those on kickoffs. A couple of those guys come running up to me. Hey, man, I'm being told to block you. I'm like, all right, no problems. And then the one guy, Dressler against the Broncos. I hit him with a fucking spin move. And because he even gave me like the, hey, I got you. And I'm like, hey, dude, this guy's going to score a fucking touchdown. I'm so sorry. So I kind of felt like I feel like I kind of fucked up the brother-in-law relationship there with him. And on film, it showed up, obviously. But I do appreciate that type of thing. Like, hey, neither of us are making a play. I'm doing what I'm being told to do. You're doing what you're being told to do. Let's just go ahead and get to the next play. That happens in the NFL. There has to be that respect. You see a lot of fights happening, D-Butt. You like that or don't like that going into this season? Is it?
I don't like, when anytime you punch in the helmet, I don't like to see my good players doing that. If it's a little scuffle, a little back and forth, that's cool. That always happens when the pad goes on. But when the pads go on, but it can't be something that gets out of control. It can't be something where guys are actually getting hurt. especially our own guys. Now, you do a joint practice, it's bound to happen every time. Like, and it's most likely going to happen during the special teams period. But you know, I don't. As long as it's a cap put on it, I'm good. But you know, I would always want to have to, you know, tell a guy to, hey, chill out a little bit, than trying to get him riled up. So I don't mind the training camp fights.
I would always
don't break your hand.
I would always try to show my face in those if they were near me.
Yeah.
But
you got to.
Yeah.
You got to.
I have to put the helmet on, show my face. I'll maybe push somebody from the side. But I'll tell you what, there's some people that get in there and they feel like they're going to knock somebody out, I think. And to your point, it's like, are we punching helmet? Like, there are scientists trying to make these helmets better.
Yeah.
Every single day. I don't know if your blank ass right fist is going to get through
Don't
there.
do it.
They're putting
Don't
them in
do it.
car crashes at the moment, but I like the intensity. It means football is back. Last question here for D-Buck. Go ahead, Ty.
And there's a couple rules too with the football fights. Now, obviously, we mentioned the helmets. You always either have your helmet on or put your helmet on.
Always.
When you go in there, you're grabbing a guy. Don't grab your own guy. Grab somebody of the other jersey, because obviously if you're in a scuffle and somebody's pulling you off, you don't know who it is. So grab another guy in the jersey, and you always got to get in the fray. You know, if one of your guys in there, you got to get in there, because they keep those cameras rolling. So everything's evaluated. So if you're over there on the, you know, you're soft ass. We all know that now. So you got to get in there and at least show your face.
I think there was an offensive lineman that actually, I'll say it happened on another team, for sure. A friend of mine told me about a fight happened. Only one offensive lineman was not in the thing. Said offensive lineman was not around literally the next day.
Yeah.
All right, hey, see you later, pal. We already learned enough about you. We don't even need to see. We don't even need to see anything about it. It's good to see those types of things, though. Football's back. Go ahead, Ty.
Debo, you've said many times that in today's NFL, you need at least 6 or 7 guys in the secondary. When you look at some of these games, like the Colts had 5 picks, the Niners, had 3 picks. Like, how much of that is a team showing up their depth in the secondary, and how much of that is just like, oh, the quarterback probably kind of stinks? Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of it right now in the preseason is somebody stinks. You know, somebody's not in the right spot. Maybe you get a batted ball. But, you know, it also shows like teams that preach those things over and over and over, because you do have teams that show up in the top of that list, you know, every year. The Cowboys created a ton of turnovers last year. The Colts did as well. So can they replicate that going forward? The Colts have obviously shown, like, hey, we're punching the ball out. We're doing the tip drill. We're taking advantage of any time you put this ball in danger. So some teams coach that, and then some teams just have the talent and the guys that if they're around the ball, they're probably going to catch it. If it bounces, they're going to pick it up and scoop it. It's just guys out there that are better than that and others. Talked about the young kid, Isaiah Rodgers. He's one of them that's already shown that. Obviously, Darius Leonard has been doing it at a high level for 4 years. Honey Badger, Darius Slay, Xavier Howard, J.C. Jackson. Like, these guys do it year in and year out. So if you have those guys on your team, obviously that's going to help. And then your scheme and guys running to the ball is going to help that out as well.
We can't thank you enough for joining us. You help us out. We'll see you on Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. Hour 2 in 10 minutes. We'll see you then. Goodbye. Hard out. Hit it. Thank you, D-Butt. Whoa. All right. Just play it back.
Yep.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
So thank you, D-Butt. Got on the...
Yes.
Right.
Got on the...
Yeah, so my celebration of hitting the heart out and then that was actually still on. We did right. So we even got a little extra on the heart out, which means that's going to run. There's going to be an email.
Don't matter.
Yeah. Anyways, I love Darius. Talking to Darius, his point of view on everything is just awesome because he's been there, done that with basically everything. The fight stuff is so hilariously real, though.
Whoa.
Every fight that comes out from training camp, most NFL guys are going to be looking around the outside like who did not get in, especially in some positions. Like if an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman get in a fight and not the entire offensive line's in the fight, you got to think to yourself, okay, that's either like top 100 player in the NFL or guy's not going to be on the team. Not going to be on the team tomorrow. It's one or the other. You know, it's kind of how it goes.
Especially now with the helmet pads. It's like, hey, know if you throw a fist, you got a pad on the other side of the helmet. Like, you're going to be okay. Get your fucking ass in there. Why don't guys throw uppercuts?
So, I mean, how easy is it to land an uppercut with fucking shoulder pads?
Oh, yeah, I know. I just
squeeze it between them.
There's just 0% chance out here, but you at least have, 10%?
I mean, there's guys that go for the helmet grab, face mask grab, and then they try.
Yeah.
But, like, hitting an uppercut with shoulder pads that are sitting off a chest, I mean, that's not a lot of room to get in unless you're, like, I guess, like, going up under there.
Precision.
I think I've thrown 2 chop slaps, basically, to somebody, but it's just to a group, basically. And while I'm doing it, fuck off! Yeah. Like I'm making a big mockery out of it. You know what I mean? A big because I would wear a defensive color jersey. Vinatieri would wear offensive color jersey because he's scoring points. I'm starting the defensive series, kickoff and punt. So anytime, those were classic moments, though. My shoes aren't even tied, and there's like a brawl happens right in front of me. It's like, all right, let's go. Helmet on. And then if it's 2 like 3rd stringers, 4th stringers, all right, not getting involved. Never mind. Those guys can get the hell out of here. But you like to see that energy.
Brian looks great on film, too.
Love it.
Oh, yeah, showing face. Yeah, and then there's normally...
Look at McAfee. Look at McAfee here.
So when me and Bart Scott got into it on the field, that was a hilarious... What's going on here? Why is this happening? And then Ryan Deem, who's like 6'5", 6'6", he came over and like reached, because they all felt obligated. They're dead tired, by the way. Just got done with a touchdown. It was 4th quarter, I think, at the time. I don't remember, late in the game. They're dead tired, these guys. And then they got me barking at Bart Scott or whatever. That guy had me so pissed. Get the fuck off the field. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back in the next hour. A lot of phone calls, a lot of updates on stuff.
Yep.
As things are coming in, that should be a blast. I think the big thing about today is we're releasing our first footage video.
Here we go.
Awesome.
We're going to think about doing it during the show. We're not going to roll the dice during the show.
Okay.
Smart.
Because the whole process of getting the footage over to us, cutting the footage, putting the footage on, we're going to have to figure that out going into the season.
Yeah. Preseason for us, too.
Yeah,
Preseason for us, too.
Figuring it
But
out.
first one, we need not just to stumble out of the gates.
No.
Very thankful for that footage deal.
I have to hit it.
Footage deal.
Yes.
Footage.
Yeah. Nope. Game.
Not game rates.
Much different.
It is.
Footage.
I guess it is.
Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah. Going forward, we will jot that down.
Yeah. That's right.
And also, for the announcement, probably should have got the proper wording. That's on me.
Yeah.
You got excited.
Whatever.
We got more announcements coming, though, by the way.
Ooh.
Pretty big ones.
Really?
I mean, getting NFL rights is a big fucking
was
deal.
gonna say.
Huge.
But we got some big stuff coming, hopefully. And hopefully this year's show will be, better than ever. I think so, yeah. Nothing needs to be announced right now.
Okay.
All right.
I was thinking about just,
Sure.
But every time I do that, I feel like I'm not doing it enough justice for whatever.
The value of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
In due time.
It's hard for me because right now a lot of things have just been sitting in here, especially with the NFL thing and the Omaha thing, and then there's other things.
Right.
It's like it's hard not to just be like with our people that watch and listen, like, hey, listen, this is also coming because of how cool you are. But we got to do it justice.
Yeah, still got plenty
Well, now
of
they
time.
know something's coming.
Something's coming.
Yeah.
Something's coming. It's pretty big. All right, we're back in about 5 minutes. I'm going to go take a piss. Also, it's daddy daycare, so I'm going to go check the cameras at the house and make sure no animals died.
Good man.
Because can't die on my watch.
No.
Right. All right, back in 5. Cheers. I was a man who got to experience that at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Got to experience it in the NFL. Now he's on television. He's this man's brother-in-law. He's obviously incredibly handsome. Ladies and gentlemen, Brady Quinn. Yay! Holy hell. Jesus. You look like that all the time.
I don't know if you guys can see what's behind me. I think AJ might be more familiar with this picture. So hopefully AJ can elaborate or add some context to all of
Is
this.
that Chopper up over your left
That's
ear?
Chopper. Yeah, that's Chopper.
AJ, what?
How'd you get that in your background?
What happened here? So,
Well, this is a golf cart submerged.
why are you fully dressed underwater?
Thank you, Brady. Okay. Brady, I mean, yeah, you gotta. I guess we have to mention it, Brady. This is Pat. You know, this golf cart, the e-brake just didn't work on me. I was parking close to the green. I rode that joker right into the pond because it took a hard right turn. This is like 12 years ago. I jumped in instantly. Oz is the other guy looking for his cigs. That was no help. And then Brady and Chopper were in my group. They came up about 10 seconds later, and they both just dove in instantly and started helping. Yeah.
So you, hold on,
We
Brady.
did not finish our round.
You You drove this cart directly into this pond.
Well,
You are a fucking menace behind the wheel, AJ. You drive with both feet. You sleep. Your hands are all deformed because of your broken fingers. You're driving golf carts into ponds. Straight up. Are you blacked out drunk in this thing?
No, I wish I was. That's the problem. I was not.
Sober.
Oh my God.
This guy. I was trying to get there.
Brady, how do you let this guy marry your sister? How do you let this guy marry your sister, Brady?
Let me add some more context to all of this, okay? This is at Rattlesnake Ridge. This was the first year, our first fundraiser for my foundation, the Third and Goal Foundation, which helps support wounded vets. So
Great
AJ
cause.
was kind enough to come out and obviously support the cause. Now, I guarantee you he was not sober for this because we actually took a party bus to Rattlesnake Ridge.
Oh, AJ, boozing and driving.
No one was sober at this thing.
What I'm saying is, I played many times with many more drinks in me and didn't wreck a cart, is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
All right. Chopper hopping in there, though. Is he scuba diving?
Well, he dove to the bottom and grabbed some clubs.
He did. He said all you had to do was open your eyes in that murky water and you can find whatever you need to down there. All those eyes were burning afterwards.
You know what my life consisted of yesterday after that game ended?
What's that?
Bunch of fucking clown emojis with mustaches burying me.
Oh, no.
I mean, burying. There's a bunch of, it was nonstop, same emoji. Sorry, last one. Maybe, says Penny Stotts. Just fire, Balky. There's another one. I'm here for this douche's meltdown's a clown. Teal Tomahawk. And then Clown, back and put respect on Jag's name when you talk about, because they're Colts kryptonite since the top 3 quarterback retired. AKA, man, y'all motherfuckers got the first pick in the draft again. Ain't nobody putting respect on you. You're not putting respect on your teams. Have you got a clown as your fucking emoji? But this is what I actually kiss our teal asses. Good morning, Pat McAfee Show. Just a reminder the Colts will not be in the playoffs. Matt Hole!
Come on, Matt.
This team has not been in the playoffs.
Come on.
And he is just and right in sending this to me. This clown is right.
Uh-huh.
Because what happened yesterday, after that game yesterday, and then it's not just.
My
By the way, it's
God.
not just clowns on the internet around Clown Town, Duval County.
Holy
Okay,
shit.
this whole thing has kind of crept into our group text messages.
Absolutely.
So our group text messages this morning, as we're getting ready for the show, lots happening. You know, a lot of coaches were fired.
Yeah.
Flores, he won 8 of the last 9 games. See you later. Nagy, Zimmer, Fangio. I'm talking, there's a lot of big time news happening around the NFL that maybe we could talk about instead of the Colts thing, but no. Even in the group text, they just sent this over like 20 minutes ago. A perfect QBR, 100.
Okay.
Average QBR, 50.
Makes sense.
So it's not like grades. Average would be 70s,
Right.
70s or whatever. In the NFL quarterback QBR, 50 is the average. In a play-in game, okay, which I didn't know it was. I assumed they did.
Yeah, I would guess they did. Maybe.
And last week, by the way, against the Raiders was as well, I guess.
Right.
I mean, and how's your family? What a fucking win. We will talk about that.
Yeah.
Because Staley's ended up on the side of a stat that isn't that great, but it'll be ignored because the greater stats say something different. Whatever. Stat that. That was actual. They're not like your bullshit.
Well, I still think mine are.
In a playing game against the worst team in football, number 1 pick again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Carson Wentz posted a QBR of 4.4. What are we doing?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3, Monday, August 15th, 2022. Shall commence immediately following his beat drop from a man named Twine. Bang.
Here we go, Atta Baby.
That was it. Here we go. Atta Baby to the boys. The Talks Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. You boys have done fantastic on this Monday.
Thanks, Pat. You know, it's easy when football's back, isn't it?
Bingo.
It is. We got a massive week ahead of us, don't we, Ty?
Yes, we do.
Huge.
Yes, we do.
It's a shame we're taking the show on the road on Wednesday because just next door something came in today.
Oh,
What?
my God. I know. Best coffee shop on the planet.
What?
No way.
Yeah. I don't know what the name is. What is the name of it?
Quills.
Quills.
Quills Coffee, right here, downtown Indianapolis. They have 4 in other states. It's the first one in Indiana.
Whoa.
Just opened today. Place was fantastic.
Yeah,
Sounds
best
delicious.
cold brew I've ever had.
Holy
Ever.
shit.
It was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. If I was living around here, I would fucking get in my car and bust my ass to Quills right this second, right
Quite
now.
endorsement.
It's
I'm pissed I
good.
didn't get one now.
Yeah, I know. After the show, we might have to head over there and I
How
didn't
was the
get.
milk selections?
I've never heard you this passionate about
Oh,
it.
it was
Ever.
delicious. It was
Guys all
so
hopped
good.
up on coffee?
It was so good. It was, and I needed a coffee today. Bad.
There you go.
They got some good baked goods there
They
as well.
do.
What?
It was a raspberry scone. I didn't get to try it, but it looked delicious.
Scones?
It did.
They
Yeah.
have muffins and everything.
Oh yeah, they got it all. They got it all.
Breakfast sandwiches?
It's our first day. I don't know about breakfast sandwiches. It was our first day open. We went over there. The people working. Maybe the most hipster place I've ever walked into in my entire
It's
life.
up there.
Perfect.
Great service, great coffee. Very appreciative of it being there. I've never felt more out of place than walking into a
Oh
place.
God, I know.
Why?
Well, anytime you talk to the barista, if you will,
Yeah.
and you have to say what
Yeah, we're talking quite.
8 times in a row.
We were way too. I mean, I ordered something and then I was asked a question in response to what I ordered.
Sure.
And I assumed it was a very normal, reasonable question. But I couldn't hear a fucking word the person was saying. So I said, what? I said, what? 3 times I said, what in this person's face. And then once I got the cold brew, he was asking me if I want a room.
Yeah,
for,
do you want room for like cream?
Really, you want a room? He said, and I couldn't hear him. So I'm like, what? And it's echoing through this place. I look around, all the hipsters are staring at me like I'm some doofus. I am, by the way. But then I had that cold brew. I put a little half and half milk in there.
Right.
Oh, my. It was so good. It was delicious. It honestly was. It was delicious.
People like working, or is there music playing? Is it kind of like a party scene?
Why didn't you stop
Why'd
over
you
there?
go? Oh, I was taking a wet dump. It was bad. It was so gross, but I had to do it. So I'm
So that's what I'm
fortunate.
saying. Your answer right there was disgusting.
Yeah.
That should not be on our microphones. But that crowd, vastly different than us going in. I'll go over there every day, though.
Every day.
Hell yeah.
That cold brew was
Have to.
delicious.
Okay.
It was so good, and I do need to try the food. I do.
Let's go.
We need to speak a little louder, though. I think do we need to speak
Well,
louder?
I spoke pretty clearly when I was, so I don't think it's that. I think they either need to turn the music down just a hair, or that guy needs to just speak up a little bit, because he did. I mean,
It was a scene.
the exact
What?
same thing happened to me, and then you came up maybe 15 seconds later, and I was like, okay, it won't. And then the exact same thing happened. I was like, okay, nope. Pat had to say what 8 times as well.
My voice carries a little bit, too, and it was a little bit of a tighter thing. So I think it maybe came off as me yelling at this guy.
I was like, yeah, this guy probably thinks I'm an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. But not just him. Everybody in this
Right.
brand new coffee place probably thinks I'm an asshole. I can't hear a word this guy's saying. First time, what? Said it again. What?
What?
And then that goes
You
off.
want a room for-
And then it's hard not to go, what?
Yeah, it is.
And,
It is.
and in that particular, anyways, there's a new coffee shop here. Congrats on getting off.
They should get that. You know, like the movie theaters, they have like that speaker and they have like the screen there. They should do that.
Oh, like extra pickles.
Yeah, so it's just going to you though.
Yeah, that'd be something to think about. And it's very nice, very clean, very nice, very new. Excited that it's here. It's a shame we're moving out.
I know.
It's a bummer.
Because now there's actually something half a block away that we could have went to and got
Yeah.
something, but now it's now we're moving up to the Thunderdome, which has a lot of little pieces that need to be finished.
I was going to say, it feels like we still got a lot of time with the coffee shop.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it seems like every day that passes, we got more time with the coffee shop than the Thunderdome. And AJ took a shot at us. What was that? A year ago, he said, "So you're saying you're going to be in by football season next year?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
AJ.
What are we even talking about? Well, with lead time, manpower, and everything like that. I think it's going to be close. How many days we got till football?
We only have 24 days till NFL football.
All right, so it's going to be close.
3 weeks.
So we got 3 weeks of this new coffee shop, and that's what we're going to say. That's what
right.
we're going to go by until 3 weeks from now. Whenever it's like, I got 2 more weeks, we got 3 more weeks. Playoff, we'll be in the Thunderdome.
Man, it's like that?
So, for a large portion, and I said large interestingly there, large portion of this construction,
Yes.
I've tried to stay away from it.
Sure.
Makes sense.
I've tried my best to stay away from it. CFO Phil's in the meetings, old Tim's in the meetings. I've tried to stay away from it just because I feel like that was an added thing into my life that I did not want to deal with.
Sure.
I knew there was going to be a lot of questions. I knew there was going to be a lot of hiccups. There's going to be decisions that are going to have to be made that some back-end decision that I don't need to add to my life. I wear basically the same clothes every single day, aside from this new sleeveless hoodie you got from the people Unreal Thielen sent to me, basically to the people Unreal. They have sweet hoodies. I mean, this thing is very, very sweet. Yeah. I did not put this on here, Rich. Do not sue me.
Please, not a segment.
No, we are not selling. This is not a segment. This is not we are not doing that. So I try not to make as many decisions throughout the day because I would like to continue to be a positive person as opposed to get bogged down in the bullshit.
Exactly.
So I appreciate CFO Phil and Tim being a part of that. So I've gone in a few times throughout, and checked in. These last few times I've gone in, haven't seen a lot of, I go in, 1 week later I go, seems to be about the same. Go in the same, seems to be. But they're doing all the finishing touches on things, so it's going to be a, we're on the half-yard line, they say. But that half-yard line can be tough if you got a fucking good defense there.
Yeah.
Goal line D is just as important as goal line O. Feels like there's a lot of things standing in our way, but we're going to punch it in. We're going to punch it.
Okay.
We're going to punch
So
it in.
that's good news. Then it feels like
Sounds
you might
like
be
it.
there. Isn't there a clock? I thought they had a countdown clock.
It was
on.
clock. That thing has been suspiciously absent the last couple times I looked at
Shut it
it.
off.
Well, I think they might have just accidentally covered it with a wall that they put up or something.
Son of a bitch.
But I'm sure they're going to get the hang of it. I guess there's an electrician crew in there that's just fucking molasses.
Well, it's
Can't
tough
have
with
that.
electricity.
Yeah, I mean, well, the electricity is not the problem. There is electricity there. I guess the people that are wiring it are taking their sweet ass time and holding it over everybody's head. Because guess what? Very dangerous. They're wiring electricity.
True.
But it's just been quite a process with the electricians, from what I've been told, from the outside looking in, I guess. But anyways, we should be in there, no problem. Well, let's make sure we take advantage of this coffee shop.
We need to.
Every single
we
day.
need to.
Weekends included.
Can we get an almond milk in there, though? I'm a little bit of keto, only had the half and half there.
Well, maybe.
I was just gonna say a couple options would be nice.
Well, it's first
What?
day. First day.
It is first day.
Might be a bring your own milk sort of situation.
Beyond. Listen, I've heard about a couple Beyonds.
Beyond. Yeah.
And if that place is Beyond, that makes it even cooler. It is so nice in there.
It is.
So nice.
It is spacious, big.
Couple options. Are you trying to tell me there's only one option for milk there?
Well, it was. No, we probably did it wrong.
Technically, half.
To be clear, we couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, he didn't offer many.
We couldn't hear anything, but the fucking shit was good.
Yeah, it was.
So they say, hey, you'll use this milk because this is how it tastes, I think. But also, day one.
Day one.
Tomorrow, I'm going in. I'm going to over.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Oh, maybe that's why.
I'm returning fire back to old buddy there. He looked so cool. This guy had this long ass hair.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He looked so good.
Nose ring, bold nose ring.
They have maybe the coolest Harley out front. The guy that runs the place has the coolest Harley of all time. New neighbors. This is sweet.
New neighbors.
Yeah,
We
bummer.
need to celebrate this. What do you mean bummer?
Bummer we have to leave so soon. I mean,
We don't have to leave. We'll probably end up staying here, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
okay, perfect.
Do they get the same power as we get? Because that coffee's going to get cold.
Yeah.
No,
that's
no.
a good point.
Power goes out of
Sometimes
No.
they do, sometimes they do.
Yeah, they have the power that works even when the rest of the building is working.
Well, that's good negotiating from them.
Yeah, smart. Got to keep the cold brew cold, you know.
Happy about that thing, though, being there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Our communication skills got to get better.
I suppose.
Maybe they have very good hearing. When you speak too loud, it's too much for their hearing.
Dude, I felt like such an asshole. What? But echoes, off wall, off front glass. People turn and look.
Jesus Christ.
There's a fucking doofus in a sleeveless.
How's he yelling?
And there's obviously one person in there that knows who we are, so they got to witness the entire experience. They're like, oh, these guys are like this all day.
McAfee's an asshole.
These guys are fucking.
My God.
Oh, well, it was great coffee. We appreciate it. We're very thankful they're here. Hopefully, have nothing but success. Speaking of success, it feels as if Joe Burrow's appendix has been successfully taken out of his body and appendicitis has been beat. Joey Burrow from the Super Bowl contending Cincinnati Bengals back at practice, looking good. Stadium sponsored, indoor facilities being built. AFC North fan. 10 Diggs, you scared to death about what the Bengals are about to do? A lot of noise in Baltimore, a lot of noise in Pittsburgh, tons of noise in Cleveland. Cincinnati kind of flying under the radar while they practice underneath the highway that they normally practice there for preseason. Your thoughts, 10 Diggs?
4 teams in that division. I root for one of them. 2 don't scare me. That one does. Bengals do scare me, okay? That's the one team in that division.
Quick math take from the Cowboy.
Yeah. I didn't subtract or anything. I was just stating facts.
Half of them don't matter, he said.
Oh.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Browns are the Browns.
Talented roster. Jacoby Brissett, they like him. They could go on a run. Ravens, Lamar Jackson says week 1 is going to be when this deal is going to get done, or there's going to be no deal that's going to get done. You're going to be forced to franchise tag me. Next year or next offseason, maybe we're able to negotiate a little bit. You don't think the Ravens are going to be a problem? Ravens are going to be problematic.
For as great as Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are, and the respect that I have for that organization, because Steelers-Ravens, a lot of respect there.
We do not fear the Ravens. We respect them.
We do not fear them, though, because we have played very, very well against Lamar Jackson. He has not played very well against the Steelers. So that we have not played well against Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has fucking torched them. So I'm not scared of Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow, very scared of.
Joe Burrow's all the way back, by the way. So I guess he led the team in 7-on-7 for the 1s and the 2s. Had a couple good deep balls.
A couple times.
Fresh out of appendicitis. He was obviously running gassers on a golf cart a week ago. Now he's back on the field. That's going to be a problematic team for anybody. Going to be a tough out, especially now that the Bengals are running like a business, which is crazy to think about. This is a whole new era.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does kind of seem like, I mean, it's not like, but they're in the window right now because we talk about a bunch of these other guys who eventually are going to get paid because of how good their offense is. Like, they're not going to have this core group together forever. So they really do, they're going to strike while the iron's hot.
As they should. They're going to have to generate a lot of cash to keep Joey Burrow around. But Joey Burrow's going to stick around.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you wonder if they pay him a little early just because they know that they have that, $30 million Chase deal coming around the corner as well.
Well, they're going to have to get cash, right, to get cash over cap to be able to pay Burrow. That's why they're getting Paycor Stadium sponsorship. They're building an indoor facility, which they can also get sponsored. I think they're trying to sell some merch, too.
Yeah.
I think they're even thinking about selling merch.
Really?
What?
Hey.
Yeah.
Why?
I think so. What are you talking about?
What, Bengals selling merch again? What are they
Law
changing their
merch. What are you
philosophy?
talking about? Yeah, well, they are. They're becoming a business here in 2022, and they need to because that team can go. There's not a lot of teams that can go. They've already proved they can go. Just one play away. Joe Burrow gets, what, an extra second or two? That's a deep ball to chase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
Super Bowl
curtains for
championship.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Or, he runs for a first down and hits his rushing over.
And we hit for $5 million against FanDuel.
5.
Is that what it was?
40.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was,
45 million.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Son of a bitch.
Come on, Joe. Maybe he had appendicitis in the Super Bowl. We don't know.
I mean, it's Aaron
Possible.
Donald's fault.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's the absolute guy. Ring me. He said he got his ring. Let's move around. Highest attendance percentage for home and away games have come out.
Okay.
The team that's at the top of this is going to surprise a lot of people, I believe.
Yeah.
This particular attendance percentage takes into account not only your home games, but also your away games. How big of a draw are you on the road and at home? How passionate and loyal are your fans? Cleveland Browns, 99.2% sellout coming up on a season. Patriots, 98.5%. Rams, 98.1%. Dolphins, 97.6%, or 92, 97?
97, yeah.
And then 97.5 Ravens, Chiefs, Bears selling tickets. Hey, none of the ticket money goes to the grass in Soldier Field.
Damn you, Elton
None
John.
of the money goes towards anything. They got to figure it out. The Broncos, the Vikings, and the Colts round out the top 10 for highest attendance percentage from NFL Fox account. That means something, right? Browns fans are how are the Packers not on?
That's what I was wondering.
Well,
I have no
when
idea.
you see the Dolphins and the Bears up this, where did this come from? Tickets?
What do you mean?
FakeTickets.com?
Oh, so you're saying Fox NFL thing got this wrong? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean,
Packers sell out everywhere, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very hard to get a ticket to Packers games.
That was the thing with the Steelers against the Chargers when they were playing at the StubHub Stadium, is that the Steelers packed it out.
no offense to the Bears. When they are good, Chicago shows up, but I don't assume there's a lot of Bears fans going to
Yeah, Steelers aren't on here, huh? Browns number one. What's that all about?
Well, a lot of people will like to hate watch things, so.
Yeah.
You sick fuck. You sick fuck. That was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not stopping either.
That's going to slow down. That's coming from Jacksonville, whose coach did what the coach did last year.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot worse.
You know what I mean? I mean,
I think
Jackson.
that was probably pretty tame for what we're going to see this year.
Oh, that was nowhere near a sellout.
No.
Jacksonville Jaguars fans aren't expecting their team to be great.
No.
They just wanted to let Deshaun know, hey, we don't appreciate what you've done to our society at all.
No.
Also let them know, hey, get ready. because this is exactly what it's going to be like for the rest of your career.
Melvin Gordon had a phone in his sock that was being reported as a pad because he had a bruised foot in practice.
Yep.
This obviously caused quite a stir because a local reporter, I believe his name was Aaron Anderson, spelled Arran, local reporter. He tweets, Melvin Gordon working out with a pad on his right foot. The Broncos running back is dealing with a foot contusion. I guess the foot contusion is a real thing. He had a bruised foot, but he was working out with his phone in his pocket. And Melvin Gordon, all of a sudden on his flash, says, haha, that's my cell phone, sir. What a moment. A lot of people burying media as a whole with this tweet. I think this kind of opened the floodgates for it, saying media is always right, always right. I just like the fact that Melvin Gordon said something that would probably not be as appreciated by fans as you would expect. Yeah, I'm actually working out with my phone there. I need to check my text, tweets, music, everything like that. That's not a pad for my foot contusion, you idiot. And this is a problem with people just assuming stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this needs to stop everywhere. People need to stop assuming things because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and your tweet. That's what they say. Go ahead, Ty, your thoughts on Melvin Gordon having to protect or kind of correct this local reporter, assuming that his injury was so bad he had something all the way up on his fucking ankle?
Yeah, you love to see it. And also, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's like, well, he has a foot contusion. Why is he wearing a pad on like he has a high ankle sprain? Like, that didn't really make much sense. I mean, granted, when I looked at it, I guess you can't really, once you see that it's a cell phone, it's like, oh, that makes sense. But I suppose you could see, like, oh, he's wearing a little Mueller shin pad.
Aaron Anderson was just trying to give his followers a little bit of an inside scoop.
Sure. Yep.
He had access to the field for warm-ups. He's just trying to give people a glimpse. And his mentions became pretty toxic, guys.
Yeah?
He actually had a follow-up tweet going, ooh, ouch, my mentions is what he said. Turns out it was just a phone, not a pad for his bruised foot or whatever. So, Aaron Anderson, you'll live to see another day. I like that Melvin Gordon corrected him, though.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately for Aaron Anderson, he will live to see another day, but that just cost him feel the beat. Sorry, Aaron. Never talking to you, pal.
Maybe he should come on. Wow. No, why would we do that? Well, then we ruin Feel the Beat.
Exactly. He is reporting, false narratives. We can't have that on Feel the Beat.
No. It's a pad on his foot. It's a pad.
What's he up to?
Well, football season started.
Yeah, true.
So we don't really care. But
you always care.
We are so broke. I tried to fit it in on SmackDown the other night. Didn't want to do it. I did say something on SmackDown. Oh, I said Soccer Lombardi. Because we're less than 100 days away from the World Cup.
Whoa.
Didn't get as big of a drawback as I thought we were going to get. I was excited to drop that. Michael Cole said, you won't read this? And I said, what is it? He goes, World Cup. I go, Soccer Lombardi? And he goes, don't say that. All right, I won't. And then I read that thing, exactly how they had it. And then I couldn't wait to drop Soccer Lombardi. Cole has his mic muted, laughing, howling back and forth. And then we just dive right back into the show. And he goes, somebody's going to say something about that. And nobody did, I think, at this point.
Oh, there you go.
So it's pretty nice just go on somebody's air, say whatever I want, and then just kind of dip out for at least a week. And then hear about it. I'll be in Canada. New country, new rules. I don't have to hear about it.
Yeah, and their team doesn't even want to play because they won't pay them.
Oh, yeah, because the Canadian soccer team makes it for the first time in like 50 years or something.
Yeah. I'm sure you won't say anything to piss off the Canadians either.
Love Canada.
I'm going in or what? I got to wear a fucking mask, right? The whole way around there? I'm going to do the whole thing?
Is Powell going to be there?
You do?
Huh?
Is Powell going to be there?
I think it's on the other side of Canada. I mean, Gumpy doesn't know that.
True.
Gumpy has no idea where it is.
2-hour flight, Powell.
I was going to say, from talking to him, I thought that Montreal was like right next to where he lived. It is on the other side of the country.
Montreal, not as close to Indiana as I thought, by the way, learning the distance that I will have to travel on Friday. It is a little bit of a haul.
Yeah.
I thought it was above Detroit. That's like Windsor area. It's not.
Turns out.
It's over there. It is right. Montreal is way right over there. It's going to be a little
Vermont.
bit of a fly, a little bit of a trip. Gumpy's driving. Yeah, I think Gumpy's going to be driving.
Nice.
Yeah, he's going to make the
Perfect.
trip.
Hopefully he leaves now.
Well, in his head, it's an hour and a half drive.
Well,
Gumpy, we miss you, pal.
Miss you, pal. Love you.
Packers have lifted 3 dudes off the PUP. The physically unable to perform list is a list that NFL teams utilize whenever somebody is wanted on the team, but they don't want to count them into the roster because they're coming back from an injury. We'll put them on the PUP. Used to mean at least 6 weeks if you went on the PUP. IR, something different. That's all changed through COVID and through evolution of sport. 3 guys have been lifted off the PUP. That's Elton Jenkins, guard, big deal. He was practicing a right tackle, though, I guess, is what we saw clips. Big Bob Tunyon, obviously off the bus. He's a tight end, a stud. He is coming off PUP. And Christian Watson, rookie wide receiver, getting a chance to kind of make a debut off PUP. Not off the PUP list, Dave Bakhtiari.
What?
I seen a picture of him walking through the desert.
Yeah, in Zambia, in Africa.
This past off season.
Horse with no name.
Well, he's just walking. He
Yeah.
wasn't riding. He was just walking. Saw him post that. Looked beautiful. Sounds like nobody's concerned about Bakhtiari really out of the Green Bay Packers stuff, but him not being off the PUP list here whenever they're lifting other people has to concern you a little bit. That's like one of the best tackles in all of NFL. Haven't seen him all last year. Now we're going into this season. Are you just being precautious, Ty?
I mean, I guess, but yeah,
Alarming.
It's hard when you're just continuing. Like, that's kind of why I framed it in my head. Like, okay, well, no big deal. He's not playing. No one else there seems concerned. But I feel like it's also one of those things where, like, last year Packers fans thought he was going to come back and be good, by, like, Rap Sheet alluded to it this morning. He said, like, around week 13, it was basically like, yeah, he'll be back week 15 or whatever. He's going to be back and healthy for the stretch run. He plays that Detroit game and then whatever, tweaks it, has a bunch of fluid in his knee, doesn't play in the playoffs, and it showed up huge in the playoffs. Like, they needed him really bad, and it was a big reason why, the offense wasn't able to really have any success in the game against the 49ers. So you have to worry about it. But, I mean, I guess at this point, it's if no one else is worried about it, then what can you do? But yeah, you hope that he's good to go week 1. And if he's not, is this the kind of thing where he doesn't trust it, and it turns into kind of something that lingers for the rest of the season?
So I wonder if it is a mental block right now or a physical block. We haven't been told much. If it's a mental block, don't go fly down to Amazon.
Yeah,
Seriously.
easy. In and
Not
out.
a bad idea.
Just do a little ayahuasca. Come back on the other side. You won't even care about
Get
the
this
knee.
demon out of my knee.
Wonder
Absolutely.
do you think that's Aaron's gift to the linemen this year? Is an ayahuasca trip?
Maybe they're doing it in the locker room.
That'd be cool.
Dim the lights. We're bringing in a shaman who's going to guide us through this whole thing.
Old school smoke house.
Yeah, a little smoke this place out. I think you drink it though. I believe it's
Old school drink house.
good. Everybody needs a puke bucket. I do believe because you puke.
Definitely do.
We're all going to be different men on the other side of this thing.
Oh,
though.
so was this part of Concha Parma?
Pancha Karma, different animal. I think that's a diet.
That's
I think
cleanse.
Pancha Karma
Right.
is a cleanse, a diet.
Puking still though.
Ayahuasca is a spiritual journey.
Aaron did a lot of puking this summer.
For good though, not for
Not bad.
not for bad.
For help.
He was puking, rallying through life better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, That's yeah. right.
Not just puking from sickness and then rallying back, drinking a few beers.
Yeah, no, not hungover puking.
Well,
No. Well,
Probably could.
no. I don't think so. I think it's a thick paste that you drink. I'm not sure.
Like Elmer's?
Yeah, like Max Player now.
All right.
Jeez Louise.
Golly.
I mean, hey, look.
Let's get to a break.
I'm not the one sending it over there.
That was disgusting.
Unbelievable.
What?
There's no reason to put a name on the glue, dude.
Well, we
It's
have
Elmer's.
the name.
Elmer's.
Yeah. By way of Max Player.
Well, former horse who ran great.
He did.
Guy came in third in Belmont.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Pretty good.
They'll always have that. They'll also have paste to, for art projects.
Let's have a moment of silence for Max Blair.
Okay.
Please. This horse had a hell of a run. One of its owners here in the office. The owners decided to do what was best for business, not for the horse, and the fucking horse got ran out. Now the horse is gluing stuff together.
Love you, Max Player.
Thank you, Max.
Miss you, Max.
Miss you.
Former owner Max Blair is
Yeah.
chuckling to himself. Hope you're happy about it.
Well, he was the one who basically said, yeah, get this thing to donate its seed and then shoot it in the head. It's done.
Yeah, we'll take a couple cum shots and then let's fucking put this thing to bed.
This song's called Put 'Em Down.
Boom.
Wow.
Perfect. Poetic justice, if you will.
You're a bad guy, Bruce.
You are.
Bad guy.
Bruce did vote against all the bad stuff, though.
He did.
said.
I heard he was the one who pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
No. The complete opposite, I'm saying.
Oh, really?
From what I was told.
Oh, okay. Well, we might be having...
Like Old Yeller?
Well, yeah. I heard Bruce was the one who said, listen, I'll be the guy.
Look at the rabbits, Max Player.
That's not what I heard. Bruce, you're not the one that killed Max Blair, right? That wasn't you. You voted against killing Max Blair. Thank you, yeah.
Oh, he did.
Oh, rumor has it he might be alive still.
Bruce says still alive.
Survived?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
jeez.
Oh, he's pulling a
mother was a
tractor now?
mother.
You're telling me they sent it to the farm?
He might be down here, downtown Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Oh, pulling carriages?
Can't have that either.
Get those things.
All right, so we're happy. Max Blair's still alive.
Here we go.
So fuck you. He's not in that Elmer's glue thing.
Well, it sure sounds like Max Player wishes someone just put a gun to his head if he's pulling
No!
carriages right now.
You're a bad guy.
Working the mills? Are you kidding me? He doesn't want to do that.
Anyways,
Let the boy rest.
we'll be back on the other side. I don't even know how we got here. Do you remember how we got to Elmer's glue?
Something about drinking ayahuasca and it being the
Oh yeah.
pasty.
So I don't think it's that thick.
Oh, okay.
I think it's. I think it is like a
Like a smoothie.
Yeah, but you got to drink it, not
Scoop.
straw.
Right.
Like when you have a colonoscopy. That whatever you drink there, that's pretty pasty.
To be honest, I've
That's
never
like
used
water.
it.
No,
it's not.
I had teammates
The one
use
I
it.
had. Oh no, sorry. When you're doing a drug test, that was a little pasty, and that makes your skin tingle.
I think you're talking about
niacin.
Niacin, yeah. Niacin's in something that you probably
Correct.
took
Mhm.
that tries to clean you out,
Yeah.
and it does cook your
It
skin.
was pasty.
Yeah, it only cooks, by the way, if you got drugs in you. So what were you doing?
What were you doing,
Tony? What were you doing,
Those
Tony?
were my younger days.
There's a lot to clean out. Niacin put its hard hat when it went inside Tony
Oh,
Diggs
yeah.
back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go over to the pill department. All right, let's go over to
Mix
this.
them together.
That was like 22-year-old me, so quite a bit.
That niacin shit, your whole body used to just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
start to-
burns.
Oh yeah.
Itches like crazy.
It starts cooking everything out of you, and everybody thought that was like the end all be all. You take some of this, it'll get all the drugs out of you. It didn't, and then they started testing for it, so it just became a kind
Add
of
to
a
the
wasted
list.
substance, I think. But it is a good cleanser, I think.
How bad is it going through that?
It's tough. Your body cooks.
Full day?
Your eyes get itchy too, I think. No, it's a few hours.
Oh, okay.
3, 4, 5 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
It's tough. But it didn't work anyway. So, like, what we were using it for didn't work.
Yeah. And then they actually got banned.
Then they started testing for the stuff that, all the stuff that cleans you out. So you definitely had to just go use a Visine bottle and get somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then a new head coach comes in. That head coach was really cool with everybody on the team, so he knew the game. And the first piss test, he switched the game, changed the rules.
No more games, boys.
Yeah. So then everybody starts looking for cow shit and trying to find the mushrooms underneath it.
Yep.
Are you doing a spinal tap? No.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to go grind up these mushrooms. Still college, Stu. What do you want? Rest in peace. There's a moment of silence. Bill Stewart. Changed the way we took our piss tests for the better, but then it just led us to other things. He was trying. He's a good man. Great football coach. Rest in peace. Appreciate the hell out of you, Stu.
Love you, Coach.
Love you, Coach, too.
I don't know if you guys heard. There's a new way we're doing tests. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. 15 guys got selected randomly for these tests. We had the same song and dance that we've been using the entire time. They go in there. This piss is a little cold, isn't it? No? I don't think so. Oh, well, sorry. We messed it up then. We're going to need another one. The guy's sprinting through the facility. Hey, you smoke? Yeah. You smoke? Do you have to piss right now? No. Have you smoked? No. All right. I'm going to wait it out with you.
Drink this water.
Wait, pee, go do another test. A little cold, isn't it? No.
Just
Yeah, you're going to have to do another one. I guess we'll just do another one. Okay, I'm going to go get a drink, I guess. Somebody running through the building. Hey, do you have to piss? Can I get another one? We know what you're doing. We're just going to look at you while you piss this time. Oh, no.
Okay.
I got 15 guys, 11 guys.
Jeez.
Like that. And then we all, obviously, there was a group text sent that was like,
Yeah.
hey, everybody.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Gotta change the game.
Just a heads up, the game is different now. We are in a much different world now. Everybody needs to know that. And then Stu, even in the first team meeting afterwards, was like, don't know if you guys heard. We're going to tighten some things up a little bit. It's like, oh, fuck.
He's got us.
All right, he's got us by the balls here.
Yeah.
Literally. Actually, he's staring at him while we're pissing here. Rest in peace, Stu. What a fucking character that guy was.
I went to Bill Stewart coaching camp. It was a great coaching camp.
Bro, he's fucking awesome. He was awesome. Honestly, one of the coolest dudes I've ever. He was a special teams guy, so I knew him and Blaine, his son. I've known Blaine since Blaine was like a child, because I used to go over to their house for the special teams meetings. When he became the head coach, we were all so happy for him. We're all pumped for him. Played that Fiesta Bowl for him. I mean, he's just beloved by literally everybody. Gave Tomlin his first job, so him and Tomlin still very, very tight and close. And then that piss test day, I'll never forget everybody being like, "Oh, we're too close to Stu.
Yeah.
Stu, we like Stu too much. We told Stu too much. We told Stu too much. We fuck. Gotta change." And I assume the game has been changed ever since that day.
Yeah.
So these kids today that are getting tested the way they're getting tested, I want to let you know is 100% our fault. 100%. But you shouldn't be doing it anyways. Focus on.
Exactly.
That's right.
Work on your game.
Yeah, watch more film.
Go get an NIL deal.
Why don't you smoke some football IQ?
That's
Boom.
right.
Don't be smoking doobies.
Can't have it.
Good point.
You pigs. Don't these guys care?
Now I guess doobies are legal. I mean, you still can't do it, but it's even tougher because it's legal in a lot of places these kids are going to school.
No, still, I think it's NCAA, isn't it?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, you know, now
Accessibility.
where it's like, hey, all your buddies can just go to the fucking dispensary and buy it.
So this is like when Colorado became legal for recreation. The big fight was Broncos players allowed to smoke then.
Yeah.
And there was an email sent out. Well, in the United States at Goodell,
not a chance.
it has not been passed. So in your state, it might have been legalized, but we are still going to test for it. But the Broncos still got a bunch of players that wanted to go play out there. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll definitely be clean for the annual, but the rest of the year, we'll just be able to walk right there.
Yeah.
And it is no problems at all. There's no potential drama. There's no anything. It's right there. So the Broncos got a lot of players. Now there's a lot more states. Massachusetts has it legal.
yeah.
And also, you know what else has been official gavel hit in Massachusetts?
What was that?
FanDuel.
Goddamn
Here
right.
we go. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, I think, what, January 1?
I think alongside Ohio.
Uh-huh.
And then California, I don't know if the official numbers came out. FanDuel and three other sports books spent $49 million trying to like raise awareness for the state of California about what sports books can do, what regulatory gaming can do, what FanDuel could do, and how much safer and better it is for sports gambling and for sports as a whole. The tribes of California spent $55 million to let everybody know these assholes are coming in from out of California.
Yeah.
They're going to steal our money. They're going to ruin your kids' future.
fight.
Boom. It's a huge, this happened in Florida. This is happening in California right now. It's a real battle. I'm happy we don't have to be a part of it. But FanDuel is going to get legalized in most states. And if they don't, it's probably because a massive political war is happening that we don't get to see happen on a daily basis.
That's right.
I was going to say FanDuel paid $49 million just to show them what the revenues from last quarter. Hey, this is how it works.
No, I don't think that they were rubbing in the faces the money they made. They were trying to showcase like how much safer it is to gamble with regulated gaming.
They were combined with all the other sports books, pretty much.
Yeah,
they
there's
all won it.
3 other sports books that were alongside FanDuel.
Team effort.
Yeah, like, hey, we need to educate people that this isn't just like the devil's work. This is
Right.
actually the complete opposite. Like, this is, making things
It's regulated.
safer.
It's safe.
Safest way possible.
Yeah, well, that's not what was being pitched with $55 million worth of shit on the other side.
Not a chance.
No chance. This is terrible. Don't need it. Get the hell out of our state. See ya.
Well, they'll learn sooner or later.
I hope so, because it does make gambling better.
And easier and safer.
And games better.
Yeah.
These preseason games that just ain't worth a single.
Sweats.
And the live betting, too, that is available for these preseason games, hilarious.
It's awesome.
Especially when,
It is so much better than what it used to be.
Yeah, it really is.
Man, I try to talk to guys that are in the NFL. They're like, so I have a big FanDuel deal. What's that mean? I'm like, well, they're like our exclusive sports book. And I tell them, like, just wait until you retire, by the way. You're going to think you have it figured out because you played for a lot long time. You're going to, like, think you're going to get into it. You're going to be able to do it. You won't.
It does not work that
Which
way.
will become a challenge for you. But obviously, when you're in the league, you guys can't be doing shit because we're gambling that you're not. Okay? So we need you guys to be fully focused on your team. Every time you need to show up exactly how you're supposed to show up. Play exactly how we think you're going to play. That would help everybody out. And I get a quick fuck off. But it is real. It makes watching games so much better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these preseason games, are you kidding me? Like, and granted, part of it is, like, excited that football's back, but, like, last year, it's like, who gives a fuck what's going on in these preseason games? I'll watch it for, 10 minutes and be like, all right, I can't do this anymore. You got a little action on there. It's like, okay, shit, let's see.
care.
Let's see what's going on
Hey, let's
here.
go, Sam Ellinger. Let's go.
Hey, what do we say, Huckabee?
I think Jim Irsay said that maybe that guy's... Who's the next Montana? Brady? Elway? We don't know until we see it. He's talking about Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, possible.
By the way, he can maintain a backup role there for the rest of Matt Ryan's career and still...
Played better than
He's
Foles
mobile.
did. Played a lot better than Foles did.
Foles has had some clips out of practice that makes me wonder if he knows who's on his team, if he knows which way he's throwing.
Yeah, but I mean, his papa is the head coach of the team, so who cares how he plays?
Thank you, Papa.
Who?
Frank Reich.
Reich.
What do you mean?
A lot of cold stock today. Need to be more positive. We're back in 4.
They got to get it out now before Wednesday.
True.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
Exactly.
They'll smack you right in the fucking mouth.
Well, I mean, I hope they do. I'm going to be wearing a Mac Jones jersey and a Patriots hat.
All right. Don't think you're going to be doing that. We're back in 4. We had some phone calls and clean up the day that we have had. We can't thank you enough for watching. There's still plenty of more to chat about. But not really. But we'll answer some phone calls and hopefully dive into some conversations. We can't thank you enough for joining us. See us in 4. Done things right forever. So for what I'm about to say, I'm very honored to be a part of. Peyton Manning and I are getting into business together. We have officially agreed, alongside Omaha Productions, to simulcast 6 big-ass college football games this season. We will be on ESPN2. The main cast will be on ESPN. Omaha is obviously helping us along the way, and we will be running it. Peyton, you're the fucking man. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the business. And I think we have to celebrate we did it. All right. I mean, I almost had a heart attack there. I haven't done anything since SummerSlam. Should have done more there. Peyton, this is awesome. We appreciate the hell out of you, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, can't thank you enough, man. Looking forward to it. You're the best. Honored to be your teammate again, if you will. And you will kill this. You know this. And everybody's fired up to watch. I can guarantee it.
Steven in Nashville enough. What's going on, Steven?
Hey, hello? Pat? You guys can hear me?
This is the worst call we've ever had, Steven.
My God. So mean.
Steven.
Hello?
Steven,
Pat.
it's the worst call we've ever had. So much dead air there.
Yo, Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah, keep it going.
Hello?
Know what you say?
I was going to hit him again.
What?
Yo, Pat.
No,
Pat? Pat. Hey, Pat, can you hear me?
Steven does not deserve this. Steven, what's going on, dude? How's going on, Steven?
Sorry, your phone was choppy.
Yo, Pat McAfee, can you hear me?
Steven, you there?
Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Is it a cup and a string?
Steven!
Yo, Pat. Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Steve!
Pat!
Hey, there you are. Hey,
Hello?
what's going on, Steve? Hey, Steven, sorry about that. I think we're having connection issues. What's going on, man?
Hey, sorry, man. I didn't know if that was me or if you were trying to talk to another guy. And then I didn't hear you guys.
Steve!
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, we lost him again, I think. Shit.
Pat!
Can you?
No.
Pat, can you hear me?
Steve, hey, Steve, there you are, Steve.
Pat!
Steve,
Pat!
hey!
Pat!
Steve!
Pat!
Steve!
Oh, can you hear me?
Steve!
Are you guys messing around? Can you guys hear me?
Today's show is sponsored by Cash App. George Pickens toe tapping in the corner of the end zone. You guys know what that is?
What's that?
That's money.
That is money.
When a quarterback leads a fourth quarter comeback, that's money.
That is money.
When personal finance connects you to both your funds and the stuff that matters,
Wait,
that's money. And that's Cash App. Know what else is money, boys?
What's that?
Choosing your own cash tag.
Ooh,
that's money.
Requesting that $50 your buddy owes you.
That's money.
Being able to handle our giveaways in a timely fashion. That's money. Getting paid to read an ad from Cash App. That's money.
Having them all in?
That's money. Sending, spending, saving, investing, splitting, tipping, donating, gifting, all in a single finance app. That's money. That's Cash App. Download Cash App and use code McAfee for $15 off. Terms apply.
Yeah.
That's money.
Who made that?
I don't know, but whoever did, that's money.
Hey, that's money.
That's money.
That's money.
What?
Shit. That's money, millionaires. I love everything about it. Welcome back to the show. Thank you to Cash App. You sound really cool there.
Well, I mean, I had a peek at it this morning. I actually said to you, wait until you see this Cash App read, because...
Well, I'll let you know. Whenever you were reading that, the only thing I was thinking was...
That's money.
That's money. That's money. Broncos country. That's money. All right. We got Jordan Schultz, insider, joining us in like 3 minutes because something's popping off with Roquan Smith that is fascinating. And I do believe that the players are not going to be happy about it. Due to Roquan Smith not having an agent and representing himself, he has asked for a trade. So now how will other teams be able to contact him? How will he be able to reach out to other teams? Allegedly, the NFL has sent out a memo to everybody around the NFL stating that the NFL Management Council sent a memo to clubs warning them that a person contacting clubs about trading for Bears linebacker Roquan Smith isn't a certified agent, and that any contact with a player under contract or his agent without direct written permission is tampering, per source. So I guess Roquan will just have to go to agents of general managers. Is that how he'll have to make this happen? Because agents obviously do all the convos with other agents, and then they're able to behind the scenes get something set up. The tampering that happens all the time, especially here in Indianapolis at the Combine, takes place between agents, I guess. So it's a third party, independent party that you could kind of pawn off. Now that Roquan's representing himself, maybe he's having a friend call around the team saying, hey, would you like to do this or not? And the NFL is being very strict and stern, saying anybody talking to Roquan is doing what Stephen Ross was doing. Might as well just be a fucking asshole and try to steal from other teams. I would like to say this is bullshit.
Yeah.
How's Roquan supposed to know any teams that are available? Oh, you have to have an agent, is what the NFL is saying. You have to lose 3% of your contract. You have to be associated with somebody that has been okayed by the NFLPA. I don't like this at all, but I guess this is something that has to happen for the next steps to take place in how they'll settle these types of situations in the future. Jordan Schultz will join us in about a couple minutes. I guess he has an inside track on this entire story.
Yeah, like would Roquan have to go to the GM and say, hey, these are 5 or 10 teams that I would want to go to, and then the GM would have to tell whichever teams they're comfortable with trading that they can reach out? Would that be the requesting permission? Because obviously if he says like the Packers.
So this is a power play to tell him you're not allowed to represent yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how the players should be taking this, because there should be different rules for if an agent is there or if the player's there. That rule hasn't been put in though. So these are the types of things that have to take place for change to take place. Sounds like there hasn't been any really benefiting conversation about him being traded, it sounds like.
No.
I don't know.
Well, this screws him over
completely.
Yeah, there's no way that he's going to be able to seek a trade then. If they haven't done it yet and he can't really do anything on his own volition, then how does anything get done? Because it seems like they're okay with just standing pat and being like, oh, okay, well.
And Ryan Poles, who's never general managed anything yet, this is his first year. We assume he'll do well. We assume Eberflus will do well because here in Indianapolis, he fucking crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
But Ryan Poles came out and said, Roquan representing himself is making it difficult. You ain't done shit, Ryan Poles. So it might be difficult for everybody. But I like the Roquan's taking the initiative. I guess this is the drawback, though, not having any connects around so you can dance around the tampering rule. I guess that is what the big drawback is here.
Yeah, but like if he like tweaks his knee in practice or something, and then would that give him more leeway because then he wouldn't be practicing or anything, and then it'd be before the season?
So what's he got to do? He's got to how's it? We're still wondering how he can conversates with anybody from any other team.
Yeah, like if he's not playing, I'm saying, would that like
benefit? And
benefit?
any agent that says, hey, I'll do it for you, they're going to take a percentage. That's what agents do. They literally are a massive part of piecing people together. The networking angle of agencies are a big deal too. So I assume that Roquan will be forced into dealing with an agent. He'll be forced to do this. What you say, Zito? You can speak, yeah.
The person that's been helping him is considered an advisor. That's like what he's been calling him, the guy.
The advisor?
Yeah, the person that like is helping him.
So the advisor isn't a certified agent, I guess, through the NFL and the NFLPA, because that has become something, because back in the day, there was a bunch of bamboozles. Now, there has been bad agents that have been certified by the NFL and the NFLPA. What constitutes a bad agent? Oh, I don't know. Somebody that exists that if they didn't, nothing would have been different. That is a lot of agents. Hey, you got drafted in this part. This is exactly what your contract's going to read. I'm going to take 3% of that. I'm going to get you no marketing deals or anything, but you should just be pumped that I even got this deal done. You know, somebody had to put the bow on this whole thing. There's a lot of fucking terrible agents out there. And just because people have experience in the business doesn't mean they're good at the business. And there's a lot of rules that protect a lot of bad agents, I think, through the NFLPA. There's great agents out there. Do not get me wrong. I have a lot of respect for a lot of people that do business, but I also lack a lot of respect for a lot of motherfuckers just because they are doing business. I think the NFLPA knows that this has been a problem for a long time. That's why they've instituted certain rules, like you got to get certified to become an agent. So at least they are passing the bar or able to represent people. But this is going to have to be a case that's probably going to change rulings going forward and change rules in the way things are worded going forward, I would assume.
Yeah, because it almost seems like they're saying, too, like, well, if he had an agent, you know, who would have been able to maybe soften up how the message was delivered with it. Like, it's almost like they're advocating for, like, agents. He might still be there, even though his agent was going to get him screwed over with this deal that he clearly doesn't like.
Yeah, and the deal was a bad deal that was presented to him. Mm-hmm. And he said no. By the way, good business for him to say no to a deal that was backloaded with not a lot of guarantees. That sounds like a bad deal. They probably tried to take advantage of him. Just like this situation seems to be taking place right now. Roquan Smith, representing himself, has an advisor who's not NFLPA certified. So he has somebody reaching out to teams. The NFL Management Council has sent an email to everybody letting them know that they cannot talk directly to a player who's under contract somewhere else. Seems to be a little bit of a pickle. How will the NFL handle it? Joining us now, insider for the NFL, the NBA,
you name it.
Everything.
Just insider, I guess.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, from the Schultz Report, ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Schultz.
Hey!
What's up, Schultz?
What's up, fellas? I'm trying to figure out, do I want to go vertical to highlight my big noggin or horizontal? I think I'm going to go vertical here.
What's in the back there?
You know, it's an old photo. Yeah, I don't know.
Where? Of where?
It's a Chicago train station in the 30s.
Is that where your dad said, I'm gonna create Starbucks? Is that like a moment there in time?
No, this is the piece of shit that my wife bought because it was some up and coming photographer.
You rich folks in art is an awesome relationship.
You know what my favorite part is? When we bought this, my wife said, "Don't worry, it's gonna go up, but we're never gonna sell it." I said, "Why are we buying it? It doesn't look good anyway. If we're not gonna sell it, what's the point?"
Did it go up? You think if you were to put that up for sale?
No, it went down.
Yeah. Like a car, like a plane. As soon as that thing left the lot, it went down. But it looks good behind you right now. We appreciate you joining us. Let's dive into this, Jordan. Good businessman, obviously an insider. Roquan Smith now. He's representing himself. He has an advisor that's helping him in this. He turned down an offer that was backloaded with not a lot of guarantees. Ryan Poles, the brand new GM, never been a GM before, said, it's been difficult dealing directly with Roquan, not an agent. Okay, pal. We don't need to hear from you until you accomplish something. But a player doing his own business is not the norm. There's more guys doing it now than ever before. But with the trade request, how does this get worked out? Do you think they're going to have to change rules for players representing themselves in the future? And how does Roquan, without having to give up a percentage to an agent, get in contact with anybody, you think, Jordan?
Right. So there's a lot there. One is we have seen it more over the last, I'm seeing this now. I see there you go. That looks better. Yeah, there you go.
Head looks the same size. Head looks the exact same size, by the way, Jordan. Your head is the same size this way as it was.
It's a big one. So we're seeing it more over the last few years. And the problem for a lot of guys is agents and some teams don't like it. But what we've seen, Orlando Brown, Bobby Wagner, now Roquan,
Sherman,
significant players, all-pro players. Roquan's a two-time all-pro, top 10 pick, that are saying, I want to negotiate for myself, and I don't want to pay the fee. So I think the league at some point, not right now, but at some point, Pat, is going to have to step in and do something about this so that it makes it easier for these guys to ultimately get those deals done. In Roquan's case, he doesn't have the leverage right now. The way that his contract was structured, the fact that he's a great player, that doesn't matter. It's not like a team's going to go out and get him. I mean, we've heard Brandon Staley and the Chargers potentially, because of his history there, wanting to make a move, but they still got to get Derwin James done. Ultimately, he really only has two options, Roquan does. He either can sit out and lose a significant amount of money, Pat, or he can say, I'm going to play it out. I'm 27 and I'll get paid in a year. But ultimately, to your point about Ryan Poles, like him saying, it's not great for us that he doesn't have an agent, like that's immaterial. The bottom line in this situation is that the Bears have all the leverage.
So the Bears have all the leverage because he can't talk to any other teams either, right? Like, are the Bears going to have to be the ones that are going to have to initiate trade conversation? And the Bears aren't going to do that with a great player. Yeah,
that's exactly right, because we just saw it, that the league is coming out and saying, and this is something we thought might happen. The league will come out and say, Pat, we don't want to deal with tampering, so the only way to prevent that is to say you cannot contact Roquan Smith. And really, the only way to get traded in this situation is for the Bears to contact those teams or for them to reach out to him, as opposed to the agent being the middleman, the intermediary, that could then help facilitate a deal. And this is why Poles said that. But it's going to be like, you wonder, tampering happens all the time. We know that. You know, we've seen it every year. You wonder if teams will reach out to Roquan. This is supposed to be preventative.
They should do it on the WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Spaces.
Or like Dust. You know, Dust eliminates the text after 24 hours, just deletes.
Is that what you billionaires got to do?
Good to know.
By the way, it doesn't actually disappear. Everything's everywhere forever.
Everything's everywhere.
I mean, people were sending a lot of dicks on that Snapchat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget when Snapchat happened, and I had friends that were on there, obviously, and they're just like, oh, it's the greatest thing of all time. You send a message and it disappears. I'm like, to where? Like, where?
It's not. That's the problem. It doesn't.
Yeah, but we knew that from the beginning. Like, people with a brain knew that from the beginning. Like, how does something exist digitally and then it just never again? That doesn't make. Somebody has it. Somebody will be able to find that somewhere. And turns out, by the way, they were all living in a space, and that whole thing did not disappear. And there was so much meat in there, I assume, just from creeps all over the place.
I'm curious. I know Zito's a Bears fan. Do Bears fans sympathize with Roquan here, or are they just saying, just play it out and let's just move on?
Pay the man.
I think Bears fans have been fed up with everything, right? I don't want to. I don't know.
For sure, 100%.
If that
Ryan Pace had quite a few parting gifts.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So this train station was 2022 in Chicago. What's everybody saying? They're like, we don't expect the team to be good. We're just happy that Justin Fields might be good, and we're turning over everything. Is that?
Yeah, a lot of love for right now for the offense.
For Justin Fields.
Yeah, I love Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I'm in. I'm all in.
Luke gets
I'm all in on Darnell Mooney, Fields, Montgomery, Herbert. I know the offense is going to be better without question. Can I just say one more thing? I don't know how you're doing on time, Pat, but AJ called me Jordan. I'm going to call you Patty. Is that okay?
Hey, Jordan, you do whatever the fuck you need to do, pal. All right?
Okay, Patty, here's the thing. So Getsy and Fields are already super messed, right? They're synced up, and they're both really all in on each other, which is great. But Matt Eberflus, the head coach, the new head coach of the Bears, his whole thing is having a linebacker that can play in the 4-3. We saw it with Darius or Shaq Leonard now in Indianapolis. That was the big reason why that defense had success. Now he has Roquan Smith, who's supposed to be that guy, and the fact that they're enduring this right now is just unfortunate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Drama is never good. It's already hard enough to win an NFL game. We have about 1 minute to a hard out, so we will just kind of bullshit back and forth until that comes, and then we'll continue our show at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. There's a bunch of stuff happening, though, around that we could dive into, Jordo, after this hard out happens in 57 seconds, and Chris Mad Dog Russo will be on that.
Yes, he will.
Yeah. He's another Hall of Fame he's going into.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Hey, Jordo, I don't know if your dad knows this. There's a new coffee conglomerate in town.
Oh, yeah, watch out.
Right on the other side of this block, your brand new coffee shop opened this morning, Jordo.
What's it called?
Quills.
Horse shit.
Hey, listen, I mean, I went in there. They couldn't hear what I was saying. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but the cold brew was.
Oh, my God.
Oh, so delicious, Schultze. I want to let you know it was fantastic. And that's the type of coffee that Chris Mad Dog Russo drinks every day.
Yeah.
Only the best, because when he hops on a microphone, they go, holy hell, this Hall of Famer has not lost a single step. This man has somehow got better at a show. This man has got better at hosting. He's got better at interviewing. And that's what Chris Mad Dog Russo is going to do for the next few hours here in about 6 minutes. We'll see you in 21 hours. Goodbye. Nailed it. Sid, Jordo, we did it. All right, let's get through it. That coffee thing was real, though. That seemed like we were doing a bit there. That was real. They might have earned our...
Oh, you off the air?
No. Well, we're live on YouTube. Off series.
On YouTube, okay.
Off
so,
series.
listen, I'm all about trying the micro coffee joints. I'm a big fan of that. I think that's how you learn, what's good coffee.
Is that what it's called? That's a micro coffee joint?
It's like, like micro brews. I just say the micro coffee. That's all.
It felt like same vibe. Pretty hipster in there. Not that your dad's business didn't get super duper 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 hipster as well, but the coffee, you know what I mean? The barista business seems to be a bit of a hipster business at this point. That was one of the most hipster places I've ever walked into.
Well, now we know Jordan goes and tries them, and he says, "Hey, let's fucking date."
When I come to the
stealing
combine, before we go out for beers, hopefully you'll take me there for a cappuccino.
I don't know if they have cappuccino.
What?
I don't know if it's offered.
Oh, they're all about the artistry.
Yeah, I don't know if it's offered.
What are you talking about, the artistry? Yeah, the place is kidding me. Bunch of art in there. Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Like this piece of shit.
No, there was no pictures. It was all business about the coffee.
No pictures in there?
We thought about you. We talked about you the entire walk over to it, and then the entire walk back afterwards.
Yep.
Jeez.
I'm honored. I can't wait to see you guys soon. I would love to come out for a ball game and hang out, link out during the week.
Yeah, not invited, but let's. No, I'm joking. We will definitely have to make that happen. Okay, especially at the Thunderdome. Thunderdome's very far away from this coffee shop that could just take over your dad's business if they wanted to.
If they wanted to.
I don't know if they'll be able to. It's tough communication in there.
Yep.
But that place tasted delish. Still got this sack of shit.
What else do you want to talk about?
Well, I would like to know when you think they're going to change that rule for Roquan to be able to do his own business.
I could see that. I could see that in a year.
I think so too.
Because when that was collectively bargained, this wasn't something that was happening. Guys weren't representing themselves, not at this rate. Every year we see more and more high profile, and that's what it takes. Not just mid and low level guys. If you have high profile, all pro caliber players, Bobby, Orlando, Roquan representing themselves, this is how it gets done. So I do think it'll happen.
Sherman did as well a couple years back, and he was roasted for it, and he hit every incentive and got paid.
Humphreys did it in Arizona. DJ Humphreys.
Yeah, I think D-Hop did as well, right? Hopkins did
D-Hop
it.
did it. So you're seeing it more and more. I think it's become pretty prominent.
Schultz, I don't want to dive too deep into a super zoomed out convo about this, but as we get more and more entrepreneurial, which I think we are with the internet and social media and this modern generation basically being business people very early, seeing other people on the internet have merch stores and content and basically figuring out business at a much younger age than ever in the history of humans, by the way. It feels like this is going to have to be something, because right now I'm thinking to myself, and I am somebody that represented myself through my own business and former NFL guy who's always going to side with the NFL players over anybody else, just because I think, I see it for a different. He's getting fucked right now. I think Roquan's getting fucked right now. Because if he was able to talk to a team that needed him, let's say it's the Chargers. I didn't even know that was potentially a team. You told us that. And Tom Telesco gets on a thing. He says, we'll give you a first and we'll give you this.
Yeah.
And this new deal's happening. That deal's probably likely to take place with Poles, who's like, okay, we can move on. But now they won't even get to hear those, right? Because nobody can really reach out and.
No, so yeah, if we just play the alternative button here, and let's say Roquan Smith is represented by whoever agent you want to pick, you can have Tom Telesco call on that agent, Pat, and say, we want to get him moved here. We want to get it done. What will it take? Or what do you think about Roquan signing here long term? Or here's the fit. And you can start to have these conversations to sell the player and the agent, and then the agent can now work his magic or her magic to sell it to the Bears. And you can start to have this synergy that you're just not going to have if the teams are not able to reach out to Roquan or an agent. It's just the bottom line. It's how business gets done in the NFL. So,
how do they fix that? I don't know how they fix that. Honestly, I guess the player would have to deem that he's representing himself, and he has the ability then to have, he gets, how do you even?
Right. So basically, you're saying beforehand he could set the precedent and say, I'm representing myself. Here's how it's going to work. Okay. Yeah.
And they get a different set of rules.
Let me tell you this. This is the benefit of representing yourself if you're a player, not in this situation, but when Bobby signed with the Rams, what he did beforehand, I was with him that whole week. You remember
Bobby Wagner,
how
so we're talking about.
Unceremoniously got released by the Seahawks. It wasn't a great situation. They kind of knew they screwed up. But what he did was, as soon as he was released, since he already knew he was going to represent himself, he just reached out to every single NFL team and said, I'm representing myself. If you're interested in me, reach out. And he put his email there, and that's how it was handled. So that's how Les Snead reached out to Bobby Wagner through email. And ultimately, or maybe it was eventually text, but ultimately that's how that got done. And that's how he felt like, I can represent myself. I don't need an agent. That's what if we had that with Roquan, it'd be great. But because he's currently employed by the Bears, we don't.
That's fascinating. I assume rules will be changed, and then guys, if they're representing themselves, will have to go through probably classes and sessions on what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, how often said email that has to be probably NFL, regulated, that there are a lot of some big brain will figure this out, but this is a key point.
Problem.
I think this is a key point here. The Roquan Smith situation is a key point that could potentially change things in the future. Let's talk about Jimmy G. Jimmy G, we asked Ian Rappaport if he's going to be a Cleveland Brown. He said he doesn't think that's the case, although the internet says that would make sense. It would if you don't think Jacoby Brissett's good enough to be a starter and Deshaun's probably going to face a year. What do you think happens with Jimmy G? Because he's been just kept separate from the team, right? By Shanahan, Lynch, and the boys. Everybody knows they're separating. It's just how will they? Are we waiting on an injury? Are we waiting on Jimmy G to okay some things? Are we waiting on getting cut? What do you think happens there, Schultz?
Yeah, so I dove into this last night, and I'm so glad you asked because it's so. If you would have told me 6 months ago or 3 months ago that Jimmy would still be on the Niners, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But I think here's where San Francisco's at. Okay, they do really like Trey Lance. He's obviously their guy. They're invested in him. And they believe that he can get it done, okay? They have a great defense. When it comes to Jimmy G, he'll be ready week 1, barring a big setback. So if a team wanted to go out and get him, Cleveland, Seattle, just a couple teams that could potentially want a quarterback, they could go out and get him knowing he could play week 1. But what San Francisco is trying to do, and this is so tricky if you're John Lynch, but it's so important, is they're trying to find that perfect balance, Pat, of here we are, week 7, week 8, somebody goes down and they need a quarterback. But also we don't want to do it too quickly because then we don't get the maximum value back too long. So it's a kind of a song and dance that they're playing right now, and it's not easy to do. Keep in mind, Seattle plays at San Francisco week 2. I don't think San Francisco would want to trade Jimmy G within the division. But if Seattle came with a big offer, in theory, that could happen. I don't see it being Cleveland either. They got Jacoby Brissett as the contingency plan. And also, they have a lot of cash that's already gone out. I know Deshaun's salary isn't very high this year, but the cash, they've had a lot of cash that's gone out. And to bring in Jimmy would be a significant payday.
Yeah, it'd be another $20 million if they were to trade for him. Cutting him, you can negotiate a new deal, and he'd still be, I guess relatively expensive because he'd be expecting to be the starter. You said you looked into this last night, so you tapped around and you said you.
I did.
I did. The way you feel.
Yeah, and also one thing that 2 different teams told me was that nobody's talking about, and it's worth repeating, which I didn't really think about either, because how smart I am, is that Jimmy's deal is guaranteed fully week 1. So if San Francisco keeps him on their roster through week 1. Now that becomes fully guaranteed, and whoever trades for him is going to need to pay him the rest of the salary this year. San Francisco, let's say they can't find a home for him, that's fully guaranteed. So that's what I was saying, where it's just a really tricky song and dance for them, and not something that I would want to do. I mean, they got to find that perfect balance and hope that somebody needs a quarterback.
So your feel is that they're going to hang on as long as they possibly can until somebody needs a quarterback, and then they'll be able to kind of leverage Jimmy G and maybe a top draft pick as opposed to giving them up for a 4th or 5th right now with a salary dump. You just said a point that I think a lot of us have said, because after year 5 in the NFL, I do believe if you're on the roster first week, you get fully guaranteed. That's what we're all thinking too. So we think he's going to get cut. That's not how you feel like this is going to go? You don't?
No, he could get cut. He could get cut as well, but then you don't get anything back. And they believe, I'll just tell you point blank, San Francisco believes that he is a starting caliber quarterback. I mean, we can debate if he's a top 20, top 18, top 25, but he is a starting caliber quarterback. I think that much is clear. And within that belief, John Lynch would love nothing more than to extract something for him. I don't know if it's a mid-round, a 2nd or 3rd, but something. And if you cut him, you get nothing.
It's interesting. Who are you talking to? You just, when you dive in, you just open up the Rolodex. You say, "Who know anything about you?"
You know what I do? I think, who would Pat want me to talk to?
It's very nice.
And then when I was talking to Zito the other day, we said maybe come on this week. So I said, just to be sure, let me reach out to a few folks.
Hey, we appreciate that, Schultz. Hey, the Schultz Report. So we're going to have to definitely shop from this coffee shop every day because of how close it is.
I want to come and support it. I want to check it out. I want to see what it's all about.
Oh, what, you going to try to steal their recipe?
Yeah. Fox in the hen house.
You going to steal their cold brew that I have
Got
this
it
morning?
from the inside.
Oh, all right. I mean, they'll be able to sniff you out as soon as you walk in that place.
Starbucks guy.
Well, you know.
They'll say, who's that? Look at that big schnoz. Who's that guy?
They said that about me, I think, and then they heard me go, what?
What?
Hey, what? The communication, I made a fool of myself in there this morning, Jordan. I just want to let you know. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to try not
Why?
to.
No, why though? Because you didn't know what to order?
No.
Because I ordered, this guy was so cool looking, the guy that was taking my order.
The barista, he had the whole, okay, he was cool.
Listen, don't be so jealous of what this place got.
geez,
Okay,
calm
geez.
down.
All right, you guys got cool looking people too. This guy was so cool looking though, like so cool looking. And I tried to read the vibe of the room. Everybody was super cool looking. So I just ordered like, hey, I'll take a cold brew or whatever. And he goes, he says, and I said, what? You know, I didn't understand the question coming back. I didn't fully understand it. Then he repeated it again. I didn't hear what he said. So I, what? And it echoed off the thing.
Right.
Yeah, so I kind of made a fool. It was a bad roll up, but the cold brew was delicious.
yeah.
Ty right before me had the same situation, I guess. I missed it because me and Zito were judging everything in there as we walked in. We're like, oh, this is really nice. Holy hell, this is really nice. Ty had a full wad situation.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I love that happened to you because that happens to me a lot. Not necessarily in the Starbucks, but in general situations, being awkward socially. But I'm starting to feel myself get a little angry that you're enjoying this establishment so much.
Oh, it was so good. The cold brew.
yeah, it was delicious.
They had that thing. They tapped that thing out.
Yep.
They left me room.
Oh, the nitro. Oh, they had the nitro.
Oh,
Yeah, it was nice,
so
bro.
good.
It was nice, bro.
It's almost like a Guinness. It kind of has that same feel, except coffee.
Is that the one you guys have, or are you talking about the one over here? I don't think you've tried this place.
You tried Quills?
It feels more like a nice cold Bud Light.
What?
It goes down nice and smooth, you know what I mean?
Especially if you have room for cream.
Yeah.
You want room for the cream?
What?
Room for the cream.
What?
I come on the show every day if you let me.
Yeah, well, we'd appreciate you coming on if you're going to give us more information. I mean, you basically told us Jimmy G, they're going to try to feel that situation out.
Mhm.
Roquan is fucked, right?
Yep.
You kind of said basically.
Not by his doing. It's almost because he's played so well as a two-time All-Pro, former number 8 pick, that he's put himself in this position. If he was a marginal player, it'd be much easier to get moved.
I agree. The boys have a couple questions. Is that okay?
Anytime.
Go ahead, Ty.
Jordan, what do you think the temperature is like in Seattle with Russ gone, and now it's kind of the QB battle between Drew Lock and Geno Smith? You said you don't think that there's any way that Jimmy G is going to go up there, but are people thinking that the Seahawks are actually going to be pretty decent this year? Or is it kind of like, hey, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the draft class next year. Let's kind of just see where we're at, and hopefully we can rebuild.
I asked, in last night in talking about Jimmy, I asked one of the executives, does Seattle think they're going to contend with Geno or Drew, or is this more of a play to rebuild and maybe try to get Stroud or Levis and or Bryce Young next year? Is that what we're looking at? And he said the former. He thought Seattle genuinely believes they can compete. I don't know if that means 8 wins or 6 wins, 9 wins, but to be competitive in that division, it says an awful lot. I think from the beginning it was always Geno's job to lose. And you saw, he got the nod against Pittsburgh in the preseason week 1. But the overall feeling around Seattle is quite upbeat. They felt like they had a massive draft. They have, I'm going to give you a name, it's super buried, but 5th round pick. But Tariq Woolen out of UTSA, the Roadrunners, 6'4", 205, 42-inch vert, ran a 4.3. He's a freak, and they feel like he's going to be a star and kind of fits that longer profile corner. Kobe Bryant's another one out of Cincinnati. So they love their draft. Those young guys will contribute. They obviously brought back DK. They have Lockett. They drafted the kid Kenneth Walker from Michigan State. So Seattle's optimistic. I think that division is brutally tough, and I don't know how they're going to win more than 6 games.
Yeah, a 6-game projection is, we'll put that on a record. Art Stapleton said the same thing for the New York Giants, but some of these teams are staring down, like the Broncos even. They got Russell Wilson and the wealthiest owner in sports, Rob Walton, 60 to 70 billion or whatever. He's way up there. Yeah. Like that AFC West is...
That's the best division I've ever seen.
Bro, AFC West, the NFC West, then you start looking at, it's almost like the level of everybody has gone up. Yeah. Like everybody seems to be good at this point. You're going to have to be able to put a team together. Pete Carroll isn't saying it's a rebuild. Nobody's saying it's a rebuild. But anytime you move on from a quarterback that you had for over a decade, you got to assume there might be some lumps. Now, speaking of lumps, the Seattle Seahawks took on Pittsburgh Steelers. They ran into Kenny Pickett in the 4th quarter. And George Pickens, who's an absolute guy. We are getting word now out of Pittsburgh Steelers practice from Mark Caboli, who is a beat reporter from Feel the Beat on this show, and also a writer at The Athletic, I believe, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Been covering the Steelers for like 25 years. Mason Rudolph, he's with the first team right now with Mitchell Trubisky coming in relief.
Wow.
Just as expected, says Mark Caboli. Mason, first team reps, followed by Mitch in team run. What are you hearing out of Pittsburgh, Schultz, or is that out of your realm of people you talk to, pal?
No, I don't think this is shocking. It's surprising though.
The fuck does that mean, Schultz? Schultz, I can't take what you just said seriously. It's not shocking. It's surprising. What are we? Are we cold brew? Are we not? I mean, what are we doing?
I'm pretty surprised. If anything, I would expect Pickett to go 2, not Rudolph. Well, I thought when they signed Trubisky that Trubisky was they wanted him to win the job. They felt like he was gonna have a home there and that they could build around him at least while they got a young quarterback. So I'm quite surprised to see that Rudolph would be taking ones. I still think it's Trubisky week 1.
From Caboli? Come on.
Yeah.
Caboli ain't getting
Mason was third team in 7 shots when the quarterbacks actually throw the ball. Okay, team run, and he's actually going in with second and third stringers for a team run. And then Mitch came in with the first teamers and skill positions right after him.
So Caboli's wrong?
Yeah, Mark's wrong.
Whoa, no. Marco, no. Caboli!
You know him. He's been pushing his Mason agenda for the last
I
few years.
I know Mark Caboli is a straight shooter. What's that, Schultz?
Here's the thing. They already know what Mitch Rudolph is, but they don't know what Trubisky is. What they do like about him is his athleticism. He can throw the ball down the field. He's pretty cheap, and he's still pretty young, 27. So, to me, the best case for them is to go Trubisky, Pickett 2, Rudolph 3, and then maybe at some point try to move Rudolph. I don't know how I don't see him starting any games this year.
Mason Rudolph was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been raised by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has more meaningful reps in more recent history than any of the other quarterbacks in the NFL. And he dropped an absolute dime to George Pickens in the corner. I guess we're not the only ones that saw it. Mike Tomlin put him with the ones today.
That's right. That's smart. Thought we were going to stop spreading misinformation on his program.
Mark Caboli. You think Mark Caboli?
How about Pickett with the game-winning drive?
Hey, that was awesome. Now, it couldn't have started any better for Kenny Pickett. I mean, honestly, could not have started any better.
No, perfect.
That's storybook shit right there. You know what I mean? Like Deshaun with the Browns first game. Nightmare. Went bad. They were chanting, you sick fuck. I want 1 for 5. Team didn't do well.
Fumbling.
Kenny Pickett goes in there. Yeah, he's fumbling stuff. Kenny Pickett goes in there, slices, dices. First play, roll out, get that out, get the jitters out a little bit. He looked calm, controlled. Nothing could have went better than that. That's like the best start I've ever seen a quarterback have, I think, actually.
Well, I don't know. You said Rudolph's homegrown. Pickett is truly homegrown. He's been playing in that stadium since he's 18.
Yeah, I understand that he went to the University of Pittsburgh, but like Rudolph
Mason.
Yeah, Rudolph has been a part of that program for a long time.
He hasn't had one beer with anyone on that team.
The bigger story is Pickens. I mean, holy that guy looks like a combination of Julio and Jerry Rice. He's ridiculous.
That's a hell of a comparison, Jordan. You're doing a lot of interneting right now. I mean, that's a big-time internet thing. There was somebody who looked like AB. I forget what game I was watching. They were wearing number 85, maybe?
Guy Moore?
Did the stand-up ball drop. I forget who it was. Looked like Antonio Brown. No offense to Antonio Brown, because whoever this is has not accomplished anything to be compared to Antonio Brown. Ran and played like Antonio Brown. 85, I think. Wearing a white jersey, so what's that mean? That's a away team? That's a away team?
No, it wasn't Sky Moore then.
Oh, man, I should have wrote it down immediately. It was a game I watched, so.
Wasn't yesterday. I was just blown away by the Pickens kids. Because remember, when he was drafted, they said, he could have been a top 10 if he didn't have the ACL scare. He goes in the second round. If he hits right this year, between him and Claypool, got that rookie at Memphis, the smaller scat back guy who's really good in the slot. Man, a lot of talent there. Freiermuth, I like that offense.
Who's going to throw in the ball there?
Mason
Rudolph.
Yeah.
No.
Mason Rudolph slinging that thing, dude. Yeah. Everybody needs to understand that.
Looks good.
Go Pokes!
Hell yeah.
You a Pokes guy? Where'd you go to school?
I went to Seattle U. I'm a nothing. I'm a 0.
Seattle U.
What's that?
I played hoops.
Oh,
Seattle
yeah, I
U and
forgot.
Occidental. I'm a 0, Pat.
I forgot
I
about
got-
No,
I
you're
should've
not
gone to
zero.
school like a
You got
no.
art behind you, pal. Okay, no
Yeah.
zero has
Come
art
on.
behind him. Your question for Schultz, Connor?
Yeah, Jordo, is it true that Kamara's probably not going to get suspended till next year?
Yeah, that's the word. Kamara, I thought he was going to, miss 6 games, something like that this year. And the more this has gone on, the more it feels like it's going to get pushed. And I haven't talked to New Orleans specifically, but other teams believe that he will play the full slate this year. And, I'm surprised, but if he gets suspended next year, that's a hugely positive for him to get another year at this, a younger age, a year younger, a full season in. So I would be almost shocked at this point if he was suspended at all in 2022.
Schultz, you think any news happens tomorrow or next day or the day after that?
What?
You know, like anything?
Anything but Wednesday?
You know what I mean? No, even Wednesday. I don't care. You think any news is coming ever for anything?
In the next couple of days?
Yeah.
Nothing huge.
Fuck. Great. This is what we got to learn. Remember, last year we had the same thing. We
did. Yeah, there's a little lull.
Preseason kind of sucks.
That's that lull. Yeah.
But we get excited because we get to see some games.
Right.
Is there a game tonight? Monday night?
No, Thursday, and then a couple Friday, and then back to the weekend games.
Yeah.
Have a game every night, for Christ's sake.
Every day.
Yeah, I agree.
Have every
We
day.
got a little CFL action.
No.
You watch CFL?
Who cares?
I do.
How are the Red Blacks doing this year?
It's the Tiger Cats.
No.
No.
We're talking
Ottawa.
about the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Come on.
Dude, you don't understand the CFL. You don't know shit about fuck.
I like the Argonauts.
Who?
The Argonauts.
It's the Blue Bombers League to lose. We
No,
all
it's
know
the
that.
Saskatchewan Rough Riders. You guys
Yeah,
have
come
no
on.
idea.
Back-to-back Grey Cup champions. the
Stampeders
Bombers.
are hot this
No,
year.
they're not.
God, you guys don't know anything about it.
Here's a trivia. Who are the 2 most successful CFL quarterbacks in history?
Doug Flutie, Warren Moon.
Drew Tate.
Drew Tate, Michigan State, or Iowa.
Stravolsky.
Come on.
Wolfer.
Stravolsky.
Yeah,
Stravolsky
Wolfer.
play.
The Duck.
Doug
Hodges.
Hodges. Yeah, he was like 6 for 8 for 28
Doug Hodges.
yards.
I like it.
Dog.
Jeremiah Masoli.
I will say this. Congrats to CFL having won last year, though. Because when Dwayne The Rock Johnson and
You
Danny
got the
Garcia.
XFL coming in,
That's right. Danny Garcia and The Rock don't fail at anything.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
and they're gonna go to Seattle. By the way,
Yeah,
Seattle's
they
a good
are.
team.
Well, the XFL actually ended the last run because of Seattle. Remember that guy that was working a nacho stand for the Dragons had COVID? Remember?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
real. That's how the XFL stopped. The first case of COVID in the XFL was through the Seattle Dragons nacho stand
That's
delivery
right.
Yep.
person.
It's
Real.
classic Seattle. Blame it on the sweetest swing in baseball. Blame it on us.
No.
No, Ken Griffey Jr. didn't do shit. Is that who that is?
Yeah, it's my favorite player ever.
I'm a big baseball guy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
knew it.
You knew.
Obviously, I knew that was the case. Now, he would get his ass struck out, boom, 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 from Ed win, no matter what, Diaz. Hate to break to you, Junior. Sorry about it. But, yeah, I'm a baseball guy now, Schultz. I don't know if you know that.
Who's your squad?
Fucking Mets, dude. Let's go, Mets.
LGM, baby.
Okay, Pete Alonso, baby.
Yeah, Polar Bear. Hell yeah.
Come on.
What are you talking about, Ed? How about Simple Man coming out there and just throwing absolute gas? And then Timmy Trumpet comes in the end with
Narco.
Narco and the actual DJ that created the song. Oh.
He's the
I
man.
have an idea,
Blaster
Patty.
Jacks.
Actually, I have an idea for the whole crew.
Okay.
Road show, New York City. Come to a Met game, and we'll hit the U.S. Open. Pleasure of Jordan Schultz. You can come with me.
What's the U.S. Open? That's the golf.
Well, it's right next to City Field.
Tennis.
Oh.
I ain't got no fucking tennis.
Fucking Federer
Schultz,
swinging.
You don't need me at a tennis thing. I'm not supposed
Tennis is great, bro. Hey, fellas, educate Pat. Tennis is legit.
Yeah,
I fucking
sounds sweet,
hate
dude.
tennis.
I'm not going to full-size ping pong. I'm not supposed to be there. That's like the yuppiest event of all time, right? That's not where I'm supposed to be.
No, it's actually you can get pretty hammered and have a good time. It's pretty good.
Okay, all right. Maybe I stop by U.S. Open. Hey, do you like your water when you go get brunch, room temp or cold?
I like the ice.
Yeah.
Me too, Schultz. I didn't expect that out of you. I didn't expect that
You
out
know,
of you.
Seattle, I like it cold. I like it cold.
Connor's the only one who likes a room temp.
Yeah, serial killer.
Nope.
I got a lot of people on Twitter telling me that I was wrong for saying that I need the water ice cold.
No.
No,
ice cold all the way, baby.
Well, then they're citing some research that never happened.
Who?
Everybody. Yeah, actually, room temperature water is better for your guts and your digestive system.
Who
It burns calories.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I asked. How do you like your water? A, ice cold and delicious, because I was looked at like a psychopath when I asked for a cup of ice when they gave me that warm-ass vase of water, basically. And then room temperatures. A lot of people like room temperature water. That was a surprise to me. I learned a lot about the world. There's numerous people, and I have to stop judging, I guess, these brunch places that I go to, because I just assume that, you think you're so much smarter than everybody, giving this fucking terrible water. People like it.
Oh, yeah.
You're one of them. I did not know that.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy room temperature water. Easier to chug, too.
Oh, come on.
Schultz is embarrassed for you.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be embarrassed for Schultz when Quills puts his father out of business.
Well, I don't know if you heard that, Schultz, but Connor said he likes Quill's room temperature water the best, actually.
Sorry.
Oh, no. You guys are dead.
Yeah.
It was a good run. Tell your dad it was a good run.
Shut that place down quick.
All right, we're out of here. Schultz, we appreciate the hell out of you, pal.
All love, guys. Have a great one. Talk
You
to
too.
soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Schultz.
Oh!
Didn't feel like he was taking Quill serious enough.
No, it didn't.
It's bad news bears for him. It's always the one that you don't expect.
Yeah, but also, if he really wanted to, he could tell his dad, and guess what? That place will be a goddamn Starbucks by next week.
That would be positive.
That'd be sweet.
I bet Quills would be pretty excited about that.
Well, we should tell him about a spot maybe close up by the Thunderdome that might be going.
Hey, there's a couple houses people are dying. Just buy them up, make them a Starbucks. That'd be fantastic.
Not
That
bad.
neighborhood?
Yeah, the Thunderdome is about to be like Lambeau.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to be driving through a neighborhood, and then all of a sudden the fucking Thunderdome.
Boom, casino.
Yeah, there isn't much going on around the Thunderdome, which is good by design.
Yeah.
Down here is getting too nice all of a sudden. Last week we were just talking about how terrible it's gotten. We were wrong. We did not see this on the horizon.
Exactly, we didn't.
No. Quill's being this close, this delicious, this is a shame that's happening this close to us leaving this place.
It's only a matter of time before one of these bums throws a brick through the front window to get their hands on those mouth-watering, delicious scones.
Yeah, it's lipstick on a pig. Those bums will come like moths to a flame. They will see that and they will just burn it to the ground.
You know how fast the moms sitting outside Starbucks are gonna run over to Quills once they get word that there's a place closer to the the highway that they sleep under.
Dude, the bakery at Quill's.
Yeah, that's the...
We didn't get to try it out.
We didn't.
Look out.
I might head over there after the show. I don't know what time they're...
Me too. I'm doing intermittent fasting, so now is my eating time. I couldn't do it earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Let's go get
Hurry
some
up.
scones.
I got to try the coffee.
Bums
too.
are coming.
You wait till you try this place, and also we need to have good, clear conversations.
Cold brew.
Let's not. Let's not embarrass ourselves like we did this morning.
And
Cold
then-
brew with room.
No, yeah,
right?
whether you know what he's going to say, just yes!
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like ordering a cheesesteak in Philadelphia for the first time.
Right.
Whiz wit or whatever. They
At
kick you out of the
Geno's?
line.
Yeah.
We need. That's what it's like over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not their fault. It's my fault. I've never been in some place that nice.
No.
Forever. I've just gotten into the coffee world.
Me
True.
too.
This is my first time ever being in a barista place.
Mm-hmm.
That was your first micro coffee place?
First time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel pretty cool. I felt like I was a part of something. But I fucking embarrassed myself with the what?
Yep, me
Yeah.
too.
Do they have a bathroom there?
They do.
Okay.
It's actually ours.
What?
Is it my bathroom? All right, let's get out of here. It's a hell of a day. One last call, huh?
Yeah, why not?
Anybody from
You
fucking...
want to go Wisconsin, California, or Columbus, Ohio?
I mean, come on.
We haven't spoke to Columbus today.
You're right.
Is it AJ?
I feel bad because I think the California callers have been on a...
AJ's drunk.
Well, they live a privileged life.
Yeah, it's nice weather out there, so they'll be okay. Ohio's probably just dog shit right now.
All right, let's go to Walter in Columbus. You're right. Walter in Columbus, what's going on?
Hey, man, what's happening?
Just hanging, bub. Why aren't you at the Third and Goal Foundation?
Yeah, you don't like the trades.
I'm just not that type of guy. I'm disc golf.
Guy doesn't.
All right, I appreciate you're a good disc golf player.
Oh, I love it. I'm a rated player, and I actually
Whoa! What does that mean? In the country, in the world, in Ohio?
No. See, what it is there's about okay. I got to break it down. The first 30 years of disc golf, it took 30 years to get up to 100,000 members.
Okay.
After COVID and after the past 3 years, it has jumped up to 300,000. So
quite a leap.
Just in 2 years, man, it's went up 200,000 people, and it's wild to think how big the sport's really grown. Okay, let me. Another cool thing is I played with the #1 disc golfer in the world.
That's that guy on Instagram. What's his name on YouTube? He's very handsome.
Richard Wysocki.
Kaboli?
Richard Wysocki.
Richard Wysocki.
Mitch
Wysocki.
Ricky Wysocki.
Wysocki, sir.
Wysocki. Okay. Is he from Ohio as well, or did you go to an event?
is. No, he is. That's how I got him.
Oh, the #1 disc golfer's from fucking Ohio.
Richie the chef of
I
bocce.
swear, I promise you, they travel a lot, so he's moved and he claims another state now. But if you do your digging,
What about Brody Smith? Brody Smith does a dance around Ricky Wysocki.
Wysocki doesn't claim Ohio anymore.
Just real quick, where were you rated at? So you played with him, so you automatically got rated in the top 300,000, 100,000?
you pay. It's about money, I guess. $50 a year. It's not much, and you get in tournaments. And once you play in so many tournaments, you get a rating. And after that, the third tournament I believe you're in, you get your rating, and they rate you upon your performance, the day, the type of day it is, the people you played against, you know.
It's like a handicap.
And
Right, mandatory, yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. It's something for you. I would love for you to hear.
What is your rating? What is your rating?
I am a 900 rated player. Sir.
Whoa! Let's go.
To give you a perspective, the top rated player in the world is 1040.
Ricky Wysocki's 1040. You're 900. What's a basic ass?
I consider myself, that'd be me. I mean, I'm not a bragger, but I consider that'd be me. But someone below me, you know, like 800, 750 is like not that good.
Bro, Calvin Heimberg is a
Have you seen Eagle McMahon play recently?
I don't judge people upon their performance.
Hey, just real quick, Wysocki. Well, that's kind of what the rating is, right? To judge people, the rating Wysocki's 1050.
That's not my job. That's not my job.
No, yeah, you just throw it at
You could have a bad day. You could have a good day. You could fucking kick my ass. You could beat. You don't know. Every dog has their day.
Yeah, you're right. Not everybody's going to show up as their Madden rating every single Sunday, but this is just a glimpse of what is possible. For instance, Richard Wysocki, 1053. Paul McBeth, 1049. That's pretty close. That's pretty close.
Hey, you should go back and watch some of their battles, man, on YouTube. It's pretty cool.
Oh, they go shot for shot like Seppa and Zalatoris did just yesterday?
I'm telling you, they got some playoffs at the end of the matches. You know, at the end of the tournament, they'd be tied. You know, it goes into a playoff, and there's many a times that just battle after battle. And Ricky's only won 3 world titles. Paul McBeth, I think, is on 6.
Well, Paul McBeth is an absolute stallion. There's a lot of people in the top that have above 1,000. We need to get you to maybe a little bit more work here.
I play with people better than me. That's why I say I'm the average guy. I play people better than me all the time. That's what makes me better.
Hell yeah.
Could you imagine if you played Mike Carmen?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mark Carmen beat your ass. He's got 1,000. Is that much better than you or not that much better than you? Because top 117, all above 1,000.
It's better.
Size Elmore's a dog.
Bro, he's a dog compared to who? Not Sam Lee. Sam Lee. He's ranked above him, same score. What's that mean? Is that head to head?
Hey, I got to say something else, man. I mean, I love you guys touching on disc golf for me, and thank you for that. It made me feel good.
Is this him on the left?
Phil Bartholomew. Yeah, that's him.
No, is this Walter?
No.
Is that Walter?
Oh, is that you?
Oh, I am Walter, sir.
It kind of looks like the guy who works at Quills.
No,
I'm not
what?
Yeah, what? All right, Walter. We appreciate the. We just got a lesson in disc golf.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go disc golf.
Hey, thanks for listening to me. Hey, go Pack, go.
Hey, hell yeah, Walter. That was a good call.
Yeah. Ohio.
Great call.
I had no idea top disc golf player in the world is fucking working Quill's Coffee right now.
Yeah. Insane. The Paul Rabel of disc golf.
Yeah, it makes sense why his head's in other spaces, you know?
Working on his draws.
Thinking about banging chains.
Who's in there? Colby, Bert Kreischer, big disc golfer right now.
Oh, yeah?
I think so, yeah. I think he's in it because it was something he was able to do travel. I guess foot golf is something that's real.
Okay.
Here in Indiana, they got a pretty
Kick a ball?
tournament.
Yeah, bigger holes.
Yeah, bigger hole, you kick a soccer ball.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
But in your voice, it doesn't sound like you're saying
I didn't know that was a thing. I've seen it with
Who's
Poole.
digging the holes around Thunderdome for the thing? These are pretty big holes. I think you got to Larry Hall these holes here.
Really?
I think they're pretty. I mean, it's for a soccer ball.
Well, there's got to be a
Probably Bill.
yeah. Bill's
Bill's done.
basically
Bill's
a
dug over
grave
1,000
digger.
graves. So
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of
in
here.
every type of weather.
Today's show, we got to get better on.
Okay.
All right, tomorrow we got to get better.
Well, tough news. No news per Jordo.
Yeah, well, we got Omar calling tomorrow.
Yeah, it's huge.
Jack Carr tomorrow.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Wednesday, we're at training camp. Tell you what, man.
Wow.
Oh, there's new Hard Knocks tomorrow. We're going to be at training camp with MCDC the day after Hard.
Wow. Here we go.
The show's going to get better this week.
Yes.
Huge.
Big time.
And Thursday, possibly the best Feel the Beat we've ever had.
Well,
Really?
now somebody's saying that one of our beats
Wow.
is
That's
wrong.
even better. Now it's time to put the beat to the feet to the fire.
I just don't want agendas pushed on this show.
That's right. We're
Feel
going to
the
put
beat.
the beat feet to the fire.
There it is.
There it is, pal. What? You want Kaboli another round? You want to fucking go
I
toe to
mean,
toe with
mane,
Kaboli?
mane.
I just wanted,
Good
I just
luck.
wanted to ask him why he's pushing agendas.
Can we call Kaboli right now? Let's see if Kaboli answers this.
Guess we're gonna have to wear all black for Thursday.
How about him saying, as expected,
Yeah.
Mason with the ones,
He knew.
Den Trubisky, Kenny Pickett's not even out here.
That's not.
Is that what he said?
No.
Is he answering? If Kaboli answers this,
It's 3:30. So.
might be a practice.
They
Give me
are,
a run around.
they are practicing right now.
What if he's not? He had a sub in his pocket. He's not going to feel his phone vibrate.
No, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
No.
No answer from Kaboli.
He knows. He knows. Yeah, I'm gonna save it for Thursday.
So we're having him on again for Feel the Beat.
I thought that was already.
Is Kaboli the host of Feel the Beat?
We don't have a choice.
That
We
would
really-
be 3 times. He'd be the all-time leader in Feel the Beat appearances.
Wow.
There's actually there's quite a bit to talk about with the Steelers, so it makes sense. I mean, Kaboli's as tapped in as anyone.
Yeah, but you know what the issue is going to be?
What's
All
that?
we're going to talk to Kaboli about is just one tweet.
Yeah, true.
Because we can't handle things responsibly.
Well, he might have had that interview with the inside linebackers coach Joel Shofsky.
Oh, Steelers give him.
Give me a run around per usual.
All right, I'm out of here. I got to go do daddy daycare and make sure no animals die on my watch.
No way.
They're going to thrive.
That's right.
This morning I was cutting up ham to put in the bowl.
Saw that. Looked good. I almost ate it.
It was good. It was delicious.
Yeah.
It was shredded chicken, cut up ham, and then dry food. Got to give Val some medicine too, so I'll sneak that in the ham.
Smart,
Give her a little
Grabbing
wrap.
a couple fillets on your way home.
Maybe.
That's a good idea.
Maybe, man. Maybe anything. Chuck turns out Chuck will eat just about anything.
What?
Yeah, Chuck's got quite an appetite.
Yeah. Tell you what, I saw a corgi this weekend. Chuck
What?
does not look like what the other corgis look like.
What are you saying?
I think Chuck's like 85 pounds overweight.
I think so too. Yeah, he got a little winded today whenever we were walking outside. And I was like, all right, Chuck, we're going to put you on a treadmill, pal. His arms start shaking.
Yeah, I'm really worried about Chuck after
Me
seeing
too.
him last time.
Me too, and I don't even know how to fix it. I gave him less food in his bowl than Val this morning.
That's just gonna piss him off.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, then he was a little irritable with the cats.
Yep.
Do they do like dog liposuction? Because that's like what I think we need to think about
We're
with
not.
Chuck.
They got
We're
low
not
fat.
sucking the fat out of Chuck.
They got low fat food.
He ain't eating that.
They got a treadmill and it's in a tank of water. That's what you got to get him on.
He'll
So
drown.
I'm actually thinking about getting Val on that because Val's got some arthritis, but we need to get her working out again so she can build up the muscles around it. Had to take her to a shot. Had to take her to a vet this morning to get a shot for her joints. She went running in there, running out of it. She looks like a whole new dog.
Nice.
There you go.
A lot of responsibility though. That was just dropped in my lap here. I don't know if I like that.
Take care.
Feed 6 animals. Get one to a vet appointment. Get it back home.
You got
Make sure they
this.
poop outside. Put them back inside. Make sure Chuck doesn't have a heart attack, cardiac arrest on my watch.
Well, that you can't. That's not on you.
Yeah, that's
if
out
that
of your
happens.
hands.
It's tough.
That's a
dude.
leading. It's a leading disease in America.
Yeah, Chuck. I was at the State Fair last week. Chuck fits in.
I thought COVID was the disease in America, Tony.
Well, if you look at the denominator.
You too.
You're gonna put Chuck in there?
See, the thing about that is going to have to be wider for Chuck to get in there.
Yeah.
Do they?
That looks like a standard corgi,
You have
and
to buy 2.
that corgi's a little tight. Chuck is 3X any other corgi you've ever seen.
Why is the lighting like that? Like he's on trial for murder.
Well, who knows what this fucking corgi did.
That's right.
I'll tell you, these corgis have attitudes.
Oh yeah.
Chuck has an attitude.
Well, where do you think they got
Well,
it from?
especially now.
Queen.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, especially now, yeah, he's what? Get in my belly.
Exactly. Yeah. He doesn't eat every 20 minutes. He's gonna be pissed.
Dude, he will look at a cat that walks by the bowl that has already been emptied, right?
Yeah.
And he just starts like he'll start like chasing it, and these cats like fuck with him now. So the cats might be like, hey, we got to get this dog to
Get
work
him
out.
moving. Yeah.
Let's make him run some laps.
Get him pissed.
That's what we need to do. Shout out to my mom. Stopped into the house today. Make sure he didn't die during the show.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you, Sally.
Sal says, I love going over there. I'll get a text. Has Chuck gotten bigger? Mom, don't be body shaming that corgi.
He's gotten bigger.
He's so big.
He's gotten much bigger, Sally.
Whoa, dude.
Bro, I think he's got a pituitary gland problem.
That could be it. Dude.
Like the Big Show.
I don't know if he has giantism like the
Well.
Big Show. Would be cool, maybe take him to a carnival or fair or something, have his big fat ass just sit
Do
there.
not do that.
7'3".
What?
Those carny folk will make off with Chuck in a heartbeat.
Yeah, this is the fattest corgi you've ever seen. We could make millions off this thing.
You guys have it all
Or
wrong.
eat 'em.
Yeah.
Chuck, you think Chuck's just going to go and quiet? No way.
Wait until
No.
they surround you and like all 6 of them start swirling in a circle.
And then I'll go, boom to the meth teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then pow to
Doesn't matter. Before you know it, trapdoor fucking Chuck's in a hole. You didn't even know what happened.
I don't even think they had trapdoor. They have like a plate of cupcakes. Chuck is following that person.
Dude.
To the
What
end
is your
of the-
deal?
I'm just saying.
Chuck-
I'm worried about Chuck.
Yeah, but you know how they like, there's like friends in our group that are like, well, if he ever gets like kidnapped or whatever, they'll give him back because they don't want to deal with that person. Chuck is not going to just go like
Quietly in the
no
night.
way.
Yeah, not a chance.
Chuck's a problem. Chuck knows he's a problem.
He's a dog.
And he's very heavy. So to get him from point A, he's long like a hot dog too. So like lifting him down off the bed so he doesn't blow out both shoulders when he jumps off, which I fear every single time. I got to do like full. It's like carrying a 150-pound sack,
Like a bag of cement.
Yeah, and he's not. It is like a bag of cement. Because and he's not happy about any of it.
I bet.
Got to grab near his dong.
Yeah.
Of course. Carrying 18
Let's hope they're
double
alive
pools.
tomorrow. All right.
Okay. Yes.
I got to get home. Everybody have a great afternoon. We can't thank you all enough. Tomorrow's big day. The day after that's even bigger. And we'll continue to just build until we get to this season.
Hell yeah.
Thank you all so much. Hope you enjoyed today. Thanks to our guests, Schultze making an appearance, Rappaport, Darius Butler froze up, but still did great.
Still crushed.
And hopefully AJ Hawk doesn't die on this golf course.
Yeah.
Possible.
Good luck.
Good luck, AJ.
How boozed up is he?
Blackout. Probably on
Has
his
no idea
18
where he's
cigar.
Hammer Down's on the other side at youtube.com/hammerdown. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.